Chapter 2081 Luck of Fang Yuan's Clones. 2081 Luck of Fang Yuan's Clones. Second to the Qi Si clone's luck was Wu Shuai's luck. His luck had weakened by a lot. Dragon Palace was destroyed and could not be constructed within a short period of time, the 4 dragon generals were dead, and even Di Zhangsheng was suppressed in Heavenly Court. Wu Shuai's luck still had the flying dragon's form. This was closely related with his dragonman identity. When observed carefully, Wu Shuai's dragon luck seemed to be formed from ants. The countless ants gathered to form an ant-dragon luck. Besides handling the variant human alliances affairs as my representative, Wu Shuai is researching enslavement path methods to increase his battle strength. This is why there is the ant-dragon luck. Fang Yuan observed his time path clone's luck. The time path clone's luck was still in the shape of a miniature river of time. But compared to before, it was much more vast and the water was flowing rapidly. Zhan Bu Du's eagle luck had not changed much. But Li Xiaobai's luck had a huge change in appearance. His luck had been a blooming flower with thin layers of nectar in its pistil, which signified how Li Xiaobai's cultivation would improve back then. But now, his luck's appearance had changed into a white wall. There were 3 poems on the wall with different lengths. When read carefully, it was clear they were the 3 masterpiece poems that Li Xiaobai had created. Every letter of the poem was pitch black, which was even more conspicuous on the white wall. Moreover, countless dark, inky characters were flying around the white wall, about to fly into the wall. This is his poem wall luck. Fang Yuan realized in his mind. After Li Xiaobai obtained the book house inheritance, he progressed rapidly, walking on the path of becoming renowned in the world. Not only did he change his vital GU, he also roamed the world to collect poems, and formed 3 killer moves with the poems he created, copied and stole. These 3 information path killer moves made him the #1 GU master in profound literature Grotto Heaven and also the GU Immortal seat who was looked upon favorably by countless people. There were even discussions saying he was a talent that was hard to come by in several hundred years. Li Xiaobai's outstanding achievements naturally attracted old Immortal Hua Yu's attention. There were all kinds of indications that old Immortal Hua Yu had decided to nurture Li Xiaobai with all his strength. The Qi Si clone and Fang Yuan's main body were aware of Li Xiaobai's recent condition, but they did not interfere and only watched from the side. Back when Fang Yuan had created Li Xiaobai, it was to scheme for profound literature Grotto Heaven's information path inheritance to fill the deficiency in his information path aspect. However, because profound literature Grotto Heaven was an information path Grotto Heaven with extremely strict monitoring, Fang Yuan could not give too much support and Li Xiaobai had to move ahead by himself. The result was that only after Fang Yuan had gone through the Fate War, the Pursuit Battle, killed Spectral Soul, and resolved the issue of Heaven Path Dao marks did Li Xiaobai finally show some advancement and progress. Moreover, profound literature Grotto Heaven was also in the Righteous Qi Alliance. Most of the contents of its information path true inheritance could be obtained through the internal exchange between Righteous Qi Alliance members. This was life. Sometimes, plans could not keep up with changes, sometimes, changes could not catch up to plans. Like this, the chess piece Li Xiaobai had a new arrangement. So, Fang Yuan was going to let him develop naturally. Last was the Pure Dream clone's luck. The Pure Dream clone was still at rank 5 level, the Pure Dream Reality Seeker physique body would attract dream path calamities and tribulations when undergoing immortal ascension. Even the current Fang Yuan did not have confidence to deal with it. But the Pure Dream clone's luck had also changed. His luck was like a drifting pink fog that fluctuated constantly. But this lump of pink fog had condensed now, becoming a sandbox. The sandbox was still pink in color, it was very small but yellow sand entered it continuously, turning into pink sand that strengthened the sandbox. Sandbox luck, what is this trying to say? Even Fang Yuan was puzzled. After activating wisdom path methods, Fang Yuan's eyes shone sharply as he made some guesses, but they had to be confirmed. Fang Yuan counted. Unknowingly, he had already created 8 clones. Creating these clones was one of the gains Fang Yuan had from studying Spectral Soul. Spectral Soul relied on clones to create Shadow Sect and Zombie Alliance. Fang Yuan's clones also gave him huge help. Among the 8 clones, only Fang Dichong was sacrificed. Wait, this is, Fang Yuan suddenly discovered a piece of luck. This piece of luck was vague, almost transparent, and gave an extremely weak feeling. Fang Yuan had almost missed it, but after carefully observing it, he showed pleasant surprise. This is Fang Dichang's luck. He is still alive. During the Fate War, Fang Yuan was schemed by Genesis Lotus, not only losing Divine Bean Palace but also Fang Dichong. Such a long time had passed. Divine Bean Palace had already combined with Emperor City to form Divine Emperor City, becoming the #1 immortal GU house in the world. Feng Yuan thought Fang Dichong was already done for. But he had never expected to gain some clues from this round of luck inspection. How did I not discover it before? I see. Cooking luck pot has just advanced to rank 8. My luck inspection method is many times more powerful than before. Also, it is clear that Fang Dichong made some progress in this recent period of time. Combining both of these causes, my connection with him was strengthened by a lot and I am able to see his luck now. Although Divine Emperor City possessed painting worlds, Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable, who had left behind the killer move contented lifestyle, was active before Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Because of this, Divine Emperor City was rather weak in the aspect of luck path. Discovering Fang Dichong was alive and strengthening himself, this was a pleasant surprise. But Fang Yuan did not change his plan. He had no plans to attack Divine Emperor City in the short term. Divine Emperor City was not a GU immortal, its methods were fixed and hard to change, it was not a problem to let it be. And Fang Yuan was a pseudo-venerable who had finally gotten the opportunity to rest and recuperate safely. It was a splendid time for him to focus on cultivating. 4 elements square regret blood refinement pool was constructed and most of the grotto heavens had yet to be devoured. Fang Yuan's strength would soar without stopping now. Why would he take the risk during this precious period of time to fight Divine Emperor City? After inspecting his and the clones' luck, Fang Yuan understood a lot. Cooking luck pot could allow Fang Yuan's main body to greatly increase his clone's luck, but Fang Yuan did not do so. On one hand, the situation of both the main body and the clones was much better. After getting through the previous predicament, their luck was spontaneously rising. It was the so-called, when misfortune reaches the limit, good fortune starts to rise. So there was no necessity. On the other hand, what this consumed was not immortal essence, but the luck of Fang Yuan's main body. After all, it increased the clones' luck by using the luck inside the pot. I should refine Woodpath Immortal GU now. Fang Yuan once again invested in his GU refinement project. As for why he chose Woodpath, the reason was simple. Fang Yuan had gathered a lot of Woodpath Immortal materials and they were enough for refinement. The variant human alliances Xiaohe Jian and Green Forest Great Sage were rank 8 Miniman GU immortals. Their grotto heavens were Woodpath grotto heavens which provided enough Woodpath immortal materials. Let's first raise Immortal GU Heavenly Essence Treasure Imperial Lotus to rank 8. Divine Emperor City, Painting World. In the newly added Growling Beast Painting World, a camp was being constructed rapidly. The camp's location was selected after careful thought. It was in a strategically located area and there was a stream flowing near it. Zhao Shuyi was standing on a boulder and commanded the 100 craftsmen in constructing the camp. Although Craftsman GU has weak battle strength, it has broad usage. Fairy Bai Sha was standing beside Zhao Shuyi and praised as she looked at the busy work site. Zhao Shuyi's head immediately lifted as he said proudly, "It is our Fairy Bai Sha who has good foresight. Craftsman Gu's prospects are much higher than Thief GU, Soldier GU, and Officer GU. Besides processing immortal materials and constructing GU houses, it can also refine GU." Fairy Bai Sha nodded. "Yes, if not for your Craftsman GU, how could we have constructed 10 camps and explored deeper into the Growling Beast painting world? But, how can you control so many craftsmen alone? This is an enormous burden to the mind. Did you use Organization GU?" Organization GU was a type of human path GU worm which allowed human GU to form a group. Fang Dichang's sect token GU was also of this type. Zhao Shuyi laughed heartily and did not hide it. "Right, I used labor union token GU and constructed a labor union. I am carrying union head GU and gave supervisor GU to 12 or so high-ranked craftsmen GU. I have given 1 vice union head GU out as well and still have 3 in my hand. No need to hurry, as my labor union continues to grow, they will have ample scope to show their abilities." The two were discussing when the emergency bugle was played. Fairy Bai Sha's expression had a slight change. Beast groups came to attack again. Zhao Shuyi said indifferently, "With Xiao Qixing and others here, we don't need to worry." Sure enough, at the next moment, Xiao Qixing's voice spread throughout the camp. "All forces, attack." Thump 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 thump. There was a series of footsteps, and as the white smoke was blown away by the wind, the wide camp was filled with soldiers. Soldier GU were in the highest number. There was the small group leader level Sergeant GU, Lieutenant GU, the higher ranked Captain GU and even Chief Captain GU were used. The size of Xiao Qixing's army had increased again in this period of time. Divine Emperor City was truly the sacred land of human path cultivation. The army charged towards the beast tide, both sides collided like huge sea waves. After the stalemate lasted for a while, the orderly battle lines began to show uneven gaps. A large number of wild beasts and soldiers had died in the most intense areas. Immediately after, these gaps were filled by soldiers and beasts. Roar! Several powerful beasts appeared. Their size was clearly larger than others, like fortresses rampaging on the battlefield. Xiao Qizing's expression showed a trace of seriousness. The deeper we go in, the stronger the beast groups are. Everyone, please make your moves. All right. Chen Dazhong, Ji Yuting, and the rest began to attack. This large battle lasted for an hour. The beast tide retreated, and there were casualties in Xiao Qizing's group as well. After half a day, the camp's construction was finished. The supply group along with merchants, peddlers, citizens, and even beggars settled in the camp. These camps were like the strongest nails that were firmly fixed in their position, becoming the support for the 10 children of human path to explore deeper. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2082 Defeated Army. Chapter 2082 Defeated Army. Sect Leader. Sect Leader. Fang Dichong walked to a hidden corner of the camp where he was greeted by 2 to 3 beggars. Fang Dichong also had a beggar's appearance with ragged clothes and foul odor coming off of him. The 10 children of human path organized a large army and entered the newly appeared growling beast painting world, playing the role of pioneers. At every set interval of distance, they would construct a stable camp before the logistics and support came to fill the camp, giving ample supplies to the army led by the 10 children of human path. Fang Dichong had been following in secret and also mobilized beggar sect to look for an opportunity. How is the situation? Fang Dichong asked. Our sect brothers have been following the pioneering army. Sect Leader, the situation is good. We gathered many wild beast corpses and valuable skin and fur. We are going to be rich. It is just that we got into a conflict with some merchants and guards because of this. Fang Dichong frowned. What are the casualties? His beggar sect developed quickly. Its members were not only the human path GU worms he used, there were also many of Divine Emperor City's native beggars. Hearing the number of casualties, Fang Dichang's frown became deeper. Although beggar sect is easy to grow, beggar GU are the cheapest human path GU worms with very low battle strength. They are disadvantaged when facing merchants, guards, and others. Only by uniting and forming a numbers advantage will they not suffer losses. Fang Dichong sighed inwardly. Beggar sect seemed to be enormous, but it did not have much strength. It was not reliable to use beggar sect to deal with the 10 children of human path in the future. Fang Dichong entered the 10th camp, but the 10 children of human path had already marched even further and were constructing the 12th camp. I can only rely on the beast tide now. The deeper we enter growling beast painting world, the stronger the beasts become. Fang Dichang's only hope was for the beast tides to defeat the 10 children of human path. Not only defeat, it would be even better if they suffered serious loss with casualties. Only then would Fang Dichong have an opportunity to exploit. I can do nothing about this, my current strength is too low. The only thing I can use is beggar sect. The 10 children of human path are all GU masters and possess primeval essence. They can only maintain their human path GU worms for some time. But I am using Shen Sheng's immortal essence, which is akin to unlimited primeval essence, so I can maintain these beggar GU all the time. As Fang Dichong thought up to this point, his gaze suddenly darkened and a feeling of weakness spread from the depths of his body. Fang Dichong quickly took out human will GU and placed it in front of his nose, breathing in deeply. A gust of human will was absorbed into his body and merged with his will. Fang Dichang's body was formed from a beggar GU, it did not have a soul and only a will. And a will was difficult to maintain and would be expended rapidly when thinking. Fortunately, in Divine Emperor City's painting world, there was human will GU. Human will GU produced human will, which could change into any form of will. With its help, Fang Dichang's will could continue to exist and be active. At this time, in the depths of the growling beast painting world, a lifelike will was floating in the air. He was wearing a green and white robe, he had a gentle demeanor and had a smile on his face. He was Genesis Lotus, will. And below him, Mao Li Chu was lying on the ground in a curled-up position. It was bound by a huge formless force, making it unable to even budge. Not only this, another powerful force was constantly extracting its Tao marks. Dog shit Genesis Lotus, release me and fight me if you have the guts. Mao Li Chu shouted. Genesis Lotus, Will shook his head. Mao Li Chu, are you still not conceding? You are in a hopeless situation. Unless giant son Immortal Venerable revives and comes to save you, your death is certain. And you yourself are aware that there is no hope for that. Your only chance at survival is to surrender. Otherwise, as time passes, your strength will continue to fall. Until you die. Genesis Lotus, Will urged, his voice was persuasive and his expression was kind. Mao Li Chu, however, roared in fury, then so be it, I don't want it, you can take all my Tao marks. Genesis Lotus, Will was astonished. At the next moment, Mao Li Chu not only released all his defense but also cooperated with the absorption force, abandoning his Tao marks. Amidst the dazzling profound light, countless Tao marks spread towards the surroundings and entered growling beast painting world. Some Tao marks fell to the ground, turning into giant beasts of all kinds of sizes and shapes. Some Tao marks flew to the sky, condensing together into vicious birds that covered the sky. The painting world was extremely profound. It could collect external Tao marks and paint them into all kinds of birds and beasts. But at this moment, with Mao Li Chu's full cooperation, the painted beast surged in amount and soon surpassed the safety boundary. Oh no, the expression of Genesis Lotus, Will changed, not having expected Mao Li Chu to be so impulsive. It was suppressed in the painting world, although it had a way to attack, it still had enough strength to defend. If it defended with all its strength, it could last for a long time. Therefore, Genesis Lotus, Will came to persuade it to surrender. To Mao Li Chu, the most sensible path would be to let the painting world wear down its strength bit by bit while holding on for as long as possible. Like what demon Immortal Chi Ju was doing, he was suppressed by Divine Emperor City and could not break free on his own, but he placed his hopes on the future. Who could be certain of the future? But Mao Li Chu did not follow this logic, it went against the plan of Genesis Lotus, Will. An unprecedented violent beast tide formed and rushed madly towards the army of the 10 children of human path. The 10 children of human path had a huge change in their expressions the moment they saw the beast tide. Retreat, this beast tide is too fierce. Even if we use all our strength, we are not their match. Retreat, the urgent matter is to preserve our energy for later. The 10 children of human path were all elites, they retreated without hesitation. But retreating was not easy, the beast tide was like a tsunami that threatened to drown the world. Many birds moved faster than the beasts and pestered the pioneering army. The 10 children of human path fought a bloody battle and were finally able to carve a path out. When they reached the 11th camp, the whole army was reduced by half, they suffered immense losses. The beast tide continued to rush forward as if it was endless. The camp was constructed properly and had thick defense, but it was quickly showing signs of collapsing under the beast tide's charge. Heavens, looks like we have completely angered these beasts. This beast tide is so fierce, even if we add all the previous beast groups, they are not even 1/10 of this. Retreat. The 10 children of human path retreated to the 10th camp. Fang Dichong had already left earlier. He had already received the information, and understanding the strength of the beast tide, he knew the 10th camp was definitely going to collapse. Although he wanted to look for an opportunity to retaliate, he did not want to disregard his own safety. In fact, with just beggar sect strength, he might not be able to get revenge even if he staked his life. The 10th camp also fell and was run over by the beast tide. The 10 children of human path could only retreat again and again, the beast tide also paid the price, but the scale was truly too large. It could completely bear the price. Finally, the terrifying beast tide chased away all the humans. The painstakingly built camps were destroyed with not even one remaining. Not even 10% of the troops following the 10 children of human path survived, the other residents of the painting world faced even more severe losses. The surviving group of people were in an extremely miserable state, they were all shocked and terrified. The city gate closed shut. The city guards looked solemn, the beast tide had arrived in front of the city. The ferocious beasts did not stop and began to attack the city. The offensive and defensive battle lasted for 3 nights, the city was actually on the losing end. Many times, giant beasts directly climbed the city walls and carved a path of blood on their way to the inner areas, causing massive casualties. At the crucial moment, large numbers of Divine Being soldiers appeared and participated in the defense, beating back the beast tide. The Divine Being soldiers are working for us. Right, this was Divine Being Palace's killer move, and after we succeeded in slaying the Immortal, the Divine Being soldiers became our helpers. The 10 children of human path were shocked and joyous, as well as deeply regretful. Their losses were too severe this time, almost all their previous accumulations were gone. The only fortunate thing was that none of them had died. Fang Dichong had already left this city to a much further area. Beggar sect's losses were also big. The crushing defeat that Fang Dichong hoped for had happened, but this level surpassed his expectations. Still, the 10 children of human path helped each other and were united. He did not find any chance to attack them. The beast tide disappeared, the large number of wild beasts returned to Growling Beast Painting World. They scattered everywhere, making the difficulty of exploring Growling Beast Painting World much higher than before. The painting world was like a huge beast that was licking its wound. The claw that had stretched into Growling Beast Painting World earlier had almost shattered. I did not expect Growling Beast Painting World to be so dangerous. It can be deduced the other paintings should also be at a similar level. Shen Shang found Fang Dichong. The two exchanged information. Fang Dichong informed Shen Shang about the intel collected by Beggar Sect, for instance, the losses of the 10 children of human path, as well as Yi Fan and Hong Yi's performance in this expedition. And Shen Shang informed Fang Dichong of a huge discovery. Shen Shang was the person who had explored the deepest and he witnessed the scene of the beast tide transformation. Using Dao marks to paint, sure enough, painting path's methods are mysterious and exceptional. But if so, Fang Dichong analyzed, it seems like Growling Beast Painting World is suppressing a great enemy of Heavenly Court in its depths. The battle between the beast tide and the humans is essentially a method to weaken this enemy and increase the suppression. Shen Shang approved of Fang Dichong's analysis as he said, I wonder who is being suppressed inside. They are at least a rank 8 GU immortal. The enemy of an enemy is a friend, we might have a chance of cooperating. The losses to the army were severe this time, only 1/10 survived. In a short period of time, it should not be possible to organize an exploration army. Do we use this chance to go to the depths of the painting? Fang Dichong shook his head, no, those beasts don't care about anyone. Shen Shang nodded. The gap between immortal and mortal is not large in this painting world. It seems we can only wait for the exploration army to be organized again. We can then take the chance to go deeper. When the large battle between the humans and beasts had settled in the painting world, Fang Yuan had secretly arrived in Mushroom in Paradise. Heavenly Essence Treasure Imperial Lotus was successfully raised to rank 8 and Fang Yuan also created a large number of compound killer moves. Over on the Qi Si clone's end, the Qi Si clone contacted Heavenly Court again and again to organize an alliance army to attack Fang Yuan's variant human alliance. But although Heavenly Court had agreed, they did not show any signs of taking action. Such an attitude made Fang Yuan believe the severity of the situation. Mushroom in Paradise's entrance opened. Lu Weiyin personally welcomed Fang Yuan to the depths of the Blessed Land. They had just sat down when Fang Yuan asked, is Spectral Soul still alive? If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2083 Lu Weiyin's Invitation to Tea. 2083 Lu Weiyin's Invitation to Tea. Gurgle gurgle, the tea was boiling and was letting out yellowish-brown strands of steam. In the small wooden cabin atop the mountain, experts that could influence the world were sitting in front of a small tea table. One was the #1 demon in the current world, Gu Fang Yuan. The other was Southern Borders Paradise Earth Inheritor Lu Weiyin. His comprehensive battle strength might not reach pseudo-venerable level, but his defensive prowess was enough to compete against a pseudo-venerable. The fresh mountain air blew in from the open window, mixing with the fragrance of the tea. Fang Yuan gazed afar. Outside the window were tall mountains and clean rivers, looking like utopia. Cranes flew, apes shrieked, desolate beasts and plants were abundant and docile. There were tree houses and villages around the mountains, lots of commotion could be heard from chickens and dogs, there were columns of smoke rising from houses, it was a serene and tranquil atmosphere. In the sky, there were many floating mountains. These mountains were made from float soil and could stay in the sky, there were many specialties in each mountain, their environments varied. Some had long green vines that extended like hair. Some had drizzles and beautiful rainbows. Some had waterfalls with huge crashing torrents that gathered in huge pools. And this mountain that Fang Yuan was on stood majestically on the ground and was the tallest mountain in Mushroom in Paradise. Fang Yuan had just sat down when he asked Lu Weiyin, was Spectral Soul still alive? Lu Weiyin only smiled and did not reply, instead concentrating on making tea. The tea was prepared. This was extreme serene mind tea, it was created with rank 8 immortal materials. The tea fragrance was refreshing and seemed to be mixed with the smell of soil after rain. The tea, the location, and Mushroom in Paradise itself seemed to complement each other. Right now, they were not distant immortals who were high and mighty, but were instead experiencing the joy of an ordinary farmer's life and the tranquil state of mind. Please. Lu Weiyin handed the teacup to Fang Yuan with both hands. The tea had been boiling hot just earlier, but in just a few breaths of time, the steam disappeared and the tea turned into cool tea. 1. Fang Yuan took a sip, but Lu Weiyin directly lifted the large bowl-sized cup and took huge mouthfuls. Fang Yuan's eyes shone, he gained some insight and copied Lu Weiyin's drinking method. Gulp. His Adam's apple moved up and down as Fang Yuan took a large mouthful of tea. This time, Fang Yuan had a very different feeling. The tea was not ice cold, but there was a gentle coolness that seeped into Fang Yuan's organs and intestines. His internal heatiness too was swept away, the tea was mellow and refreshing along with a trace of sweetness. Gulp, gulp, Fang Yuan finished the whole cup of tea. Good tea. He had a peculiar expression when he placed the teacup down. That one bowl of tea had added 1,000 earth path Tao marks in his body. When a Gu immortal passes a heavenly tribulation, they would only obtain 750 Tao marks. And earthly calamities normally gave 250. This extreme serene mind tea actually increased so many Tao marks. It was akin to a Gu immortal risking their life to pass a heavenly tribulation and an earthly calamity. Lu Weiyin spoke slowly. This mushroom and blessed land received Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable's help and turned into a paradise, thereby being free from calamities and tribulations. Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable also left behind his virtue true inheritance here, so this mushroom in Paradise's name became Virtue Paradise. Before Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable became venerable, he cultivated and studied in this place. When he became venerable, he changed this place into Virtue Paradise and lived here for some time. Lord Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable created extreme serene mind tea during this period of time. Although food path was passed down, it was kept secretive by spectral soul and was almost never exposed to outsiders. Lord Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable spent his life mending the disaster caused by spectral soul and brought order to the chaotic world. Thus, he did a deep research on food path. He left behind many of his food path gains in virtue true inheritance. In his view, food path had huge potential but there were too few people cultivating it. If it was truly developed, it could bring fortune to the world. For instance, this extreme serene mind tea is essentially a food path killer move formed from expending rank 8 immortal materials. So, it can add earth path Tao marks. The talent of a venerable is truly deep and unfathomable. Fang Yuan praised. Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable created the killer move suffering loss is a blessing and all life is bitter to counter spectral soul's food path methods. These two methods played a crucial role during the ambush of spectral soul. But Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable did not stop here, he pushed food path to an even higher level. In the present 5 regions Gu Immortal world, almost all the tea and wine were incomplete food path Gu recipes. This was already acknowledged by Gu Immortals. Just drinking wine or tea was merely to delight the taste buds and show off one's wealth, or maybe display the results of one's refinement path improvement. Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable, however, completed this aspect and turned tea and wine into food path killer moves. Like this, food path finally showed its own unique splendor. Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable's food path methods can change tea and wine into killer moves. After tasting the food, Gu cultivators can increase their Tao marks. This is a method that can change the entire structure of the Gu Immortal world. Fang Yuan realized. The influence of this method was enormous. In history, the main source of Tao marks was to undergo tribulations. But this food path method broke away from this situation. Fang Yuan had eat strength immortal Gu and could do this. But immortal Gu were unique, while Paradise Earth's food path method could be learned and referenced to create a number of other similar killer moves. Eat strength immortal Gu could not be popularized, but killer moves could be spread everywhere. These were two different concepts. Fang Yuan's gaze turned deep and dark. Just this extreme serene mind tea was enough to show Lu Weiyin's deep accumulation and foundation. This virtue paradise had deep foundation and did not lack rank 8 earth path immortal materials. Lu Weiyin could simply use this tea to accumulate earth path Tao marks beyond common sense. It was no wonder he could fight spectral soul. Fang Yuan looked beyond the window once again and at this mushroom in paradise. His previous evaluation of this place was raised by several times. This food path method was extremely beneficial to Gu immortal cultivation. Virtue Paradise had many Gu immortals. These Gu immortals' strength very likely surpassed other same-ranked immortals. But, since the start, Lu Weiyin had only moved around by himself and did not reveal these other Gu immortals. This person's shrewdness and patience made Fang Yuan have a different view of him. Sensing the deep meaning in Fang Yuan's gaze, Lu Weiyin said modestly, Fang Yuan, do not overestimate me in this virtue paradise. Although we have this food path method, the cost to use it is truly high. Virtue Paradise produces large quantities of Earth Path resources, but besides me, who cultivates Earth Path mainly, most of the GU Immortals here are Mushroommen and what they cultivate is Poison Path. There are also a few human GU Immortals who cultivate Wood Path and Water Path. This Food Path method's efficiency is not that high. For instance, this bowl of extreme serene mind tea used a large number of rank 8 Earth Path Immortal materials to only give several hundred Earth Path Dao marks. Of course, Fang Yuan, you have the sovereign immortal body which does not have conflicting Dao marks, so your gains should be greater than normal. Lu Weiyin concluded. Even Lord Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable said in his last words that this food path method is not even worth mentioning when compared to Giant Sun Immortal Venerable, Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable, Red Lotus Demon Venerable, and other Venerables. Venerable methods were extremely majestic and could change the world. For instance, Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable led humanity's uprising and founded Heavenly Court. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable created Wisdom Path and tricked Heaven's will, setting the foundation for Heavenly Court to stand for countless years. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable left behind his bloodline and created 88 Truyong Building, taking the whole of Northern Plains as his courtyard. Red Lotus Demon Venerable made arrangements that spanned over 1 million years to destroy Fate GU. Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable left behind his methods to create Divine Emperor City. The painting world developed and established the foundation of human path. These were all arrangements that influenced not only one generation, they would result in endless development throughout the whole world. Fang Yuan frowned as he guessed something from Lu Weiyin's tone. He directly asked, since Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable mentioned Genesis Lotus in his last words, did he already know Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable would create Divine Emperor City? Lu Weiyin nodded. When Lord Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable roamed the world and saved lives everywhere, he got familiar with Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable's methods. Back then, Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable left behind Divine Bean Palace to restrict Spectral Soul and to plot against him when he had yet to be a Venerable. Qing Chao's core is Hatred GU which was formed through Divine Bean Palace. The relationship between Qing Chou and Divine Bean Palace is extremely close. Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable's original plan was to merge Qing Chou, Divine Bean Palace, and Emperor City during the Fate War to form Divine Emperor City and protect Heavenly Court. However, a mishap occurred before this time. Fang Yuan, you collaborated with Fang Clan to drive away Qing Chou and seize Divine Bean Palace. Even though Divine Bean Palace merged with Emperor City afterwards, it lacked Qing Chou. Without Qing Chou, Divine Emperor City's strength was incomplete. The will of Genesis Lotus inside it probably wanted to protect the human path gains, so it did not participate in the Fate War. Fang Yuan's expression was complex, so it was like this. Genesis Lotus' plan was originally perfect. During the Fate War, Qing Chou could sense the existence of Spectral Soul's damaged soul. It would possess rank 9 Hatred GU and have pseudo-venerable battle strength. Not only could it help Duke Long to guard Heavenly Court, it could even exterminate Spectral Soul's damaged soul. Unfortunately, Fang Yuan unintentionally destroyed this plan. Originally, Qing Chou had been nurturing Hatred GU inside Divine Bean Palace and strengthening itself. But after being driven away, this process was disrupted. Thereupon, during the Fate War, Qing Chou did not have the expected battle strength and it was separated from Divine Bean Palace. When the Fate War ended, Genesis Lotus will contacted Qin Dingling, which was why Red Heart Traveler and 9 Spiritual Fairy collaborated and secretly moved to bring back Qing Chou to Heavenly Court. So in fact, it was not Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable who plotted against Fang Yuan, but Fang Yuan who first broke Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable's plan. This led Genesis Lotus will to have no options left other than to appear suddenly during the Fate War and modify his plan. So then, why was Fang Yuan willing to accept the alliance agreement and cooperate with Fang Clan to drive away Qing Chou? The crucial key was Great Thief Immortal GU. After obtaining Great Thief Immortal GU, Fang Yuan created Great Thief Ghost Hand with the rank 9 killer move Ghostly Concealment as the core and the rank 7 Great Thief Immortal GU as a supplement, forcibly stealing rank 8 Soul Beast token from Qing Chou's body. Without Soul Beast token, Qing Chou's strength fell sharply, which led to Fang Clan's victory. And where did Great Thief Immortal GU come from? It was obtained by Fang Clan from their Thieving Heaven True Inheritance. 1. This can be called herbal tea which is also literally cooling cool tea. 2. Chinese medicine theory which is resolved by consuming, cooling, food or drinks. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2084 Spectral Soul's True Main Body. 2084 Spectral Soul's True Main Body. So thieving heaven demon Venerable did not just arrange heaven form, this is also another arrangement, but I did not notice it earlier. Fang Yuan thought to himself. He suddenly had a thought as he asked, is Qing Chou also alive? Towards the end of the pursuit battle against Fang Yuan, Divine Emperor City came to participate in the battle, causing a huge commotion. Was it really to suppress demon Immortal Qiju and longevity heaven? Fang Yuan thought about the fragments of Qing Chou's corpse. What was Divine Emperor City's true motive? It was a debatable question. Lu Weiyin's expression turned solemn as he sighed. I only got an answer after returning here and recuperating for some time. What was the main reason why Divine Emperor City joined the battle? In that situation earlier, the aura of rank 9 hatred GU was completely gone, it seemed to have been destroyed. However, Qing Chou is a living being formed from a killer move. I cannot be certain if it is dead or alive. Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable's method is simply too unfathomable, we can only sigh in amazement. Turning a killer move into a legendary immemorial beast was simply too profound, even Fang Yuan and Lu Weiyin could only watch without being able to decipher it. Lu Weiyin continued. I cannot deduce Qing Chou's current state, but regarding Spectral Soul's situation, I am very clear about it. Fang Yuan smiled lightly, please tell me. Lu Weiyin beat around the bush for so long, he finally got to the main point. He answered, Spectral Soul can be said to be both alive and dead at the moment, because his true main body has always been inside the door of life and death. Fang Yuan nodded as he sighed, as I had expected. When Spectral Soul self-detonated, Fang Yuan already felt something amiss. After refining all of his Heaven Path Dao marks, Fang Yuan thought back about the situation and had even more suspicions brewing. The great Spectral Soul actually died like this. Spectral Soul was the most heaven-defying one out of all the Venerables after all. In the 500 years of Fang Yuan's previous life, Zombie Alliance was around while Shadow Sect hid in the dark, Spectral Soul secretly controlled the whole of Heavenly Court. Duke Long did not appear at all, he was evidently harmed by Spectral Soul. He even plotted against Feng Juzhe, using that chance to seize Langya Blessed Land. He controlled the overall situation and was the mastermind behind the 5 regions' chaotic war. As long as Great Dream Immortal Venerable did not appear, Spectral Soul would be the greatest winner in this situation. Thus, Fang Yuan invaded Hu Immortal Blessed Land and was aided by Song Zhang, managing to kill Feng Jinhuang. Who was Feng Jinhuang? In her childhood, Dream Wings Immortal Gu came to her. Feng Jinhuang was the prospective Great Dream Immortal Venerable. Who was Fang Yuan? He was an otherworldly demon. Before fate was destroyed, he was the only one who could create different outcomes. And who was Song Zhang? He was publicly Song Zixing's son, but in reality, he was created from his blood fetus. And Song Zixing, he was known as the Blood Dragon, he was a member of Shadow Sect, one of Spectral Soul's split souls. In the 500 years of Fang Yuan's previous life, there were many hidden truths. At that time, Fate Gu was not destroyed, Demon Immortal Qiju could not revive, the other Venerables could only watch as Spectral Soul wreaked havoc. Spectral Soul was too overbearing. In the end, Heaven's will had to choose Fang Yuan to return to the past and change everything. During the Battle of Yitian Mountain, on the surface, Fang Yuan successfully stopped Spectral Soul. But was that really the case? Spectral Soul knew that Fang Yuan had been reborn as a result of Heaven's will. According to his original plan, he would be able to control Heavenly Court and manipulate the 5 regions' chaotic war, but Heaven's will would still obstruct him. If Fang Yuan failed, a second or third otherworldly demon might appear, Spectral Soul would never be able to stand at the peak of the universe. Thus, he changed his plan. At that moment, he started working together with Red Lotus Demon Venerable. Eventually, he gave Sovereign Immortal Fetus Gu to Fang Yuan, creating a complete otherworldly demon. After the Fate War, Fate Gu was destroyed by Fang Yuan. Spectral Soul wanted to reclaim the Sovereign Immortal Body. His plan was perfect. He had no lack of soul path attainment level. With the Sovereign Immortal Body, he would be able to annex soul pacifying Grotto Heaven and others, instantly regaining his strength. Thus, he would be ahead of the other Venerables, he would have the initiative. The advantage of being first was unimaginable. If Spectral Soul succeeded, he would be the strongest person, the entire world would be trampled under his feet. But he did not succeed. Red Lotus Demon Venerable plotted against him. While the Heaven Path Dao marks restricted Fang Yuan, they also protected him. Spectral Soul did not regain the Sovereign Immortal Body, his growth became very different. While chasing after Fang Yuan, Heavenly Court and Longevity Heaven worked together. Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable's inheritor Lu Weiyin also interfered, eventually managing to kill Spectral Soul. Fang Yuan tried to put himself in Spectral Soul's shoes. If he were Spectral Soul, what would he do? Thus, he found a huge flaw in Spectral Soul's plan. It was too risky. During the Dream Realm battle, Duke Long defeated Purple Mountain True Monarch and broke into the Blessed Land, capturing Spectral Soul and taking the Door of Life and Death. Spectral Soul's life was in the hands of Heavenly Court. If Fairy Ziwei did not go after information and clues but killed Spectral Soul right away, would that not ruin everything? Fang Yuan would not make such an arrangement if it were him. What about Spectral Soul? Even though he had the strongest killing nature, he was not stupid at all. Thus, the most likely case was that the captured Spectral Soul was not the true main body of Spectral Soul. If Fang Yuan were Spectral Soul, he would also create a clone to disguise as his main body and let Heavenly Court capture him. Firstly, it would lower the enemy's guard. Secondly, the clone was a trap as well. Fairy Ziwei fell right into it. Thirdly, the amount of information and true inheritances that the clone had would not be the same as the main body. Even if he was captured, the enemies would not gain much. And finally, even if the clone was killed, the main body would not be affected. Fang Yuan had two pieces of evidence regarding his suspicions of Spectral Soul. The first one was Demon Immortal Qi Ju. Demon Immortal Qi Ju was the crucial person in their pursuit of Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan and Spectral Soul used their respective true inheritances to lure Demon Immortal Qi Ju into becoming their ally. Eventually, Fang Yuan won Demon Immortal Qi Ju over. Spectral Soul was forced to self-detonate and died. After the battle, Fang Yuan recalled this contest. He felt that victory was simply too easily obtained. It was quite different from his expectations. But if Spectral Soul was just a split soul, everything would make sense. Spectral Soul did not predict the rebirth of Demon Immortal Qi Ju. Because Fate Gu was destroyed, all fixed traces were erased, the future was uncertain. Spectral Soul's plan was for his split soul to get captured by Heavenly Court. He would only place certain memories into it. These memories would not make Heavenly Court suspicious, but they would also not contain precious information like valuable true inheritances. Thus, Fang Yuan won against Spectral Soul in this aspect. The second piece of evidence was obtained by Fang Yuan recently. Through luck inspection, he checked his own luck and found that at the top of his pure silver pillar of light, there were 3 clouds. Among them, one was pitch black like ink. Who could cause such disturbance to him? This black cloud was obviously pointing towards Spectral Soul. If Spectral Soul was still alive, would he let Fang Yuan off? Shadow Sect and Zombie Alliance spent years of accumulated resources and even the 10 extreme physiques to create sovereign immortal fetus Gu. Would Spectral Soul let Fang Yuan off? Impossible. On the other hand, with the revival of Demon Immortal Qi Ju, the world knew that it was possible for Venerables to be revived now. Spectral Soul's main body had likely already planned for his revival long ago. In fact, did the other Venerables not have such plans? In the past, due to Fate Gu, nobody could revive. But now that it was destroyed, who would not want to revive? Nobody knew which Venerable would be the first one to revive fully. Nobody was clear when they would revive. It was even possible that a Venerable would revive at the next moment. Thus, the situation was quite precarious for Fang Yuan. Once a Venerable revives, the value of his pseudo-Venerable battle strength would fall greatly. His status as the #1 demon in the world would turn him into a target instead. After the battle, Lu Weiyin told him to use his time well before departing. This was what he meant. Fang Yuan did exactly so. After the battle, he used his time to its limit. He did not relax for even a moment. Once his strength returned and was able to deal with risks, Fang Yuan came to Virtue Paradise. He came here not for Lu Weiyin, Paradise Earth's true meaning, or to inherit Paradise Earth's true inheritance. He only had one objective. Tell me, Lu Weiyin, how do I become a Venerable? Fate Gu was destroyed, the future of the world became uncertain, anything could happen now. Not only the Gu immortal world, even Gu masters were starting to see the turbulence of the future. Fang Yuan was fighting, the mortal Gu masters were also struggling. Sorrowful Wind Mountain Range. 4 Gu masters traveled together. They entered deep into the mountain range for investigation. They had rank 4 cultivation level. Together, they could resist rank 5. In Central Continent's Gu master world, they were famous demonic path experts. They were the 4 great obscenities: Eastern Obscenity Chen Yin Dao, Western Thief Yu Ba Guang, Southern Disturbance Shi Bao and Northern Squandering Fan Chun Yao. Sorrowful winds are blowing again. Yu Ba Guang alerted the rest. Among the 4, he had the most effective investigative methods. Quick, take out the Gu house. Chen Yin Dao immediately ordered. He was the leader of the 4. The GU house was kept by Fan Chunyao, he was in charge of healing and support. The 4 GU masters quickly hid inside the GU house. Sorrowful winds blew outside the GU house, the entire place was creaking and shaking. From time to time, Fan Chunyao had to replenish GU worms in place of those that died from the sorrowful winds. A terrible loss, this is a terrible loss. Fan Chunyao shouted in grief. Along the way, we already lost so much by resisting the sorrowful wind, is there really anything good in this sorrowful wind mountain range? Chen Yindao shook his head and smiled bitterly. I cannot guarantee that, but as long as there is some hope, we need to take a risk. Not long ago, GU Immortals fought on Sorrowful Wind Mountain Range, they might have left something behind by chance, it may allow us to ascend to Immortal. The moment Immortal Ascension was mentioned, the other 3 GU Masters started to breathe heavily. As long as we become immortal, who would dare to attack us 4 immortals? We will no longer be pursued by anyone. Once we become immortals, those high and mighty female GU Masters will all be at our mercy, right? Ha ha ha. You need to be more ambitious. After becoming immortal, what's the point of going after mortals? We can target immortal fairies. The GU Masters looked at each other and started to snicker pervertedly. What they did not know was, Heavenly Court had already cleaned up the battlefield, all those immemorial year beast corpses were taken away already. The 4 of them came to the ruins and searched for 7 days but found nothing of value at all. Just as the 4 were anxious and furious, preparing to leave, they finally found something. There is a person here. Quickly come. What's so strange about seeing a person? There are so many corpses here, they are the villagers living on the mountains. No, this person is still alive. And there is a weird phenomenon around him. What? The other 3 GU Masters rushed up and saw Wang Xiao'er who had tightly shut eyes, he was still barely alive. Around him, there were several wild flowers and grass, they were rapidly blooming and wilting, alternating between green and gray with his every breath. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2085 4 Conditions to Become Venerable. 2085 4 Conditions to Become Venerable. In this GU world, looking at the past to the present, in the period of over 3 million years, 10 GU cultivators stood at the peak of the world, looking down on all the living beings. In the long river of history, the 5 regions and 2 heavens had countless geniuses and heroes. If these people were akin to shining stars in the sky, then the 10 rank 9 GU immortals were each like suns, they were bright and dazzling, spreading their radiance over the whole world. Their glory had never faded, their legends continued to be widespread. They were the 10 great venerables. From the start of history until now, they were 3 million years ago, remote antiquity era, primordial origin immortal venerable, star constellation immortal venerable. 1 million years ago, olden antiquity era, limitless demon venerable, reckless savage demon venerable, red lotus demon venerable. 300,000 years ago, medieval antiquity era, Genesis lotus immortal venerable, thieving heaven demon venerable, giant sun immortal venerable. 100,000 years ago, late antiquity era, spectral soul demon venerable, paradise earth immortal venerable. These 10 stood at the apex, dominating the world with unparalleled might, they suppressed their entire era with no rival that could match them. Their methods were terrifying, even after a long period, they still remained like eternal arrangements. Their intelligent schemes spanned across the eras, existing throughout the past and present, they used all living beings as their pawns. Even after death, they still continued to influence countless future generations. Towards these people, Fang Yuan had the deepest feelings in this aspect compared to everyone else in the world. Fang Yuan was extremely clear about the gap between him and these venerables. Even though he was the #1 demon of the current world, having pseudo-venerable battle strength, he was not confident in fighting against a venerable. Venerables dominated heaven and earth, everyone else other than them were ants. The Fate War was a huge lesson to everyone, any method left by any venerable could turn the entire situation around just like that. Only a venerable could resist another venerable. Putting it crudely, the reason why Fang Yuan succeeded in the Fate War was because he struggled and managed to survive while sandwiched between the battle among the 10 venerables and Heaven's will. Towards these venerables who invested in him and treated him as a pawn, for every bit of admiration that Fang Yuan held towards them, there was also an urge to challenge them. For every bit of wariness he felt towards them, there was a bit of desire to match them. If they could become venerables, why couldn't I, Fang Yuan, do it? Furthermore, in order to pursue eternal life, the so-called rank 9 venerable cultivation level was merely the stepping stone for Fang Yuan. The plan to become venerable had already been set the moment he was reborn. Years ago, when Fang Yuan had just been reborn, he looked up at the sky during those nights, viewing the moon, he felt incredibly minuscule. But now, he had already risen to the skies, venerable level was merely his next step of advancement. But how could he become a venerable? Fang Yuan did not know, he was uncertain, he did not understand. There was a huge secret behind the ascension of a venerable. This secret had never been publicly spread. The 10 venerables seemed to have some sort of tacit agreement, they kept this secret together. Nobody in the world could find out, they could only analyze using some clues and common traits that everyone knew. Among the 10 venerables, there were 9 males and 1 female. This meant that there was no gender restriction in becoming a venerable, it was possible for both sexes. Venerables possessed invincible battle strength, but they were not omnipotent. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable and Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable had once asked Long Hair Ancestor to refine Immortal GU with them. 2 kings could not exist at the same time. In every great era, there was only one venerable, there had never been 2 venerables in the same time period. Contests between venerables were limited to the type in the Fate War, where they competed using methods they left behind. Each venerable possessed immense innate luck. Phenomena could be seen for some when they were born, their lives were smooth sailing, for example, Red Lotus Demon Venerable. Some were not apparent in their early days, they only grew explosively after a certain period of time. Seemingly, in the growth of every venerable, there would be one Tao Guardian in existence. Each Tao Guardian played a monumental role in the journey of the venerable's growth, they could be either friend or enemy. It was publicly recognized that every rank 9 venerable's main path was at Supreme Grand Master. The venerables were still restricted by lifespan, there were records in history where venerables used their full strength to hunt for lifespan GU. The 10 venerables were all humans, there had never been a variant human venerable. However, just this information could not truly deduce the secret of venerable ascension. One of the most successful deductions in history was the prophecy of 3 venerables. Immortal Yi Yan said that in the future, there would be Spectral Soul Demon Venerable, Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable, and Great Dream Immortal Venerable. This deduction did not involve the details of the secret of venerable ascension. Furthermore, after Fang Yuan destroyed Fate GU, this prophecy was no longer set in stone. Then, what was the secret of venerable ascension? Fang Yuan needed to know about this secret urgently. Demon Immortal Qi Ju's success was the best example, it was likely that the venerables were going to revive. Thus, the best way to deal with this possibility was for Fang Yuan to become venerable himself. Fang Yuan understood deeply. No matter how many grotto heavens he annexed or how many immortal materials and Tao marks he had, he could not become venerable. Thus, the most important reason why he came to Lu Wei Yin was for the secret of venerable ascension. Other things, like Paradise Earth's true inheritance or Paradise Earth's true meaning, were just secondary gains for the current Fang Yuan. Sitting opposite each other, Lu Wei Yin drank his tea as he smiled. He was not surprised by Fang Yuan's question. He raised his head and placed down his teacup. He raised 3 fingers and said directly, there are 4 conditions to satisfy if you want to become a venerable. First, the GU Immortal's Immortal Aperture Origin Core has to produce White Lychee Immortal Essence. Second, the GU Immortal's main cultivation path needs to have at least 300,000 Tao marks. Third, the GU Immortal's main cultivation path needs to be at least Supreme Grand Master in attainment level. Fourth, after meeting the first 3 conditions, the GU Immortal has to break through the Heavenly Tao blockade, after which the Immortal Aperture Origin Core will undergo a qualitative change and produce rank 9 Yellow Apricot Immortal Essence. Out of Fang Yuan's expectations, Lu Wei Yin actually told him the secret of venerable ascension directly and honestly. Fang Yuan originally thought that Lu Wei Yin would make a transaction regarding this and list some conditions for Fang Yuan. Or more accurately, there had to be a reason why Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable chose Fang Yuan as his inheritor. Fang Yuan did not know what Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable was plotting. But he had already decided that as long as he could obtain the secret of venerable ascension, he would be willing to give in to some extent and work with Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable. However, Lu Wei Yin did not conceal this secret, he directly said it to Fang Yuan. This was like a transaction where both parties were meant to hand over the goods and money at the same time, but suddenly, the trader tossed the goods to the buyer first. Lu Wei Yin's action did not make Fang Yuan relax, he instead became more alert. Lu Wei Yin had a deep scheming mind, Fang Yuan had lost to him once in the past and failed to regain upper extreme heavenly eagle. During the battle to pursue Fang Yuan, Lu Weiyin worked with him and killed Spectral Soul together. This battle even showed Fang Yuan his strong mental fortitude and endurance. How could such a person be so unwise? Fang Yuan carefully thought about the 4 conditions of Venerable Ascension. The first 2 conditions are basically those of a rank 8 GU immortal who has passed 3 myriad tribulations. I have already met this condition in Chi Path, Time Path, Refinement Path, and Transformation Path. As for the third condition of the main cultivation path being Supreme Grand Master, I have not fulfilled this criteria yet, but my Refinement Path, Time Path, and Enslavement Path are already quasi-supreme. The difference is not huge. As for the fourth condition, breaking through the Heavenly Tao blockade. Fang Yuan frowned slightly as he asked, what does the Heavenly Tao blockade refer to? Lu Weiyin continued to explain for Fang Yuan, the way of heaven is to take away surpluses while replenishing deficits, so all things are in balance and mutually restrict each other. A tall tree is the first to face destruction, soil that is nearest to the water will be the first to be swept away by the currents. But the way of humans is the exact opposite, it reduces the deficits and builds up the surpluses. By devouring the weak and continuing to learn, one can grow and make up for insufficiencies to become even stronger. The Heavenly Tao does not want the number of GU immortals to increase while they at the same time get stronger, thus calamities and tribulations occur. Calamities and tribulations are part of the Heavenly Tao blockade. Before becoming a Venerable, the Heavenly Tao will send a tribulation far greater than any myriad tribulation. Other than that, there is Lifespan GU. Lifespan GU is a Heaven Path GU worm, it cannot be refined by people. Even though the 10 Venerables were invincible in their eras, they were still bound by it. During an era with a Venerable in existence, natural production of Lifespan GU will continuously fall. The third blockade is Fate GU, but you have already destroyed it. Fang Yuan pondered. There are basically 3 types of Heavenly Tao blockades. Fate GU has been destroyed while Lifespan GU is of no concern for now. The remaining Tribulation blockade is the greatest hurdle that I will face. Is there a way to deal with the Heavenly Tao blockade? How did the Venerables in history get past it? Fang Yuan asked. Lu Weiyin answered. There are ways to take shortcuts, luck path is one of them. The Venerables in history all have immense innate luck, it mostly comes from 2 sources. The first is the favor of heaven's will, the second is the adoration of human path. 3 million years ago, the variant humans were strong and disrupted the balance. The Heavenly Tao sought to deal with them, so heaven's will favored primordial origin and allowed him to become an immortal Venerable. The best example of human path adoration is Red Lotus Demon Venerable. He is a child of humanity, he has extremely dense innate luck. When he was born, tribulation struck. The 3 dukes of Heavenly Court had to intervene and block the tribulation for Red Lotus. Fang Yuan raised his brows. Thinking about it, can human path methods be a way of breaking through the Heavenly Tao blockade? Earlier, Fang Yuan had used human path methods to interrupt with the Heavenly Tao, allowing him to gain time to take action. In this aspect, he was quite experienced. Lu Weiyin nodded. Indeed, human path methods are a good way of breaking through the Heavenly Tao blockade. Precisely so, the various Venerables had a common trait. They all comprehended something from U003C U003C the legends of Ren Zhu 003E U003E and created their own top-tier human path killer moves. They continued to converse for some time. Lu Weiyin answered every single one of Fang Yuan's questions to the best of his knowledge. Fang Yuan finally understood the conditions to become venerable. He fell into deep contemplation. After careful analysis, he found that only 2 points restricted him from becoming venerable. One was attainment level, the other was the Heavenly Tao blockade. The latter could be dealt with eventually. Fang Yuan had cooking luck pot in terms of luck path, he also had human path methods, he just had to elevate and develop them further. The true problem was attainment level. Quasi-Supreme Grand Master attainment level, it seemed very close to the genuine Supreme Grand Master, but that was actually very hard to reach. If there was a suitable environment and sufficient time, Fang Yuan could work hard in cultivation and continue to deepen his comprehension. He believed that in this lifetime, he could definitely reach Supreme Grand Master in at least one path. But now, the revival of Venerables had started to cast a shadow on his future. What method is there to allow me to get past this problem? Dream realms. Obviously not. Fang Yuan had already found out that the dream realms originating from spectral soul could only reach Great Grand Master attainment level at most. True meaning. He thought about it. Don't tell me, Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable left behind his true meaning so that my Earth path could reach Supreme Grand Master. Seemingly sensing Fang Yuan's thoughts, Lu Weiyin shook his head. Lord Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable's true meaning can only allow you to reach Earth path Great Grand Master. However, there is a solution in Paradise Earth's true inheritance. Fang Yuan looked at the smiling Lu Weiyin, an obscure light flashed in his eyes. Oh, please do tell me. Lu Weiyin thus said. Fang Yuan, you have read U003C U003C The Legends of Ren Zhu 003E U003E, you must know this secluded domain of heaven and earth, primordial domain. The truth is, if one can enter primordial domain, they would be able to make one of their paths reach Supreme Grand Master. Primordial domain. Fang Yuan was moved. You know where it is. Lu Weiyin's eyes flashed with bright light, at the deepest layer of Crazed Demon Cave. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2086 The Secret of Venerable Invincibility. 2086 The Secret of Venerable Invincibility. Primordial domain is at the deepest layer of Crazed Demon Cave. At once, thoughts collided in Fang Yuan's mind rapidly. U003C U003C The Legends of Ren Zhu 003E U003E did mention primordial domain, but the description was vague and ambiguous. It depended on the reader's own perspective and comprehension. Even if primordial domain has such power, is it really at the deepest layer of Crazed Demon Cave? Fang Yuan would not believe Lu Weiyin's words so easily. But this was quite possible. Fang Yuan had been to Crazed Demon Cave. He had observed then that Paradise Earth went there and even created his own Tao field. Fang Yuan could not enter the deepest layer, but Paradise Earth was an immortal venerable, his ability could not be easily assessed. If this is real, then Paradise Earth's objective is in Crazed Demon Cave. Fang Yuan's mind was turbulent, but his expression remained unchanging. Lu Weiyin looked at his expression as he sighed internally. This Gu Fang Yuan is the #1 demon in the world after all, no wonder Heaven's Will and the Venerables chose him as their pawn. Just this information is not enough to gain his trust. Lu Weiyin had no choice but to continue speaking. Primordial domain is indeed at the bottom of Crazed Demon Cave. It is quite unique, it is both the beginning and the end, it contains the supreme profundity of the whole of heaven and earth. Limitless Demon Venerable used it in rank 9 derivation. Immortal Gu is the course to derive new worlds and create brand new heaven path Tao marks. In a way, Crazed Demon Cave is far more important than even Heavenly Court. Lu Weiyin said slowly as he exposed even more secrets. During the olden antiquity era a million years ago, humanity's first demon venerable, Limitless Demon Venerable, attacked Heavenly Court and threatened to destroy it, forcing star constellations will to engage in a game of chess with him. The chessboard was secretly linked to Crazed Demon Cave. As the two venerables schemed, their thoughts collided and new ideas were born. They created brand new heaven path gains. These gains went into Crazed Demon Cave through the chessboard, helping Limitless with his derivation. Star Constellation pretended to be unaware, but she was prepared for this long ago. She went along with the plan. The venerables of the future, like Reckless Savage Demon Venerable, Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable, and Giant Sun Immortal Venerable, all visited Imperfection Regret Pavilion and knew of the two venerables' game. They understood the importance of Crazed Demon Cave. During the Fate War, the silhouettes of both venerables vanished within Imperfection Regret Pavilion, but this was only the end of a segment of their game. The true place to decide victory was still Crazed Demon Cave. All the venerables knew this, they all took part in some way. For example, Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable created his Green Lotus Tao field in the 8th layer of Crazed Demon Cave. Reckless Savage Demon Venerable created his Savage Wilderness Great World, while Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable made his Yellow Earth Great World. This way, the situation became more complex. Fang Yuan was shaken internally. This has been one of my deepest suspicions so far. A portion of the venerables spent so much effort to create their Tao field in the 8th layer of Crazed Demon Cave. Why did they want to defend their own big world so much? Unless, they are also after primordial domain. Venerables have already become venerable, primordial domain is not necessary to them. Wait, that might not be the case. A flash of inspiration sparked in Fang Yuan's mind. He saw through the fog and observed a corner of the truth. Ha. Lu Weiyin laughed loudly. Fang Yuan, you truly live up to your reputation. You are someone who did not falter to the venerables' plots no matter how many were in your way. You have already understood a portion of it. Indeed, Lu Weiyin continued. Fate Gu has been destroyed, venerables can revive now. However, the stronger the Gu Immortal, the more troublesome and bigger the price their revival will be. If they are careless, even if they revive, they will not have their former strength. For example, Demon Immortal Qi Ju was interrupted by Yuan Wuyong, his strength fell and he was no longer in his peak condition. Venerables are the same. After they revive, even though they will not have their Venerable blockade and will be able to regain rank 9 cultivation level, the competition between Venerables will be intense. Even though Venerables left behind revival methods, they are still limited in the end. Thus, the Venerables want to make their revival certain. It would be best if they had their former peak battle strength the moment they revived. Fang Yuan nodded continuously. He could understand the Venerable's mentality. When Fate Gu was around, everyone was unable to revive. But all the Venerables still left behind some methods. Once Fate Gu was destroyed, these methods would activate and allow them to revive. However, Venerables were in opposing factions, they had their own perspectives, they also schemed against each other. Who would not want to be the strongest person in the world? Who would want the existence of Venerables other than themselves? The Venerables were wary of each other, they thwarted each other's plans, even though they were dead, they still competed with each other in the dark. Due to the long duration of history, this type of competition would usually benefit the Venerables of the future eras. For example, Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable. But nothing was absolute. Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable came before Spectral Soul Demon Venerable, but his arrangements, Divine Emperor City and Ching Cho, still managed to harm Spectral Soul. Or the situation of Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable entering the Red Lotus Stone Island and taking away Regret Gu, it was an easy task. But all in all, this was the general trend. Later Venerables had a greater advantage in this contest. Because the entire Gu cultivation world was continuously developing and growing. In the remote antiquity era, in primordial origin Immortal Venerable's time, there were only 4 to 5 paths, Chi path was the strongest. But now, there were paths of all kinds, mainstream paths numbered to at least 20. Taking Divine Emperor City as an example, it was created by Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable using his peak wood path and painting path attainment at that time, it could even mimic human path. But in terms of luck path, it was quite lacking. After all, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable only appeared after Genesis Lotus. In fact, it was not certain if Divine Emperor City was still the peak product of wood path at this current time. 300,000 years had already passed since Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable's era. During this long period, wood path had grown tremendously, countless geniuses emerged, they had their own developments, they promoted wood path to a new level. Only painting path was still at its peak. Why? Painting path had been kept as a secret by Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable, it was not leaked to the outside world. Thus, the current painting path was still kept at its peak state from back then. This was also why a portion of the Venerables held onto their own paths, true inheritances, and did not spread them widely. Like Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's luck path true inheritances. Lu Weiyin continued to expose more secrets. Fang Yuan, do you know that Duke Long had moved the door of life and death into Crazed Demon Cave before the Fate War? Fang Yuan's gaze flickered. Heavenly Court knows that Spectral Soul's main body is inside the door of life and death, so they moved it away in advance and prevented him from succeeding his plot. No wonder Spectral Soul and Fairy Ziwei could not find the door of life and death even after ransacking Heavenly Court's treasuries. Lu Weiyin drank some tea before continuing. Duke Long did not just relocate the door of life and death, he even moved a portion of Heavenly Court's immortal graveyard into Crazed Demon Cave. Fang Yuan was stirred. This means that I only destroyed a portion of Heavenly Court's immortal graveyard, the rest is inside Crazed Demon Cave. Is this the backup plan that Heavenly Court had? It does seem like the way of a righteous path super force. After all, Heavenly Court had limited GU immortals, even if they woke up, they could not retain their peak battle strength. Star constellations will also need some GU immortals to hibernate and support her. I was about to get to star constellations will. Lu Weiyin's gaze was bright as a torch, he stared at Fang Yuan. Do you know that for a long time, star constellations will has not showed herself to tell Heavenly Court what to do? Fang Yuan was finally moved, he understood the implicit meaning behind these words. Fang Yuan stared at Lu Weiyin. You mean to say, star constellation has already revived using her will? Lu Weiyin nodded. Although I am not certain, this is very likely to be the case. If Star Constellation Immortal Venerable revived, she would definitely lurk in the 8th layer and try to obtain the 9th layer's primordial domain. Once she enters it, she will regain her Supreme Grand Master attainment level in Wisdom Path, she will be able to use the primeval energy of the world for herself and become a complete and genuine Tao Lord. Fang Yuan frowned deeply, he had originally thought that no Venerable had revived yet. But from this conversation, he knew that it was likely at least one Venerable had already revived. And this revived Venerable, the only female among them, was terrifying, the only Wisdom Path Venerable. This woman was so strong that even after her death, she could scheme against 3 demon Venerables of the future. Even though the true details were quite different from what Heavenly Court publicly announced, it was true that Heavenly Court was saved by star constellation's schemes and arrangements, surviving the onslaught of 3 demon venerables. This contribution was undeniable. Every time Fang Yuan thought about it, he could feel how terrifying it was. As for why Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was no longer a Wisdom Path Supreme Grand Master, Fang Yuan knew clearly. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable died 3 million years ago during the remote antiquity era. Too much time had passed. Wisdom Path had developed until today, it had already undergone a complete revolution in terms of improvement and elevation. Quasi-Supreme Grand Master meant that the GU Immortals' understanding of the path was already at the limit of heaven and earth, they were already touching that ceiling, they had almost completely understood the profundity of the path. But they were just inches away, unable to break through. As for Supreme Grand Master attainment level, not only did they need to comprehend the full profundities of the path, they also had to innovate further. At this level, each time the GU Immortal improves, it would be an unprecedented feat, it would elevate the upper boundaries of the entire path, it would even elevate the whole of heaven and earth to some degree. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's Wisdom Path Supreme Grand Master attainment level back in the day was no longer Supreme Grand Master in today's world. Even though she merged with Heaven's Will and studied Heavenly Court's Wisdom Path research results at all times, this was still true. Forget about the difference between Star Constellation's will and a clone, just Heavenly Court's Wisdom Path research results alone only represented a portion of the whole of Wisdom Path. Only after Star Constellation Immortal Venerable entered Primordial Domain could her Wisdom Path attainment level return to Supreme Grand Master, she would become a Tao Lord again. What is a Tao Lord? Fang Yuan heard of a new concept from Lu Weiyin once again. This journey to the mushroom in paradise was truly valuable. He had already understood the conditions of Venerable Ascension, he also learned of the Venerable's schemes, and now, the term Tao Lord was likely concerning the secret of Venerable invincibility. As expected, at the next moment, Lu Weiyin smiled. Why could the past Venerables be invincible in the world? The difference between Venerable and Pseudo-Venerable lies in the concept of Tao Lord. Why could Venerable methods remain for so many years without dissipating? This is also due to the concept of Tao Lord. Before Fang Yuan could ask him, Lu Weiyin immediately answered, the so-called Tao Lord refers to the Lord of a certain path. When a GU Immortal becomes Venerable and has Supreme Grand Master attainment level, they will be the leader of that path, their own improvement would signify the improvement of the path, that would also be the improvement of heaven and earth, that person is a Tao Lord. As a Tao Lord, the GU Venerable can sense all of the natural Tao marks of heaven and earth of that particular path and refine them. After refining the Tao marks, the GU Venerable can manipulate them at will. Fang Yuan could not help but feel shaken. Refine them. Manipulate them at will. Lu Weiyin continued to speak. After every Venerable becomes Venerable, there will be a period of time when they roam the world. For example, Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable or Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable. But the truth is, during this period, they are refining the natural Tao marks of the world, they are turning the entire world into their personal battlefield killer move. This was the secret of Venerable invincibility. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2087 Obtaining Southern Borders Paradise Earth True Inheritance. 2087 Obtaining Southern Borders Paradise Earth True Inheritance. So this is the secret of Venerable invincibility, Feng Yuan sighed in his heart. This trip to the mushroom in paradise was truly not in vain. Fang Yuan obtained a lot of secrets involving Venerables, he also had some sort of guess towards Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable's motive. At this point, the signs shown in Fang Yuan's luck inspection were verified. His luck was like a pure silver pillar of light, even though it was slim, it was tall, shooting towards heaven, seemingly trying to pierce the sky. At the bottom of this dense pure silver light pillar, there was a lump of yellow chi guarding it, looking like a dust cloud that seemed to support the pillar. At the top of the pillar, there were 3 clouds, one was black as ink, one was golden and dazzling, one was shining with starlight. These 3 clouds were phenomena that seemed to be obstructing Fang Yuan's luck from rising further. The black ink cloud should be Spectral Soul Demon Venerable. After all, the current Shadow Sect was already left with few members, it had little threat. The starlight cloud was most likely the revived Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. It radiated mystery, it had an aura filled with wisdom. As for that golden cloud, there was no need to guess, it was Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. In the Fate War earlier, Giant Sun's attack came from northern plains with imposing might, arriving in Heavenly Court with unparalleled strength. During the battle to pursue Fang Yuan, even though they lost one legendary immemorial beast, Longevity Heaven's strength did not fall much, they still retained their foundation. The Huang-Jin family was like the 10 great ancient sects of Central Continent, it dominated Northern Plains and ensured that the whole of Northern Plains was controlled by Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's bloodline descendants. Crazed Demon Cave was in Northern Plains, there was no way to avoid Giant Sun Immortal Venerable in Longevity Heaven. Maybe, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable chose to create Longevity Heaven in Northern Plains not because he was a Northern Plainsman but because of the crucial Crazed Demon Cave, he wanted to make his arrangements. Fang Yuan had many thoughts, he pondered about the deeper meaning of this. If it were him, he would make the same arrangements. If Fate Gu was not destroyed, everything would not matter. But once it was destroyed, the Venerables could revive. By then, whoever occupied Northern Plains and encircled Crazed Demon Cave would have the clear advantage. Fang Yuan looked at Lu Wei-yin again. Since Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable created the Yellow Earth Great World, then by helping me become venerable, does he also want me to help him revive successfully? Lu Wei-yin nodded and smiled, precisely. Back then, Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable brought blessings to the world, but his main true inheritances were left in the 5 regions. Southern Borders Paradise Earth True Inheritance is here. Eastern Seas Paradise Earth True Inheritance is in the Blue Dragon Whale. Central Continent's Paradise Earth True Inheritance is Reincarnation Battlefield. Northern Plains Paradise Earth True Inheritance is inside the Yellow Earth Great World. As for Western Deserts Paradise Earth True Inheritance, someone seems to have taken it already. Venerables have left behind their revival methods but they are limited. As long as they are destroyed in advance, these Venerables will not be able to revive. But if they revive, the difficulty to take them down will be at a whole new level compared to before. Now that Fate Gu has been destroyed, the river of time's lower stream is in turbulence and chaos, the world is experiencing an unprecedented shift in era. Who can be sure of what will happen in the future? Not just Venerable revival, just talking about Great Dream Immortal Venerable alone, will she still appear? Pseudo-Venerable is just pseudo-Venerable in the end. By now, Fang Yuan, I am sure that you no longer suspect our sincerity. As long as you help Lord Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable revive, we will be the closest allies. Not only will we give you Southern Borders Paradise Earth True Inheritance, we will also provide clues for Eastern Seas and Central Continent's Paradise Earth True Inheritances, the value is simply immeasurable. Fang Yuan was silent. Lu Wei-yin was here to convince him, he was not just qualified to do so, he was incredibly skilled. As expected, every Venerable had extremely deep wisdom. Fang Yuan was starting to understand the accuracy of Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable's scheme. Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable did not need to worry that Fang Yuan would reject him. Because the things that Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable offered had immense value, not only would Fang Yuan be moved, he also needed these Venerable secrets urgently. The reason why Lu Wei-yin exposed these secrets to Fang Yuan earlier was not because he was stupid or generous. It was because Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable knew about Fang Yuan's nature. To work wholeheartedly with a person like Fang Yuan, the first condition was that he needed to be assured. Otherwise, even though Fang Yuan was a risk-taker, with his immense vigilance, he would not help to revive a Venerable while only being a pseudo-Venerable. Thus, Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable needed to help Fang Yuan become Venerable. Red Lotus and Spectral Soul were worried that Fang Yuan would become unstoppable when he became a Venerable, thus they wanted to get rid of him. But Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable wanted to help Fang Yuan in this, while the other Venerables were fighting alone, he had already cooperated with Fang Yuan. Venerables were the strongest existences in heaven and earth, they were at the limit of the world. In a contest between such individuals, their strength would usually be quite equal, any bit of difference would decide the eventual outcome. Thus, if Paradise Earth worked together with Fang Yuan, the advantage would be huge. All these were simply alluring temptations. Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable did not just tempt Fang Yuan with the present gains, he even lured Fang Yuan with the future benefits of working together. Of course, other than allure, there was also pressure. Lu Wei-yin had already told Fang Yuan clearly, the Venerables want to revive in Crazed Demon Cave, would you not stop them? If not, after losing this opportunity, you will definitely suffer in the future. Fang Yuan, look at what you've done in the past. Longevity Heaven, Heavenly Court, and Shadow Sect were all his enemies, if the Venerables revived, they would not let him off. Even if they had no grudges, as a pseudo-Venerable closest to the level of Venerables, would those revived Venerables want more chess players in this world to compete with them? Paradise Earth was a good person, he only expressed kindness to others. However, Paradise Earth's magnanimity and scheming ability definitely lived up to his title as a Venerable. Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable tempted and pressured Fang Yuan at the same time. What would he choose? How else could he choose? At the next moment, Fang Yuan nodded with a grim expression. All right, I agree to this. Let's set the agreement. Lu Weiyin waved his hand. I believe in you, Fang Yuan, why would we need to set an agreement? He was bullshitting. The true reason was that Fang Yuan had methods like myriad beings assimilation transformation, almost no alliance agreements in the world could restrict him. Lu Weiyin had no choice but to show his tolerance in this issue. Fang Yuan was a logical person. If he was not logical and vigilant, he would not reach this stage today. Precisely because of his logic and wariness, he knew that working together with Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable had benefits, while refusing had its demerits. This was more effective than any alliance agreement in the world. Lu Weiyin slowly stood up. Since we are in an alliance, Southern Borders Paradise Earth True Inheritance is yours now. Please follow me. Fang Yuan followed Lu Weiyin and left the house, going to a mountain peak. Outside the house, the sky was tall and the clouds were wide, the fields under the mountains were green, the breeze was gentle and the trees were swaying slowly. Lu Weiyin pointed at the base of the mountain. Fang Yuan, firstly, this mushroom in paradise is now your property. You can freely annex it. Of course, you can let it remain here as your territory in Southern Borders GU Immortal World. Fang Yuan was moved. This gift was not a small one. Mushroom in Paradise had existed for over 100,000 years, it had abundant resources, comparable with top-tier grotto heavens in the two heavens. Let alone the giant resource points inside, just the countless mushroomen living here were definitely something unique among the 5 regions and 2 heavens. This was the best mushroomen resource in the world, there was no contest. Next, Lu Weiyin handed Fang Yuan more than 10 immortal GU, they were mostly Earth Path. Among them, one was an information path immortal GU that recorded the details of Southern Borders Paradise Earth True Inheritance. Fang Yuan's divine sense entered and saw everything at once. He found that this true inheritance had 3 components. The main part was the Earth Path True Inheritance. There was the core killer move, Paradise Creation. After using this move, the immortal aperture would no longer have calamities and tribulations. The second part was related to human path. Fang Yuan had seen the contents before. When Lu Weiyin tried to reform Fang Yuan in the dream realm, Fang Yuan had obtained this virtue true inheritance before. This true inheritance had a weird requirement. It needed the inheritor to maintain a just heart, to be a virtuous person. The greater the user's virtues, the easier it was when cultivating. The core immortal GU was accumulate virtue GU. As long as Fang Yuan did good deeds and acted kindly, it would continue to refine itself. The greater the accumulation of kindness, the higher the rank of the accumulate virtue GU refined. Accumulate virtue GU had many incredible uses. The most useful one was to modify Fang Yuan's physique into the righteous virtue physique that was only inferior to the 10 extreme physiques, but it did not have any of the 10 extreme physiques' flaws. It represented a limitless future and potential. Fang Yuan only took a few looks before he sighed in amazement towards Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable's talent. Earlier, he had only interacted with a small portion in his dream, he did not understand its full profundity. The human path segment of Southern Borders Paradise Earth True Inheritance opened a new door for Fang Yuan. He saw a new perspective of human path. It stemmed from the morals of people, developing in this direction. If GU cultivators chose to cultivate this way, it would definitely create change and become a central part of GU cultivation in the future. If this cultivation information was spread widely, it would definitely cause the righteous path to prosper. Additionally, the refinement method of accumulate virtue GU was also incredible. It was able to refine accumulate virtue GU in the person's body through acts of righteousness and kindness. This was a type of human body GU refinement method, or rather, a human path GU refinement method. From this aspect, one could see that Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable had shocking refinement path attainment. Fang Yuan currently lacked this essence of refinement path, it was a huge inspiration to him. I am only a quasi-supreme in refinement path, mainly consisting of the hairy man GU refinement method. To become a genuine Supreme Grand Master, I lack these things. But how many of these things are in existence? Where are they left at? This human path refinement method of accumulate virtue GU seems to have some similarity with Qing Chao's hatred GU refinement. Fang Yuan thought about it for a while, he was secretly happy internally. He next moved his attention to the third portion of Paradise Earth's true inheritance. This was regarding the dream path. The core killer move was 3 lifetime dreams reform a chosen one. This killer move used Fetus Earth Maze as the foundation to create a dream realm. It allowed the people who entered the dream to live in the same dream together for 3 lifetimes. One could experience the mortal lives fully and comprehend life and death, understanding the vicissitudes of human ways and forgetting the evil in their heart, turning over a new leaf. Fang Yuan had already been hit by this move before. Lu Weiyin was the user. The reason why Lu Weiyin understood Fang Yuan's nature and goal so well was also because of this move. Thus, Fang Yuan obtained 2 rank 7 Dream Path Immortal GU from him. The first was Dreaming Immortal GU. It was the core Immortal GU of 3 lifetime dreams reform, a chosen one. It was not a surprise. The other Immortal GU made Fang Yuan very happy. Even though this Immortal GU is only rank 7, it carries a huge significance in my case. Its importance surpasses rank 8 Immortal GU, and even rank 9. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2088 Dream Path Master. Chapter 2088 Dream Path Master. The Dream Path Immortal GU held in Fang Yuan's hands now was a round ruby-like jewel that was cut in half. This semicircular ball-shaped GU worm looked very cute. Its red color was also very attractive. Its head was only 10% of its body, its back was round and smooth, there were black markings all over, resembling a tortoise shell. This was rank 7 Dream Path Immortal GU, Dream Armor. It was a defensive Dream Path Immortal GU. Fang Yuan had many Immortal GU currently, but he only had 1 Dream Path Immortal GU. It was rank 8 Dream Token, the core Immortal GU of Dragon Palace. Dream Token was shaped like a dragonfly. It had a round head and long body, with a pair of pink ruby eyes and 4 pairs of transparent wings. Looking closely at its thin wings, one would also see a faint layer of rainbow halo. Looking at the two, Fang Yuan found that Dream Path Immortal GU seemed to all look very pretty. I wonder what dream travel and dream wings look like. Fang Yuan could not help but think. He had 500 years of memories. He knew that Dream Wings Immortal GU was in the hands of Feng Jin Huang, while Dream Travel Immortal GU was in Lady Poison Scorpion's hands. It was not that Fang Yuan had no intentions of targeting them. All along, he could not effectively deal with Feng Jin Huang, while he had little confidence in regards to Lady Poison Scorpion. In his previous life, Dream Travel, Carefree Travel, Fixed Immortal Travel, and Liquor God Travel were the publicly recognized 4 Great Movement Immortal GU. Even though Fang Yuan was strong, Lady Poison Scorpion could travel through dreams and instantly enter any single dream realm. Currently, Dream Path is still not developed enough. Dream realms have not manifested everywhere in the outside world. Dream Path Immortal materials are still rare, while Dream Path Immortal GU are even rarer, and yet I already own 3 of them. Fang Yuan was quite happy with this result. In the previous life, the manifested dream realms were even larger than Spectral Soul's dream realm. They were everywhere in the 5 regions. Thus, everyone could enter dream realms for exploration. It was unlike now where dream realms were occupied by the experts. A vast amount of dream realms meant countless opportunities for GU cultivators to excavate Dream Path GU materials. With these materials, Dream Path started to develop rapidly as a path. Thus, at this current time, Dream Path had only started to grow in its initial state. Thieving Heaven's Dream Realm, Paradise Earth's Dream Realm, and Spectral Soul's Dream Realm were just small flames that could not boil this entire pot of water. To boil the pot of water that was Dream Path, Spectral Soul's Dream Realm was just too small. The entire world's strength was needed. In Fang Yuan's case, the Immortal GU Dreaming and Dream Token were even less important than Dream Armor. Because Dream Armor was a defensive Immortal GU. With this Immortal GU, he would have the capability of resisting Dream Path tribulations. The pure Dream Reality Seeker clone would be able to undergo Immortal Ascension. Fang Yuan recalled his luck inspection results earlier. The pure Dream clone's luck was like a pink sandbox. It was very small, but yellow sand entered it continuously, turning into pink sand that strengthened the sandbox. The sandbox luck predicted that the pure Dream clone would receive the help of Paradise Earth. Now it seemed like that was truly the case. Fang Yuan activated Cooking Luck Pot again to inspect his luck. His silver luck pillar did not change much. The pillar of light only became slightly larger while most of the yellow sand below it had vanished. The pure Dream clone's luck was still like a pink sandbox, but no more yellow sand fell into it. The sand pile in the box was very tall. There was a feeling of collapse or breakthrough at the next moment. I gained Southern Borders Paradise Earth True Inheritance. With his help, the pure Dream clone has the opportunity to break through. But even so, the risks are still huge. I need to make even more preparation. Fang Yuan quickly understood. After Cooking Luck Pot reached rank 8, Fang Yuan obtained even more benefits from Luck Path. He was increasingly feeling the advantage of luck path. It was no wonder that giant son Immortal Venerable managed to rise to the top back then. Crazed Demon Cave was definitely a place to visit, but Fang Yuan could not go now. Currently, his strength was growing explosively. Fang Yuan intended to raise his battle strength to the limit before heading to Crazed Demon Cave. Even though Lu Weiyin claimed that the situation was extremely urgent, Fang Yuan had luck inspection, he knew that he still had some precious time left. More preparation leads to better future results. Let me first research on dream path methods before I help the pure dream clone to ascend. Fang Yuan looked at himself. His dream path knowledge was undoubtedly the number one in the current world. The knowledge of dream realm exploration that he brought along with rebirth was still the top-tier research result of the current world, but his advantage was quickly shrinking. However, after Fang Yuan was reborn, he still made incredible progress in dream path. The killer move Unravel Dream came from his memories. From Shadow Sect, he obtained Lead Soul into Dream, Switch Soul in Dream, and Pure Dream Reality Seeker Transformation. From Dragon Palace, he obtained Dreamy Light Smoke, Dream Within Dream, and Dream Revelation. And now from Southern Borders Paradise Earth True Inheritance, he obtained 3 lifetime dreams Reform a Chosen One. Fang Yuan had more Dream Path killer moves than Dream Path Immortal GU. Many of the Dream Path killer moves had core Immortal GU of other paths. There was no helping it. He used a vast number of Dream Path Mortal GU in place of a Dream Path Immortal GU. For example, killer moves like Lead Soul into Dream and Switch Soul in Dream. What I need now is a Dream Path defensive killer move that uses Dream Armor Immortal GU as the core. After that, I need a Dream Path movement method so that I can escape danger and gain some time to recuperate. After that is healing and finally offense. Even though Fang Yuan's Dream Path attainment level was ordinary, he was confident in creating new Dream Path killer moves. The reason was that he had unrestrained Heavenly Mark. He could create a large number of compound killer moves. Longevity Heaven and Heavenly Court were definitely plotting to contest in Crazed Demon Cave. They would not send troops to attack Fang Yuan's variant human alliance. Not to mention approaching Fang Yuan. As for the Southern Alliance led by Wu Yong, they would be glad if Fang Yuan did not find them for trouble. Why would they come to him and court death? The external environment was unprecedentedly safe. Fang Yuan started to enter closed cultivation. He created Dream Path killer moves. He made good progress every day. More than 10 days later, Fang Yuan suddenly stopped, entering a daze. He advanced to Dream Path Master. This was the explosive growth of his accumulation. It was extremely smooth after long periods of foundation building. When creating his killer moves, he had unknowingly succeeded and stepped into the next realm. Ever since rebirth, Fang Yuan had been pressured by external forces. He had never invested any time or energy into Dream Path. Until now, he started to truly cultivate Dream Path. He put effort into it. Because his foundation was deep, he was able to progress rapidly from the start, raising his Dream Path attainment level. Master attainment level. The GU cultivators' use of GU worms had already reached an artistic level. They were no longer amateurs. The most evident trait was the emergence of instinct. Their understanding of GU worms and the conceptualization of immortal killer moves for that path had also turned into the cultivator's innate ability. It was like a natural skill that came with them from birth, smooth and easy to use. For example, Fang Yuan had a very vague idea of Dream Path GU worm compatibility for killer moves. He had to try to find out if they would succeed or fail. But now, before trying, his instincts would tell him if some ideas were more feasible or if they were meant to fail even without trying, whether he would only waste his time, energy, and resource if he went ahead. Good. Having Dream Path Master attainment level is truly icing on the cake. My Dream Path achievement is definitely at the top of the current world. But this might change after some time. In the memories of Fang Yuan's previous life, there were many Dream Path geniuses. Among them were shocking talents like Feng Jin Huang and Lady Poison Scorpion. Raising Dream Path attainment level was much easier for them compared to others. Some people were born with compatibility with certain paths. Talent was something that could not be explained. Especially for great dream immortal venerable seeds like Feng Jin Huang and Lady Poison Scorpion. Fang Yuan had self-awareness. He knew that others would surpass him soon in the aspect of Dream Path attainment level. But Fang Yuan would not give up on developing Dream Path. He would not commit the same mistake as in his previous life. Dream Path was the great trend ahead, the revolution of the future. There was a huge advantage in a new path. But now is not the time to truly cultivate Dream Path. Fang Yuan understood his circumstances clearly. He had to become a venerable first to resist the external threats, only then would he have time and opportunities to develop his Dream Path slowly. After hearing of the 4 Venerable Ascension conditions from Lu Wei-yin, after careful consideration, Feng Yuan guessed that refinement path would be the most likely path that he would become venerable in. First becoming a venerable in refinement path, then going on to becoming venerable in other paths. This was the advantage of the sovereign immortal body. The other venerables would only be able to stare at his growth. Even though Spectral Soul knew how to refine sovereign immortal fetus Gu, after failing in his pursuit of Feng Yuan, he had already fallen behind in terms of progress. Feng Yuan had far greater potential for development than the current venerables. At the same time, Central Continent, Spirit Affinity House. In a certain Gu refinement secret room within Spirit Affinity House, Feng Jinhuang's Gu refinement was reaching its crucial stage. I am about to succeed. Feng Jinhuang's eyes shined. As long as I refine this dream path mortal Gu, I will have defensive abilities in dream realms. This is definitely a huge breakthrough. Suddenly, the light in front of Feng Jinhuang exploded, the Gu refinement failed as she coughed out a mouthful of blood, falling down. How did this happen? Feng Jinhuang was extremely shocked. This was not supposed to happen. The dream path mortal Gu recipe had been checked more than 10 times, how could there be a mistake? Even if any mistake was present, it should not have triggered at this crucial point. This is not a problem with my Gu recipe, the problem is the Gu material. Feng Jinhuang's head was hurting greatly, but she still understood what had happened. When refining the Gu, I did my inspection. The Gu materials must have been tampered with, and it must be the work of an immortal, that is why I could not notice it. I was plotted against. Someone wants me dead. Thinking of this, a deep chill emerged from the depths of Feng Jinhuang's heart. She struggled to get up but halfway, she fell over. Her face was pale as her aura weakened, the strength in her body dissipated as well. I am going to die here. Feng Jinhuang gritted her teeth as tears appeared in her eyes. Her beautiful and elegant face was plastered on the cold ground, she had no strength to raise it herself. Master, before dying, Feng Jinhuang thought of Duke Long, her mother, and her father. I am not willing to die here. Feng Jinhuang shouted in her heart. Suddenly, she heard some quarreling outside. Fairy, you cannot go in. I, Zhao Lianyun, am the current generation fairy of Spirit Affinity House, I can use any Gu refinement room I want, why can't I choose this best room? Fairy, this room has been taken already, you barged in like this, what if an accident occurs when the person inside is refining Gu? Accident, HMPH, how can there be any accident? The moment she said that, there was a loud sound, the third door of the secret room was forcefully opened. Ah, what is going on? The Gu master in charge of the Gu refinement secret room became pale with shock. Her Gu refinement failed, she suffered a backlash. Quickly give way, how can a Gu master like you save her from these injuries? Zhao Lianyun pushed the Gu master aside, a dark light flickering in her eyes. The Gu master was covered in sweat, thinking about the history between Feng Jinhuang and Zhao Lianyun, she was flustered and did not know what to do. Aren't you scramming? If you interrupt my healing, can you bear the consequences? Zhao Lianyun called out again. The Gu master gritted her teeth. Fairy ah. Zhao Lianyun waved her hand. A lump of profound light sent the Gu master flying far away. Zhao Lianyun approached Feng Jinhuang as she squatted down. The two peerless beauties looked at each other. The Gu refinement secret room fell into dead silence. This was truly a twist of fate, the two of them had reversed statuses at the moment. Feng Jinhuang was not flustered in the face of death, she said calmly, so you are the ones who want me dead. She was intelligent, after seeing Zhao Lianyun, she thought of Li Junying and Xu Hao. The latter two had deep grudges with Feng Zhuzhe. Zhao Lianyun sighed as she extended her hand towards Feng Jinhuang. Feng Jinhuang had no strength to resist, her vision fell into darkness. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2089 Come compete yourself. Chapter 2089 Come compete yourself. Water vapor surged, 3 Gu immortals flew rapidly among the clouds. Faster, faster. The Gu immortal in front was the current first supreme elder of Spirit Affinity House. The 3 Spirit Affinity House immortals that were moving showed unease and anxiety on their faces. It turned out that after Zhao Lianyun forcefully sent the rank 5 Gu master guarding the Gu refinement room away, this Gu master felt very worried and went to inform the higher-ups of Spirit Affinity House. After receiving the news, First Supreme Elder and the rest could not wait anymore, they quickly rushed towards the place. Nothing had to happen to Feng Jinhuang. Earlier, even though Feng Zhuzhe betrayed them in the Fate War and caused Fairy Bai Qing and Feng Jinhuang to fall from grace, Heavenly Court dealt with the issue calmly, they did not punish the two of them. According to the rules of the righteous path, they could not punish them. This was because Feng Jinhuang and Fairy Bai Qing did not betray their sect. Feng Jinhuang was even the disciple of Duke Long. During the pursuit of Fang Yuan, Qin Dingling handed out emergency orders. Spirit Affinity House's first Supreme Elder personally controlled the Immortal Gu House and brought Feng Jinhuang to the battlefield, where she collected all of the dream realms that Fang Yuan left behind. Feng Jinhuang made a huge contribution in this battle. Before the first Supreme Elder left, Qin Dingling secretly transmitted to her and said, "Take good care of Feng Jinhuang. Even with the destruction of Fate Gu, Dream Path is still the future trend of the world." Spirit Affinity House instantly understood the intention of Heavenly Court. They still thought highly of Feng Jinhuang and wanted to nurture her. All of the dream realms that Feng Jinhuang collected were kept with her. Heavenly Court did not take a single one away. The three immortals flew into the Gu refinement secret room directly. "Fairy Lian Yun, you need to calm down him." The three immortals were surprised. They did not see Feng Jinhuang's corpse. Instead, they saw that Feng Jinhuang and Zhao Lianyun were facing each other. Traces of blood was still seen on Feng Jinhuang's lips, but using their investigative methods, the three immortals found that she was very healthy, completely uninjured. What is going on? Did Zhao Lianyun really save Feng Jinhuang? This is too strange. Zhao Lianyun has always been part of the anti-Feng faction. Feng Jinhuang failed her Gu refinement this time. She came at a peculiar timing. She evidently wanted to deal a fatal blow. Why did this happen? The three immortals were unable to understand. Looking at the situation, Feng Jinhuang had the upper hand, while Zhao Lianyun's expression was quite ugly. Feng Jinhuang, very well done. Zhao Lianyun looked at Feng Jinhuang deeply in the eyes. She spoke with deep meaning before leaving. She walked past the three immortals without even greeting them. This went against her usual demeanor. It showed how terrible her mood was. Feng Jinhuang wiped the blood traces off her lips as she smiled and greeted the three supreme elders. The three immortals quickly understood the reason. They sighed in their hearts. This must be due to Feng Jinhuang's plan. She must have sensed something and went along with the scheme to lure out the enemies, causing Zhao Lianyun to expose herself. Ever since the Fate War, Feng Jinhuang's improvement has been very evident. Predicaments truly help to train people. But what should we do about their conflict? The three immortals were secretly troubled. On one hand, there was the anti-Feng faction. Li Junying and Shu Hao were the pillars holding this faction up. They helped Zhao Lianyun become the current generation fairy of Spirit Affinity House. With her addition, the faction was already the #1 force within Spirit Affinity House. On the other hand, there were Fairy Bai Qing and Feng Jinhuang. This mother and daughter pair was not easy to deal with. They had deep foundations. Even though Feng Jinhuang seemed to have lost her grace, she was still very important to Heavenly Court. After all, her father was Feng Zhuzhe. Even though he betrayed the righteous path, as long as he was not dead, Spirit Affinity House could not ignore his existence. The conflict between the two factions became the greatest internal threat of Spirit Affinity House, but the first Supreme Elder was unable to do anything. Feng Jinhuang, if you want to refine Gu in the future, you can come to my mountain peak. The first Supreme Elder looked at Feng Jinhuang for a while before speaking amicably. She pretended not to know about the fact that Zhao Lianyun came to find trouble earlier. There was no direct evidence. The only evidence was the Gu refinement materials, but they were destroyed already. Even if there was evidence, the first Supreme Elder would likely not want to deal with it. Having it manifest now would just trigger the internal threat, causing the decline of the sect. The first Supreme Elder was very mature. She knew that Spirit Affinity House had fallen into some internal strife now. It was like a volcano bound to erupt soon. She needed to use a pot lid and cover the top, stalling for as much time as she could. During this period, she had to dig some roots to redirect the lava away and release the inner pressure to stabilize the situation. Zhao Lianyun returned to her mountain with a livid expression. She did not enter the hall. She stood on the mountain peak, looking at the dark weather. She knew that someone would come. As expected, a while later, Shu Hao and Li Junying flew over together. This couple's expressions were not good. Along the way, they already knew that the plan had failed. But they still needed to find out the details from Zhao Lianyun herself. Before Shu Hao or Li Junying spoke, Zhao Lianyun already asked them, how did Feng Jinhuang find out the flaw in the Gu materials? Do you have anything to say about this failure? Shu Hao was silent. Li Junying said grimly, I underestimated Feng Jinhuang. Lien Yun, you know about my title as illusory fairy, I am skilled at such things. Especially when I became a Shadow Path Great Grand Master recently, even if the GU material were to be placed in front of First Supreme Elder, she might not have found out. Zhao Lien Yun's expression was cold as she waved her sleeves in anger, but it happened anyway, what explanation do you have? Shu Hao spoke. Maybe Duke Long left Feng Jinhuang some defensive methods. Or maybe this is the power of Dream Path. After all, we are not familiar with Dream Path. That demon Fang Yuan has also relied on Dream Path to fight strong enemies while he was weak. Shu Hao continued. Alright, this was our mistake. Fairy Lien Yun, according to our agreement, after helping us with this matter, we no longer owe each other anything. Since this plan failed, let it be, it was our fault after all, we will treat it as a completed task. From today onwards, we do not owe each other anything. Hearing his words, Li Junying showed anxiety on her face, she wanted to speak, but Shu Hao stopped her with his hand. Zhao Lien Yun's expression eased at this moment, she nodded at the two immortals before turning around and leaving without speaking. The two immortals saw that Zhao Lien Yun went into her palace, they had to return. Along the way, Li Junying said angrily, if not for our help, how could this Zhao Lien Yun have gotten the divine concealment of thieving heaven's true inheritance? If not for our help, how could she have become the current generation fairy? She actually wants to keep a clear distance from us now, she is truly an ingrate. And husband, you actually let her off so easily, do you know that she is the best weapon for us to deal with Feng Juzhe? To think that you are a wisdom path cultivator, sigh. Shu Hao smiled. My dear wife, don't worry. Even though we failed, there were gains too. Firstly, we learned about Heavenly Court's intentions through the First Supreme Elder's actions. Secondly, we now have Zhao Lien Yun on our side for good. Thirdly, we also found out some of Feng Jinhuang's abilities. Li Junying was slightly dazed before she realized. That's right, even though we failed, Zhao Lien Yun also became enemies with Feng Jinhuang. Even if we do not look for Zhao Lien Yun, Feng Jinhuang will eventually repay her for this. The enemy of an enemy is a friend, so she is still on our side. Precisely. Shu Hao nodded. Li Junying smiled. Husband, you are really a wisdom path cultivator, I was wrong earlier. Shu Hao smiled, showing a gaze full of bitterness. Feng Jinhuang is truly the daughter of Feng Juzhe, her attitude, talent, and dream path methods surpass my expectations. Our original plan was to use Feng Jinhuang as the bait to lure Feng Juzhe into attacking Spirit Affinity House angrily, to make him conflict with Heavenly Court. Shu Hao and Li Junying's target was still Feng Juzhe after all. Even though Feng Juzhe was strong and even 10 of Li Junying and Shu Hao together could not fight him, was there really a need to face him in combat? Humans were the spirit of living beings, there were many ways to kill an enemy stronger than yourself. Shu Hao, who cultivated Wisdom Path, thought of a plan to use Heavenly Court as the blade to exterminate Feng Juzhe. This was the flair of a Wisdom Path GU Immortal, he was skilled at using other people or situations to achieve his goal. This plan failed, I truly underestimated Feng Jinhuang. After this, she will definitely stay by her mother's side, we will not have many opportunities to strike again in the future. Shu Hao was very worried. Feng Juzhe had once suppressed Shu Hao, causing him to live a life shrouded by darkness. This was their grudge. When Feng Juzhe was in Spirit Affinity House, his family occupied all of the resources, causing Li Junying and Shu Hao to progress slowly in cultivation. This involved their benefits. Feng Jinhuang cultivated Dream Path and was highly regarded by Heavenly Court, she was the forerunner of the new era. This was a future threat. Spirit Affinity House and Heavenly Court could not be depended on, the only one who could defend Shu Hao's benefits was Shu Hao himself. If he did not do his best, who would help him? The journey of cultivation involves competition and conflict, we can only win if we stake our lives on important gambles. Shu Hao muttered, determination flashing in his eyes again. Some days later, Eastern Sea, on a nameless island in a nameless sea area, Fang Yuan let out his Dream Path clone. Start, Fang Yuan said plainly. The Dream Path clone nodded as he took a deep breath, shattering his aperture at the next moment. The complete pure dream reality seeker physique's aperture was different from an ordinary rank 5 aperture, it was constantly alternating between shattering and forming at all times, yet its aperture wall had a thin layer that was able to fix this Dream Path aperture in place. At this time, Fang Yuan's Dream Path clone only used primeval essence to assault the wall before it shattered. At the next moment, formless heavenly power surged towards him from all over the place as the pure dream clone's body started to rise into the air. Rumble. Clouds gathered in the sky as thunder rumbled. The waves around the island became more intense, soon turning into huge tides. The environment became quite hostile. Using GU worms in this area, be they immortal or mortal, would result in backlash. If the backlash was severe, even immortal GU would be destroyed. Heaven's will was seemingly enraged. Fang Yuan was a hated scoundrel. He actually wanted to become a Dream Path GU immortal in advance. This was not part of the plan of Heaven's will. This went against the arrangement of fate. It could not be spared. It could not be forgiven. Fang Yuan looked up at the sky, his gaze was peaceful yet determined. So what if the heavenly Tao did not allow it? Then contest. Then fight. In this world, the most reliable thing was neither your clan or sect, nor your family or lover, it was yourself. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2090 Meng Chu Zhen. Chapter 2090 Meng Chu Zhen. Fang Yuan's pure dream clone had already shattered his aperture to start the immortal ascension. Once this process started, it could not be stopped. Either he became an immortal or he would face failure in death. Heaven Chi poured down like a calm yet swift breeze, Earth Chi rose up with a heavy and stable feeling. The pure dream clone emitted a dense human Chi as well. The complete pure dream reality seeker physique was the 11th extreme physique. It contained an immense amount of human Chi to begin with. As the three Chi converged, Chi currents surged and intertwined, creating a huge cocoon that enveloped the pure dream clone's entire body tightly, leaving no gaps outside. At this juncture, GU masters had to be mindful to regulate the three Chi and fuse them together. The three Chi had to be balanced. If human Chi was slightly in excess, it would lead to self-detonation. If heaven Chi was slightly more, the GU master would dissolve into the sky. If earth Chi was slightly denser, the GU master would turn into a fossil and suffocate to death. This step was precarious, but Fang Yuan had absolute confidence in the pure dream clone. He had already given the pure dream clone an abundance of memories regarding immortal ascension. This not only included Fang Yuan himself but also those he soul-searched. For example, the northern plains GU immortals like He Cheng, or southern border GU immortals like Sha Cha. There were also many eastern sea, central continent, and western desert GU immortals that Fang Yuan harmed. In the long history of GU cultivation, in terms of immortal ascension experience, the pure dream clone's accumulation was definitely rare. The difficulty of the pure dream clone's immortal ascension was not the three Chi, but the tribulation. In the sky, heaven and earth Chi rumbled like a turbulent sea. A vast amount of pink fog covered the sky of a few thousand li. It was grand and majestic, emitting a dense aura of dream path. Fang Yuan's main body was solemnly awaiting it. This immortal ascension definitely enraged heaven's will greatly. The difficulty was far beyond ordinary. Bam bam bam. At the next moment, rumbling thunder could be heard unceasingly. Within the sea of pink clouds, more than 10 balls of light shot down. These balls were all pink in color, they were large as mountains, the surfaces were smooth without any impurities. The balls of light did not move quickly, they gave people a feeling of being weightless. As the 10 pink balls descended, they were aimed at the pure dream clone who was floating in the air. Fang Yuan immediately acted to obstruct them. There were countless thoughts accumulated in his mind. At once, his thoughts collided, killer moves were unleashed in rapid succession, creating a huge sky of fireworks that blocked the 10 pink balls. The following scene was a slight shock to Fang Yuan. One pink ball shattered into countless bubbles that spread in the sky. One pink ball engulfed everything in its path as it expanded by several times. One pink ball shattered and turned into desolate beast nightmare demonic cults, rapidly approaching the pure dream clone. One pink ball turned into a lump of dream realms that flew over. One pink ball turned into a dream path immortal GU, rapidly vanishing into thin air. The 10 pink balls had varying effects. It was a chaotic scene. Any ordinary GU immortal would have flustered by now, but with Fang Yuan's deep wisdom path attainment, he made the most appropriate reaction right away. He first released the desolate level year beasts in his immortal aperture to resist the nightmare demonic cults. Next, he waved his sleeves, dense smoke flew out and captured all of the dream butterflies that got close to the pure dream clone. After that, he used pure dream reality seeker transformation on the dream realm. But this dream realm still approached the top of the pure dream clone's head as its form changed violently, resisting Fang Yuan's pure dream reality seeker transformation. It seems that this dream realm contains heaven's will. Fang Yuan did not worry. Even though he had not undergone a dream path immortal ascension before, he had already made many deductions regarding this. This was one of the scenarios that he deduced. A large amount of Wisdom Path and Dream Path GU worms were rapidly activated in the Sovereign Immortal aperture. They formed a killer move, Heaven's Will Dissipation. This killer move was modified by Fang Yuan. It was originally able to dispel the Heaven's Will in dream realms, but the efficiency was too low. After modification, by adding in Dream Path Immortal GU, the speed became faster. However, the brand new Heaven's Will Dissipation could not work on this dream realm. What is going on? Fang Yuan frowned. At the next moment, thoughts collided in his mind, inspiration flashed. This dream realm is fake. This is why pure dream reality seeker transformation did not work earlier. Even if I use Heaven's Will Dissipation, the result is the same. But in that case, a dark light flashed in Fang Yuan's eyes as he hesitated for once, looking at the scene in front of me. What is real and what is fake? The seemingly chaotic tribulation had real and fake elements to it. But even with Fang Yuan's strength, he could not tell. One skill to dominate the world, this was the power of Dream Path. Even Fang Yuan's main body succumbed to it unknowingly. Indeed, the pure dream clone is only undergoing immortal ascension. The tribulation cannot be this powerful. There were desolate beasts in Dream Path Immortal GU. Why did I not realize this earlier? Fang Yuan's pupils shrunk uncontrollably. The Dream Path tribulation was truly peculiar. Not only could it blur reality and truth, it could even silently affect Fang Yuan's thoughts and mental state. Dream Armor Immortal GU had been given to the pure dream clone long ago. Fang Yuan quickly used his compound killer move. Using Dreaming Immortal GU as the core, his body started to shine in a layer of profound light. It was able to defend against some Dream Path abilities. Fang Yuan instantly felt his mind clearing up. He was no longer disrupted when thinking. But that did not help the tribulation that the clone was facing. At this time, Fang Yuan could only stop his actions. Just a mere rank 6 tribulation was able to force the pseudo-venerable Fang Yuan to no longer take action. Because soon, Fang Yuan realized that he could not decipher the reality and illusion of this scene. Was that the case for the pure dream clone too? Even though Fang Yuan felt that the pure dream clone's cocoon had never changed location, it was likely that its traces had already been concealed. If Fang Yuan did anything now, he might be killing the pure dream clone in reality. At this time, Dream Path defensive methods became extremely precious. Fang Yuan did not move. He let the Dream Path tribulation hit him, only using the compound killer move to defend himself. As for the pure dream clone, he was defended by Dream Armor Immortal GU. The pure dream clone did not have the sovereign immortal body. He could not use Fang Yuan's compound killer moves. The pure dream clone also had to stabilize the 3 chi. He could not divert his precious thoughts into activating any Dream Path killer moves. The truth was, Fang Yuan was only a Dream Path master. He could not create Dream Path killer moves compatible with the pure dream clone in this short period of time. Thus, the pure dream clone directly activated Dream Armor Immortal GU instead. Even though Dream Armor Immortal GU was rank 7, the pure dream clone had the immortal essence that the main body gave him. Fang Yuan was very patient. He watched the dream realm descend upon his clone. He watched as the nightmare demonic cults got free from the year beasts and attacked the pure dream clone. The Dream Path tribulation lasted for over 45 minutes before the clouds in the sky dissipated. Heaven and earth was clear again. As heaven and earth chi faded away, the sea became calm again. The nightmare demonic cults on the ground returned to their original form. They were actually the desolate level year beasts that Fang Yuan released earlier. As expected, the cocoon was not far away. It was to the left of Fang Yuan. This discovery made Fang Yuan's heart turn cold. The cocoon was at a dangerous spot. If Fang Yuan used any killer move, he could likely implicate it. By then, Fang Yuan's main body would be the culprit that killed the pure dream clone. The Dream Path Immortal Ascension was truly dangerous. If Fang Yuan took risks, it was likely that his main body would be the biggest obstacle for his clone's tribulation. Thankfully, Fang Yuan was vigilant and only did the tribulation after getting Dream Armor Immortal GU. Even so, this immortal ascension was very dangerous. He almost failed to pass it. This Dream Path tribulation even managed to affect my main body. Let's call it bewildering illusion dream tribulation. Even though Fang Yuan also had a compound killer move that contained Dreaming Immortal GU and could be used for investigation, this killer move was clearly not enough to decipher the truth. The key was that he had too few Dream Path Immortal GU. Dream Armor was with the clone. The main body only had rank 7 Dreaming and rank 8 Dream Token. If Dream Token was used alone, the user would die from using it, because this Immortal GU uses all of the GU Immortal's foundation, immortal essence, emotions, true meaning to create a dream realm. The size and power of the dream realm would depend on the situation. Back then, Wu Shuai was a peak rank 8 GU immortal. He was a quasi-supreme Grand Master in enslavement path. After sacrificing his life, Dragon Palace gained the power to enslave the 4 dragon generals. Dream Token was very hard to use alone, killer moves that used it as the core were very difficult to activate. In Fang Yuan's case, it was not even as useful as rank 7 Dreaming Immortal GU. The 3 chi fused into one lump. The pure Dream clone tossed a rank 5 Dream Butterfly Mortal GU into it. At the next moment, there was a loud sound as the 3 chi exploded, creating an immortal aperture. With the creation of the immortal aperture, it started to absorb the surrounding heaven and earth chi of the pure Dream clone in a frenzy and grew rapidly. The pure Dream clone put in Dream Armor Immortal GU and the rest, quickly soothing the 3 chi and stabilizing the newly created Blessed Land. The Blessed Land was completed. Even though it was not comparable to the Sovereign Immortal Aperture, it was a super-grade Blessed Land, far beyond high grade. The complete pure Dream clone had a 10 extreme physique, thus, it was not strange to have a super-grade Blessed Land that only 10 extreme physiques could obtain. With the Blessed Land, a portion of heaven and earth chi still remained. The pure Dream clone used the chance to refine his vital GU. The Dream Butterfly Mortal GU that he tossed in earlier was his vital GU. During the resonance with heaven and earth earlier, he learned of 3 Dream Path Immortal GU recipes from natural inspiration. Dream Butterfly Immortal GU was one of them. Dream Butterfly Immortal GU successfully became rank 6, Fang Yuan finally had a total of 4 Dream Path Immortal GU now. After the Immortal GU was refined, new Dream Path Tribulations appeared in the Blessed Land, but the might was far lower than the Immortal Ascension Tribulation. This time, Fang Yuan's main body did not need to do anything. Fang Yuan gave Dreaming Immortal GU to the pure Dream clone, the latter used the 3 Immortal GU to pass the tribulation. Dreamy light smoke of the otherworldly guest, calling out the inner soul of my nightly dream. Even if this is not fated for 100 years, I leave behind this mortal shell to seek reality in my dream. After the tribulation, the pure Dream clone sang his poem. He placed his palm by his chest, bowing at the main body. From today onwards, my name is Meng Chu Zhen 1. Fang Yuan laughed. Good name. Meng Chu Zhen, show me your Dream Path Blessed Land. He was very interested in the Dream Path Blessed Land. This Dream Path Super-Grade Blessed Land had a total of 8,000 square kilometers of land. The rate of time was 46 times. The Immortal Aperture Origin Core would produce 55 green grape Immortal Essence each year. This was the standard of a super-grade Blessed Land. There was nothing out of the norm. The truly satisfactory thing for Fang Yuan was the special environment of the Blessed Land. This is the best location to nurture Dream Path Immortal material. The potential for development is huge. It did not disappoint me after all. After some observation, Fang Yuan was quite satisfied. The severe lack of Dream Path Immortal materials had always troubled him. With this Dream Path Immortal Aperture, he had a foundation to develop more immortal materials. Throughout history, the signature development of a new path was the emergence of GU Immortals that cultivate the path. Because of the unique and enclosed environment, the GU Immortal's Immortal Aperture could rapidly grow a large amount of immortal materials of that path. These immortal materials would flow into the market and push the path to prosper and progress. One literally Dream Reality Seeker, he uses a part of the physique as his name. This is also what the last part of the poem refers to. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2091 Clear and Bright Eyes. Chapter 2091 Clear and Bright Eyes. Kill him. Don't let him bring the immortal GU away. That immortal belongs to me. GU Diao Gui Men, don't think of leaving. The pursuing group was closing in. Feng Jinhuang had 2 paths ahead of her to choose from. Only one could allow her to escape. The other path would lead to Diao Gui Men's Blessed Land headquarters. Feng Jinhuang did not hesitate. She chose the left path and rushed out. With a loud sound, the view before her shined brightly. Feng Jinhuang was slightly dazed. She soon found that her soul had returned to the outside world. The dream realm from earlier had already vanished. I passed the dream realm, as expected. That wild soul path Immortal GU is the key. After her soul returned to her body, Feng Jinhuang showed an excited expression. This time, my soul path attainment level rose. Dream Path Master attainment level is really helpful when exploring dream realms. Ever since that dangerous situation in the GU Refinement Secret Room, Feng Jinhuang benefited from the ordeal instead and advanced to Dream Path Master. The last scene of the dream realm earlier was also Feng Jinhuang's first attempt. She did not know which way was the right one. But at the crucial moment, her dream path master instincts told her which was the correct route to take. It is a pity that I cannot control the instinct gained by becoming a dream path master. It works at times but does not have effect at other times. If I can become a dream path grand master, this instinct will be many times stronger. I can even use dream path GU worms to form killer moves that mimic other paths as well. Feng Jinhuang sighed internally. This advancement to dream path master was already an incredible experience to her. She had been fortunate to succeed after facing immense danger and the threat of death. Feng Jinhuang could clearly feel that her understanding and accumulated knowledge of dream path had been used up. She barely became a dream path master. To raise her attainment level again, she would need to accumulate more foundation next. This would take a long time. After packing up, Feng Jinhuang stood up and pushed the door of the cultivation secret room open. Passing the long walkway, she arrived in the living room. Fairy Bai Qing had already cooked food. The table was full of delicacies. Seeing Feng Jinhuang, Fairy Bai Qing smiled. Huang has your cultivation for today ended? Looking at your expression, you must have succeeded. Indeed, mother. Dream Path Master attainment level is truly phenomenal. It is so helpful for my dream realm explorations. Feng Jinhuang sat down and described the final scene of the dream realm. If not for my instincts, my soul would have gotten heavily injured now. Fairy Bai Qing's smile faded away. I've already looked into it. That situation is quite clear now. The ones plotting against you are Li Junying and Xu Hao. Li Junying secretly became a Shadow Path Great Grand Master but kept a low profile, allowing her to tamper with the GU materials. But eventually, Zhao Lianyun did not harm you but saved you instead. I am truly seeing this otherworldly demon in another light. No wonder she could become the current generation fairy. It was not just because she was the lucky person who received Love Gu's recognition. Feng Jinhuang had a complex expression on her face. She recalled the scene in the secret room, fear still lingering in her heart. Back then, she was completely defenseless. She was fish on the chopping block. Zhao Lianyun could decide her life and death. Even though Feng Jinhuang survived without any danger in the end, this situation still stirred her inner heart greatly. Fairy Bai Qing continued to speak. Huang I have already inspected your body, there are no problems. Did Zhao Lianyun really just save you? She did not list any requests. Feng Jinhuang shook her head. Even though she did not say it, I have already guessed her plan. After all, her eventual goal is very obvious. Mother, forget about this, let's eat. After eating, I need to continue exploring dream realms. Fairy Bai Qing nodded. As long as you know what you are doing. But cultivating day and night all the time is no good. Cultivation has its own pace to follow. Mother, Feng Jinhuang interrupted Fairy Bai Qing. I know about the concept of pacing myself, but I also know that I need to be stronger. I can only protect you when I am stronger. I do not want to be the one who is constantly protected. Only by getting stronger can I fulfill Master's dying wish and become a dream path GU immortal. Only by getting stronger can I make people like Zhao Lianyun and Fang Yuan unable to bully and plot against me. Only by getting stronger can I face my father directly and engage with him in a fight to show him my true goals. Fairy Bai Qing was dazed for a moment. Feng Jinhuang's eyes were seemingly emitting bright light. 2 rays of light shot into Fairy Bai Qing's heart. Fairy Bai Qing held down her worries as she smiled. Huang since you have made your decision, go ahead and do it. I will support you all the way. If you have any needs, I will do my best to help you. Feng Jinhuang left her seat and came to Fairy Bai Qing. She held her mother's hands. Mother, I know you love me. Do you have any method to get Guts GU? I need Guts GU the most now. Fairy Bai Qing smiled bitterly. Oh Huang this request is too much for me. You know that Guts GU is only produced on Danghun Mountain, and this mountain is in the hands of that demon GU Fang Yuan. He has already stopped selling Guts GU publicly for a long time now. All of the Guts GU in the market are just the remaining stock that he sold in the past. With the quantity dwindling, the price is also getting higher. Feng Jinhuang sighed. Mother, you know that many methods can heal my soul but they will have certain side effects. Nothing can match Guts GU. I must become a dream path GU immortal. If my soul has too many varying Dao marks at that time, it will limit my future potential. Fairy Bai Qing patted Feng Jinhuang's hands. I will do my best, sigh, if only your father was here. Feng Jinhuang's expression changed as she said in displeasure. Mother, don't mention him in front of me. Alright, I won't talk about him. At the same time, Affection Peak. To think that the sect sent you to convince me. The owner of Affection Peak, Zhao Lianyun, looked at the person with a smile. Bu Gen Zi smiled bitterly. Fairy, please don't take offense. This was a task given to me, I had no choice but to come here and talk to you. Zhao Lianyun's smile widened. You are too polite. Back then, when we went to Northern Plains and fought on Snowy Mountain, if not for your protection, I would have died already. Please come in, I have prepared some tea for you. Bu Gen Z was a rank 7 GU immortal who cultivated Phantom Path. Back then, he was ordered by the sect to protect Zhao Lianyun. He showed a good performance in Reverse Flow River and was heavily nurtured after returning to the sect. Spirit Affinity House's higher-ups also considered this point. They sent Bu Gen Z here to convince Zhao Lianyun to stop her actions. Bu Gen Z arrived in the evening. When the tea ceremony ended, the moon had already appeared into the sky. Fairy, there is no need to send me off, I will take my leave now. Bu Gen Z cupped his fists, his expression was joyful. This discussion was quite successful. Zhao Lianyun was far more magnanimous and easygoing than he had expected. Zhao Lianyun nodded. Goodbye. Bu Gen Z said sincerely. Fairy, I have already understood your circumstances and problem, I will go and inform First Supreme Elder, please do not worry. Zhao Lianyun smiled. I will have to trouble you then. Zhao Lianyun watched as Bu Gen Z left. Even after his figure vanished into the clouds, she still remained standing at the top of Affection Peak. Night winds howled, the surrounding mountains were covered in dense fog, nearly concealing even the bright moon in the sky. This was Spirit Affinity House's main headquarters. The moon in the sky was just an immortal formation in essence. Zhao Lianyun was dressed in white, her clothes moved along with the wind, she had long black silky hair and clear skin, her eyes were furrowed as she looked at the night sky. She was Spirit Affinity House's current generation fairy, her status was very high, even a rank 7 expert like Bu Gen Z had to speak to her politely. She had the thieving heaven true inheritance of divine concealment, she controlled love GU, she could command people at will. It was really not easy for an otherworldly demon like her to reach this stage. However, none of these made Zhao Lianyun happy. Right now, I have become an immortal but you are not by my side. Sigh, being an immortal is no better than immortal. The huge 5 regions and 2 heavens were still not her homeland, she could not truly feel at ease. She was once favored by fortune, she encountered Ma Hongyun, whom she entrusted her heart to. But destiny was also cruel, she got separated from Ma Hongyun, getting sold publicly as Feng Zhuzhe bought her. She participated in the Reverse Flow River battle but watched as Fang Yuan killed Ma Hongyun in front of her. She was used by Xu Hao and Li Junying as a pawn, she had once knelt on the ground and begged, she tried all ways possible to become the current generation fairy. She was given trouble at the secret inheritance peak. At that time, Spirit Affinity House's GU immortals were very cold to her. After hearing of Fang Zheng's successful immortal ascension, she went to visit him and even brought gifts. She helped Fang Zheng train his blood turns cold killer move. With the help of Xu Hao and Li Junying, she became the Affection Peak Lord. She knew about this couple's scheme, but she had to agree to deal with Feng Jinhuang for them. But not only did Feng Jinhuang not die, Zhao Lianyun saved her instead. This was Zhao Lianyun's scheme. Xu Hao and Li Junying made use of me, but I can also make use of their hatred towards Feng Zhuzhe to manipulate them. If they want to deal with Feng Zhuzhe, they will need to rely on me. I can also use them to cultivate and grow faster. Thankfully, I have divine concealment, it allows me to face wisdom path GU immortals with ease. Bu Gen Z and I have some history of fighting together, we can become allies for benefits. Fang Zheng has already become the Demon Judgment Board Lord, my investment was truly worth it. And Feng Jinhuang also owes me this favor, maybe we can join hands to deal with Fang Yuan. After all, he snatched her who immortal blessed land. Zhao Lianyun schemed with all her strength, a vague web that connected several forces was already forming around her. She only had one goal, that was to retrieve Ma Hongyun's soul from Fang Yuan and revive her lover. Fang Yuan, Zhao Lianyun muttered, the worry on her face deepened immediately. Fang Yuan was like the fog that covered this sky, he was grand and vast, compared to him, Zhao Lianyun was insignificant and weak. Her goal was like the moon in the sky, clouds covered it and hid everything from her, almost completely obscured. She could not see the path ahead, she could not find a destination. Zhao Lianyun gritted her teeth, her body was like a weak white flower that would be blown away by the wind at any time. But her eyes were still shining brightly. I need to persevere. I cannot give up. If even I fail, then who can still save Hongyun? In this world, he can only rely on me. And I can only rely on myself. Tomorrow, I will head to Sorrowful Wind Mountain Range. The traces of their fight can still be found there. I can gain first-hand information and deduce Fang Yuan's current strength. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2092 Wang Shao'er's Amnesia. Chapter 2092 Wang Shao'er's Amnesia. Sorrowful Wind Mountain Range. In an ordinary and common cave, the four great obscenities of Central Continent chose to rest in this place. Eastern obscenity Chen Yin Dao, Western thief Yu Ba Guang, Southern disturbance Shi Bao and Northern squandering Fan Chun Yao. They all had rank 4 cultivation level, they were infamous in Central Continent's GU Master World, they had taken the chastity and lives of many innocent girls. At this time, these four men were standing in a circle, they stared at a young man who was unconscious, observing him. Why hasn't he woken up yet? He has been sleeping these last days, he has not even eaten anything but he is still full of vitality. Do you guys think he is an immortal? The four GU masters were talking about Wang Shao'er. Wang Shao'er was an ordinary shepherd, but life was extremely cruel to him. During the battle to pursue Fang Yuan, the aftermath caused the mountain he lived on to be destroyed, all of his family members were dead. But for some reason, Wang Shao'er did not die, he even fell into this peculiar state. Think about it, when we first met him, the grass and flowers around him were blooming and dying constantly. He might be a GU immortal who joined that battle, he got injured and his enemies thought he was dead, but he used some method to preserve his life, except he fell into a coma afterwards. Yu Ba Guang tried to connect the events. They were just GU masters after all, they did not have the information that Heavenly Court was spreading around in Treasure Yellow Heaven. But if he is an immortal, why would an immortal dress like this? Shi Bao pointed at Wang Shao'er's clothes as he showed a strange expression. Wang Shao'er's clothes were tattered and patched up, he obviously had the lowest status in society, he was not even qualified to become a GU master. Fan Chun Yao rubbed his chin. If only we can soul search him, we would know the truth. But these days, even though we used all our soul searching methods, there was no effect. This is definitely something a GU master cannot do. Soul searching methods had been widely spread ever since Spectral Soul created them, it was simply too convenient after all. Any demonic path GU master who did not know a single soul searching method would be too ashamed to call themselves demonic. The four GU masters gritted their teeth, they had never seen such a peculiar situation, they did not know what to do now. Eight eyes stared at Wang Shao'er fixedly. Chen Yin Dao spoke. Sigh, look at his motionless state, if only this were a female immortal. The other three looked at each other. He. At the next moment, they chuckled knowingly. After some silence, Shi Bao suddenly shouted, screw it, waiting like this will have no progress. I am going to take action. What are you thinking of doing? Fan Chun Yao asked. Shi Bao snickered. This. Before finishing his words, he attacked abruptly, he activated an offensive GU worm and shot out a red light at Wang Shao'er. You are crazy, the others were shocked, but soon, all of their attention was drawn by the phenomenon around Wang Shao'er. They saw the traces of silver threads glowing around Wang Shao'er, these threads easily blocked the red light, it weakened and dissipated instantly. Shi Bao was dumbfounded, the others showed the same expression. They all knew that this was Shi Bao's strongest method, but it was easily dispelled by this Wang Shao'er. Looking at his aura alone, this is clearly just a mortal. But he managed to block Shi Bao's attack in his sleep, this is something that even a rank 5 GU master has to block carefully. If he is not an immortal, what can he be? This is not something a GU master can do. Wait, his eyelids are moving. The four were shocked, the cave fell into dead silence. Wang Shao'er slowly opened his eyes, his vision was still blurred, his mind was in a mess. He sat up, plop, plop. The four GU masters knelt down on the ground, shouting, Immortal, spare us. Wang Shao'er was shocked, who are you guys? Where am I? Wait, who am I? Wang Shao'er hugged his head as pain could be seen on his face. The four demonic path GU master looked at each other, a similar thought appeared in all their minds. Don't tell me, the immortal lost his memories. Several days later, in a valley at night, a raging bonfire was burning. Come, drink wine. Chen Yin Dao placed his arm around Wang Shao'er's shoulder as he took out the precious wine that was kept for years, offering it to him. Wang Shao'er's face was already red, he was covered in the odor of alcohol. Once he took the bowl, Shi Bao smiled as he handed the fragrant barbecued meat to Wang Shao'er. Come, eat, little brother. Shi Bao's tone was so mushy he even felt like vomiting, this evil individual had never been so nice to anyone. Wang Shao'er was not only looking rosy, even his clothes had changed, the quality was much better than before. He drank wine and ate meat as he said, Brothers, you are really nice people, not only did you save me, you are treating me so well. Don't mention it. Chen Yindao patted Wang Xiao'er's shoulder, it was fate that we met. At the same time, his heart was bleeding internally. My wine that has been kept for more than 10 years, I couldn't even bear to drink it myself. We are all people in the same situation, this is nothing. Yu Guang returned, he had just arranged some investigative GU worms in the surroundings, he showed an honest and dependable smile. Rely on family when at home, rely on friends when outside. As long as everyone helps each other, I believe this world will become a better place. Seeing the other three's performances, Fan Chunyao did not want to fall behind as well. They were all shocked by the scene in the cave earlier. After confirming that Wang Xiao'er was a GU immortal who had lost his memories, they decided to treat him like their own ancestor. After all, if Wang Xiao'er regains his memories in the future, seeing how well the four of them treated him, he would not do anything bad to them. Wang Xiao'er drank wine and ate meat. After filling his stomach, he went to sleep on the comfortable and large bed that the four of them prepared. He had truly got an amnesiac. Even though he did not lose his ability to function as a person, he could not remember any of the details of his past. During this period, the four GU masters had brought him back to the ruins, but his memories did not return. All that happened was that Wang Xiao'er remembered his own name, he told the four great obscenities. Wang Xiao'er felt that life was very blissful. But the other four GU masters felt like life was currently torture. Since when did these four demonic path GU masters act so subserviently before? They were ruthless and cruel, they did things without worry, why would they put up this groveling attitude? Thus, a few days later, these four GU masters could not take it anymore. Guys, even though I want to know the immortal ascension method from this immortal, this life is really too hard to live. I know, we have to be careful all the time, it is really stifling. My worry is, if this GU immortal recovers his memories, will he really reward us? If he is a righteous path GU immortal, he will easily learn of our past deeds. What will he do to demonic path members like us? If he is a demonic path GU immortal, if he recalls the scene of us attacking him, will he rip out our tendons and skin? The four of them had deep chemistry after years of living together, their thoughts were quite similar. The four of them discussed for a while, they decided to get away from Wang Xiao'er. Life was too painful while reward was nowhere in sight, in fact, they might be awaiting death instead. How can we get free from Wang Xiao'er? We can't leave too directly, if he regains his memories, wouldn't he come after us for trouble? I have a good idea. Tell us, tell us. We are currently here, there is Slaughter Soul Crater nearby, we will enter this place and get free from this problematic person. The next day, the four GU masters brought Wang Xiao'er deep into Slaughter Soul Crater. Slaughter Soul Crater had a plain terrain, but the actual environment was very complicated. This place was part of Sorrowful Wind Mountain Range, it was originally an ordinary mountain that had nothing special in it. But after the huge battle involving Fang Yuan, this place was implicated. At that time, Black Heaven Temple's GU immortals witnessed themselves how this Slaughter Soul sunken land formed. Spectral Soul shot out a black soul ball, but Dragon Palace dodged it. This soul ball shot into the mountain valley. There was no sound, at the instance, with the valley as the core, the surrounding 1,000 li of mountains and valleys turned into black dust that flew away with the wind. The originally bountiful mountains vanished soundlessly, only a huge crater was left. The crater was formed by Spectral Soul's killer move, it was filled with soul path Dao marks. The living beings who had once lived here were wiped out, but their souls remained. Soul Path Dao marks, Wind Path Dao marks, Earth Path Dao marks, and others converged to form a dense fog, all sorts of soul beasts started to live in the fog. The surrounding living beings either entered by mistake or were attacked by the soul beasts, either way, the more living beings that died here, the more souls that remained, this Slaughter Soul Crater's fog became increasingly denser. The five of them carefully avoided many strong soul beasts, they went to the center of Slaughter Soul Crater. Yu Guang made an excuse of scouting the area as he left, the other four did not move away. Wang Xiao'er did not understand the situation, he asked, "Brothers, why are we here?" "Clearly, we want to leave you here. Of course, we won't do it directly, we will lure some soul beasts here and pretend to be outmatched, in order to protect you, we will lure these soul beasts away while risking our lives." Chen Yindao smiled to himself as he thought. Other than putting up a show, the four great obscenities also had another thought. In the event that this immortal died at the hands of the soul beasts, would he leave any inheritance behind? Those who were in the demonic path were normally people with extraordinary guts. The four great obscenities were outstanding members in this aspect. Chen Yindao did not speak the truth, of course. He patted Wang Xiao'er's shoulder. Brother, we came to Sorrowful Wind Mountain Range to collect some GU materials. This Slaughter Soul crater was created by the fight between immortals. Before it calms down completely, we have a lot of opportunities to get rich here. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2093 Chaotic Battle of 5 People. Chapter 2093 Chaotic Battle of 5 People. Slaughter Soul crater was still forming now. During the process of conflicting with the surroundings, many gaps would naturally appear. After it stabilizes and reaches balance with the surroundings, the living beings would return inside. Beast groups and beast kings would guard their own territories and expand the crater. By then, outsiders would not be able to enter easily. Right at this time, the howling of soul beasts could suddenly be heard. Chen Yindao was slightly surprised. Yu Baguang's ability to lure beasts has increased. But soon, they found something amiss. What lured the soul beasts here was not Yu Baguang, but a group of Central Continent Righteous Path GU masters. These people passed the soul fog and arrived in front of Chen Yindao. They were at first happy to see reinforcements, but soon, their expressions changed. Someone shouted, "Oh no, the 4 great obscenities." After observing the situation, Chen Yindao relaxed and smiled coldly as a sharp gaze flashed in his eyes. This is my lucky day. An intense battle ensued. The Central Continent 4 great obscenities obtained great victory. Not only did they kill some soul beasts, they even captured some Righteous Path GU masters alive. What a coincidence, these 5 remaining ones are all girls. Look at this one, she looks really cute. This one is not bad too. My favorite is this one, look at her tiny mouth and big eyes. The 4 demonic path GU masters assessed the girls with increasing fondness. As their captives, the female GU masters were extremely fearful. What are you trying to do? I'm warning you, don't have any evil thoughts, otherwise, even if I die, I won't let you succeed. HMPH, I am a GU master of Spirit Affinity House, consider the consequences before you act. Facing the threats of the girls, the 4 great obscenities laughed wildly instead. Yes, this is what I like, I love this expression. Go on and scream, shout louder, nobody is going to save you. So what if you were from Spirit Affinity House? Back then, we even targeted Heavenly Lotus Sect's Fairy Bai Sha. It was a pity that guy called Fang Zheng ruined it. HMPH, we will find him and settle the score eventually. The 4 great obscenities slowly approached the female captives as they chuckled lewdly to themselves. Brothers, what are you guys doing? Wang Xiao'er spoke from behind them, he was completely muddled. The other 9 people were all stunned. Chen Yindao frowned. The atmosphere from earlier was completely ruined by Wang Xiao'er's words. Shi Bao directly walked towards Wang Xiao'er and wrapped his arm around his neck, bringing him to the female GU masters as he chuckled. Brother Wang Xiao'er, we will give you an eye-opener today. You will learn what the true joy of the mortal world is. The other 3 obscenities looked at each other, they communicated with each other subtly and nodded. All of them were daring people who had been on the righteous path's arrest warrants for years. They lived lives of worry and danger, they were used to maximizing their happiness regardless of consequences. Wang Xiao'er was going to be dealt with later anyway. In fact, dragging an immortal through the mud was also quite fun. Let's do that. Thus, the 4 great obscenities surrounded Wang Xiao'er. Oh, so little brother does not know this. Don't worry, us elder brothers will teach you. Come on, this is a really fun thing to do. After one attempt, you will be hooked. Half the fulfillment of life lies here. Wang Xiao'er nodded repeatedly as he asked with interest, what should I do? Shi Bao had a muscular body and impatient nature, he immediately dropped his pants, do this. The female GU masters shouted in unison, some had their eyes shut. Hee. Yu Baguang had a slim body, he also removed his pants. There was another wave of screaming. Fan Chunyao was slightly chubbier, he pouted as he removed his pants, pointing downwards, look. The female captives screamed even louder now. Shi Bao and Yu Baguang stared with wide eyes, they showed an indignant expression, but the fact was right here, it made them feel helpless. Chen Yindao quietly pulled down his pants. The female GU master's screams reached an unprecedented peak. The other 3 obscenities raised their thumbs in unison, saying, as expected of our boss. Let me do it too. Wang Xiao'er was excited, he quickly removed his pants. The female captives gasped at the same time. The 4 great obscenities cast their gaze at the same time. The surroundings fell into a state of awkwardness. Shi Bao was the most straightforward person, he walked towards Wang Xiao'er and patted his shoulders in sympathy. This is not your fault, you should blame your parents instead. Fan Chunyao consoled. Don't worry, even though you have a poor foundation, this also proves that you have a lot of room for improvement. I have many GU worms, I can help you. Yu Guang encouraged. Chen Yindao did not speak, he only thought to himself, this Wang Xiao'er really lives up to his name. 1. Let's go, I can't wait anymore. Shi Bao walked towards the female GU masters. No, don't come here. The female GU masters quickly shuffled backwards, some had pale expressions, some had bright red faces. Let's go together, together. Fan Chunyao clapped. But they don't seem too willing, this isn't appropriate. Wang Xiao'er asked softly. Don't worry, just follow what we do. Chen Yindao encouraged Wang Xiao'er. Just as the 5 were about to take action, they heard a cold snort. Instantly, the 4 great obscenities and Wang Xiao'er turned into motionless statues. The female captives were extremely shocked. Next, Zhao Lianyun walked out of the dense fog. She came here to try and deduce Fang Yuan's strength through the traces he left behind, but now, her mood was very heavy. While she was about to return, she found that a female GU master of Spirit Affinity House had gotten into danger. She immediately took action. Thus, the central continent 4 great obscenities were taken down easily. After expressing her identity, Zhao Lianyun saved these female GU masters. The female GU masters thanked her profusely. The Spirit Affinity House GU master was even filled with admiration and excitement. Fairy Lianyun, these 4 great obscenities have committed many atrocious acts, this is their retribution. These people have sinned greatly, even killing them is too cheap of a punishment. Zhao Lianyun smiled. Taking their life is really too good for them. How can we uphold justice for those women they harmed? I have a good method, just watch. Zhao Lianyun waved her sleeves as the 5 guys started to move again. Despite being so close in proximity, they could not see Zhao Lianyun and the rest, they were stuck in some illusion. Beauty, here I come. Shi Bao pounced at Fan Chunyao. After Fan Chunyao was pushed to the ground, he continued smiling, ah, you are really rough. The 5 men were stuck in a physical brawl, engaging in a chaotic battle. The female GU masters watched with dumbfounded expressions, they quickly turned red. Oh heaven, a girl covered her eyes but continued to peek through the gap between her fingers. This hurts my eyes, someone gasped. This position is possible, a mature female GU master recorded this knowledge in her mind. Alright, Zhao Lianyun waved her sleeve. Leave with me, these people will continue with this until the soul beasts eat them or when they die of exhaustion. The female GU masters were shocked by Zhao Lianyun's method, they obediently followed her and left the place. But even Zhao Lianyun could not have anticipated this. After a few minutes, silver threads started to shine around Wang Xiao'er's body. These silver threads radiated the surroundings, causing the 5 who were locked in intense physical engagement to awaken. They remembered everything that happened. There was dead silence. We were so unlucky, a female immortal actually came. Fan Chunyao was internally shocked. This female immortal is too vicious, that was more cruel than just killing us. There were tears in Yu Guang's eyes as he grabbed his hair and screamed internally. I actually, Chen Yindao no longer had the disposition of a leader, his eyes were hollow, he muttered as he thought of suicide. Shi Bao started to vomit profusely. What happened guys? Amidst the silence, Wang Xiao'er spoke with a confused expression, why did we stop? The 4 of them were shocked. They turned around to look at the naked Wang Xiao'er, they were frozen like statues. Wang Xiao'er scratched his head. Brothers, why are you looking at me? Oh right, those female GU masters were all brought away. I thought they were going to play a game with us. Shi Bao stopped vomiting, the 4 of them looked at each other with complete silence. After some time, Chen Yindao spoke with a trembling voice, Brother Wang Xiao'er, you are really smart. Those women that we invited were audiences. Didn't you see their expressions? Think about it, they were all excited, very excited and focused, they were watching in amazement. We were helping these people feel joy and pleasure, isn't this how us men should act? As expected of our boss. The other 3 obscenities raised their thumbs in approval. Wang Xiao'er clapped with his fist and palm as he realized. So that's it, brothers, you are all good people. Chen Yindao laughed loudly, of course we are. Saying so, he wiped his tears away. Next, he said to the other 3, so be it that this happened, don't tell anyone about it. We are doing a good deed but we will not publicize it, this is how true gentlemen act. The other 3 nodded rapidly. Of course, If they spoke about this, it would be too humiliating. What would everyone think of them? Wang Xiao'er asked again. Brothers, are we still going to play? The atmosphere froze once again. Shi Bao cursed. Play my ass. Play what? They have all left, nobody is here to see it. Yu Guang added in with a meek voice. After getting scolded, Wang Xiao'er felt quite happy as he smiled innocently. Oh, it is great that we're stopping. Brother Shi Bao is right, my butt still hurts a lot now. The scene fell into silence again. Shi Bao slammed his fists on the ground repeatedly. Yu Guang lowered his head, biting his lips as blood started to appear. Fan Chunyao slammed his own head with his fists, trying to send himself into a coma. Chen Yindao stared at Wang Xiao'er with wide eyes, his lips were shaking. Wang Xiao'er looked at Chen Yindao as he asked in confusion, Brother Chen, do you have anything to say to me? At the next moment, Wang Xiao'er realized, oh, I get it, does your butt hurt too? Cough. Chen Yindao spat out a mouthful of blood as he fell down on the ground. Boss, boss, boss. The others who were still naked quickly ran over to him, trying to help Chen Yindao. Chen Yindao was very feeble now, he barely managed to open his eyes as he said weakly, in an almost sobbing voice, go away, don't touch me. In certain slangs his name sounds like, small little brother. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2094 Brotherhood. Chapter 2094, Brotherhood. Days later, sunlight pierced through the darkness, radiating on the world. In a certain valley near the periphery of Sorrowful Wind Mountain Range, Eastern Obscenity Chen Yindao, Western Thief Yu Guang, Southern Disturbance Shi Bao and Northern Squandering Fan Chunyao had already woken up. They were sitting on an icy rock, looking at the sky as they laid spread-eagled, their eyes were hollow, there was no life in them. Ever since that terrible ordeal in Slaughter Soul Crater, every night, the four great obscenities and Wang Xiao'er would lose control of their bodies, they would engage in the indescribable activity together. The four great obscenities would lose their senses each time. By the time they wake up, they would realize that they had done some horrifying act once again. Even though Wang Xiao'er got rid of a portion of Zhao Lianyun's method, some of it still lingered. This is a curse, the most vicious curse in this world. That fairy from Spirit Affinity House looks so kind and delicate, but she is truly too vicious, she is evil to the core. I don't believe it, I don't believe it, maybe I am just dreaming now. I will wake up from my nightmare one day, right? I am a great man, how can I do something so shameful? I have let down heaven and earth, I have let down my parents, I have let down myself. The four great obscenities were silent on the outside, but they were all crying out in their hearts, feeling sadness and anger, regret and pain. Wang Xiao'er walked out of the GU house at this moment. He had just woken up, he rubbed his eyes and looked at them, asking in concern, brothers, why are you up so early? You are all naked outside, you might catch a cold. The four great obscenities, bodies shook intensely. They turned around and looked at Wang Xiao'er, showing a complex emotion on their faces. On one hand, they revered Wang Xiao'er, because of Zhao Lianyun's method. If not for him, they would have died of exhaustion already. They believed in Wang Xiao'er's identity now, only an immortal could dispel another immortal's method. But on the other hand, they hated Wang Xiao'er. Ever since they saved him, nothing good had happened. Not only did they return from Sorrowful Wind Mountain Range empty-handed, they even received the greatest humiliation of their lives. After a long silence, their boss Chen Yindao spoke bitterly, brother, you woke up. Yes, our exercise last night was too intense, I slept very soundly. Wang Xiao'er smiled innocently. Recently, I've started to feel pleasure from this. Brothers, what you told me earlier makes sense after all. The four great obscenities, bodies shook again. The four of them looked at each other, sensing the fear and horror in each other's eyes. Don't tell me this immortal was like this to begin with. What sort of person did we actually save? Maybe he has the ability to lift our curse, but he purposely chose not to. This is something we should think about. Is he really amnesiac, or is he pretending? If I like men too, as an immortal, I might want to play around in the mortal world as well. The four felt more terror as they thought about it. They wanted to get away from Wang Xiao'er, but they could not do that anymore. Each time the curse activated, they needed Wang Xiao'er to dispel it. If they left, they might die the following night. Thus, the four of them had to keep Wang Xiao'er happy, so that he would get rid of this fatal danger for them. Seriously, what is this situation? Chen Yindao wanted to cry, but he had to smile forcefully. Shower, this is nothing much, we enjoy blessings and endure misfortune together, we are brothers after all. After finishing his words, Chen Yindao stared at the other three. They had to resist the disgusting feeling as they spoke in agreement as well. Indeed, this is our brotherhood. Otherwise, why would there be a saying about brotherly relationships? We were destined to meet, as your elder brothers, we need to take care of you. Wang Xiao'er smiled and nodded, it was really my fortune to have met you brothers. No, this is the greatest misfortune of my life. The four of them screamed internally. Wang Xiao'er added, let's continue to play tonight. Don't remind me, you scumbag. The four of them cried out in anguish in their minds. While Wang Xiao'er was away, the four of them gathered during the day. We cannot let this go on. We cannot live life like this. Guys, do you think Wang Xiao'er really lost his memories or is he pretending? We need to test it. Go capture a few mortal women tonight, no matter what, we need to let Wang Xiao'er know we are normal people. If he really lost his memories, we will turn him back to normal, if he is pretending, we will make sure he cannot put up with the act anymore. The four great obscenities shouted in unison, they were going crazy these last days. This method was risky, but even if they angered the immortal Wang Xiao'er, death was still a good reward at this point. At night time, the four great obscenities captured over a dozen mortal women. The women were all brought into the Gu house. Wang Xiao'er was a little excited. Brothers, you have worked hard to invite such a large audience tonight. Brother, let us teach you something tonight. Chen Yindao patted Wang Xiao'er's shoulder as he said solemnly. All right, I will do my best to learn it, I will listen with my heart. Wang Xiao'er clenched his fists, showing an excited expression. But reality was still cruel to them. When their activity reached the climax stage, the four great obscenities were shocked to find out, they could not do it. Quick, turn hard now. Oh, why did this happen? I actually don't feel anything towards women. Why do I feel more excited and pleasured when I look at men now? The four men wanted to struggle but the curse activated at the next moment. The female captives were shocked to see the battle of 5 men, it was a climactic fight, some of them were very excited while the others felt disappointment. Some even wanted to join in but were sent flying with one slap. This incident was a huge blow to the four great obscenities. Let's suicide, this is not a life that we can lead. Living is worse than death, I'd rather die now. Can anyone kill me, please come out now. The four of them were sick of life, they were listless and dejected all the time. Seemingly granting their wishes, not long after, Righteous Path Gu Masters came to pursue them. We finally found you. You dared to target our Spirit Affinity House's disciple, did you really think we would let you off? Qin Wan said with anger, attacking the four great obscenities. The four great obscenities were in despair and felt life was not worth living. After leaving Sorrowful Wind Mountain Range, they did not bother to conceal their traces, they were no longer as vigilant as usual. After hearing that they were alive, Zhao Lianyun felt a little interested, she passed down a sect mission to kill these people and investigate the truth. Qin Wan was close to Feng Jinhuang, but she did not know that this mission which carried a huge reward was listed by Zhao Lianyun. The Spirit Affinity House Gu Master who got captured in Slaughter Soul Crater earlier was close to her, thus, she took on this mission. The four great obscenities screamed about not wanting to live every day, but at the moment of crisis, they erupted with an intense will to survive. For half a month, they fought nearly 10 times. Qin Wan had rank 5 cultivation level, she suppressed the 5 of them. Even though the four great obscenities were famous demonic path Gu masters in Central Continent, they were just demonic cultivators that the 10 great ancient sects allowed to live. These demonic cultivators were useful in training their sect disciples, thus, they made use of these people to act as a trial for their members. The 10 great ancient sects did not mind minor characters like the four great obscenities, thus they were allowed to cause chaos in Central Continent and hide successfully from arrests. But the situation was different now, the Gu Immortal Zhao Lianyun had sent a mission, the force pursuing them was different from usual. The four great obscenities escaped with Wang Xiao'er as they tried to come up with a plan. We can't live in Central Continent anymore. What do? We can only go elsewhere, boss, you can decide for us. Chen Yindao pondered. Northern Plains is dangerous and lacks resources, we can't go there. Even though Eastern Sea is rich, the righteous path is fighting against those variant humans, it is too dangerous. Western Desert is full of deserts, and the environment is bad. Let's go to Southern Border instead. Alright, we will go to Southern Border. Southern Border. Underground. According to Lu Weiyin, it should be here. Found it. Fang Yuan went deep underground. Suddenly, his eyes shined as he found his target. He saw that at the walls of this small earth trench, there was a field of pink grassland. Each grass was pink, moving without any wind. Looking at the grass, each was thin and long, resembling fur. This is the Earth Dream Fetus Hair. Meng Chu Zhen, come out. Fang Yuan opened his immortal aperture door as the pure dream clone came out. Meng Chu Zhen took a glance and praised it as he took action, using dream path methods to carefully store the Earth Dream Fetus Hair away. After Fang Yuan obtained Southern Border's Paradise Earth True Inheritance, he gained many Earth Path Immortal GU. He also had methods to search for immortal materials underground and the ability to control flying Earth. The mushroom in paradise had existed in Southern Border for a long time. After tens of generations of accumulation, they found a lot of treasures deep under Southern Border. Among the treasures, Fang Yuan found some locations with Dream Path Immortal materials. The Earth Dream Fetus Hair was just one of them. Dream Path GU materials and GU worms had appeared in the world long ago. For example, Fang Yuan's Dream Token and the Spring Dream Fruit Tree that Bo Qing and Mo Yao found. This was like how Water Path GU worms and materials existed during Ren Zhe's era, but Water Path was only created by Central Continent's Xuanyi, the founder of Spirit Affinity House, during the medieval antiquity era. Dream Path was similar. Even though Dream Path had not been formally created, the Dream Path GU worms and materials that existed in history had already appeared. But Dream Path was different from Water Path. It would have an explosive growth in the future. By then, the 5 regions and 2 heavens would be full of dream realms. Because Dream Path GU materials would be too easily obtainable, and because a vast number of GU cultivators could use them, Dream Path would quickly progress as a path. Countless Dream Path GU masters would cultivate more Dream Path GU materials to refine more Dream Path GU worms, pushing the progress of Dream Path to an unprecedented level. If Great Dream Immortal Venerable truly appears, then Dream Path would reach its peak popularity in history. Thus, Fang Yuan was not surprised that some Dream Path Immortal materials were hidden away. Meng Chu Zhen successfully took the Earth Dream Fetus Hair. He went back inside Fang Yuan's sovereign immortal aperture. Next, Fang Yuan went to another location. There were many 9 Toon Dream flowers there. Meng Chu Zhen had a lot of things to do. On one hand, he had to organize Dream Path killer moves. On the other hand, he had to plant resources and develop his immortal aperture. According to Fang Yuan's plan, after these Dream Path Immortal materials were successfully retrieved, Meng Chu Zhen would have a complete set of Dream Path methods. At that time, he would take the place of Fang Yuan's main body and invest himself into exploring dream realms. To play safe, Meng Chu Zhen would first use up Spectral Soul's dream realms before moving on to Paradise Earth's dream realms, just in case there was a trap. Even though this was highly unlikely, Fang Yuan was still a vigilant person. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2095 Sheng Tian True Inheritance. Chapter 2095 Sheng Tian True Inheritance. Meng Chu Zhen was controlled by a GU worm. His eyes were shut. He was brought into a secret location by someone. Alright, number 3, you can open your eyes now. A shrill voice could be heard beside him. The GU worm suppressing Meng Chu Zhen had been kept away. Meng Chu Zhen opened his eyes and found that he was in a dark cave. Meng Chu Zhen was kneeling on the ground. In front of him was an old man. The old man had a sharp voice. His face was covered in paint. He gave off a peculiar and cold feeling. This is the leader of Painted Faces, sly-heart old man. Meng Chu Zhen thought. To think that I would meet this legendary person from 100,000 years ago. Indeed, Meng Chu Zhen was exploring a dream realm now. This dream realm naturally originated from Spectral Soul. This sly-heart old man in his dream was a wisdom path and transformation path cultivator. He was a legendary person who existed between the eras of Spectral Soul and Paradise Earth 100,000 years ago. He was also the creator of a demonic path organization. It was called Painted Faces. This organization was like Zombie Alliance and Shadow Sect. It was a huge organization that spanned across all 5 regions, something rarely seen in history. All of the members in the organization had painted faces of various colors to differentiate their varying statuses. Painted Faces was an assassination organization. Killing GU masters was just an ordinary thing. When they were at their peak, they even had GU immortal experts. As long as the price was paid, they could kill GU immortals for their customers. Meng Chu Zhen had already entered this dream realm for a long time. He went from the initial 108th position to 3rd position. According to my instincts, if I can become the #1 position in the organization, I will pass this dream realm. Meng Chu Zhen was very certain, his dream path master instincts told him the answer already. Sly-hard old man took out 3 GU worms. Number 3, you want to become number 2, but it will not be easy. There are 3 GU worms here, choose one. Each one contains the details of a mission. Meng Chu Zhen secretly activated Dream Butterfly Immortal GU. Almost all the other paths, GU worms could not be used freely in dream realms, but Dream Path GU worms were not restricted. After Dream Butterfly Immortal GU was instilled with Immortal Essence, it vanished from within Meng Chu Zhen's Immortal Aperture. Meng Chu Zhen first placed his gaze on the GU worm to the left. At the next moment, he saw that after he chose the GU worm, he went into a seizure, saliva appeared from his mouth, he died on the spot. Sly-hard old man looked at his corpse as he said coldly, "What a pity, number 3, even though you are skilled in transformation path, your wisdom path attainment is too low, it was your bad luck to have chosen this." Meng Chu Zhen retracted his gaze as the scene vanished, he looked at the middle GU worm. At the next moment, he saw another scene. After he took the second GU worm, Sly-hard old man suddenly attacked. With a loud sound, his palm slammed onto Meng Chu Zhen's chest. Meng Chu Zhen was caught unguarded, his ribs broke, his heart burst, his eyes stared widely as he died on the spot. Sly-hard old man sneered, "So you are the spy after all, you went after this GU worm, not knowing the trap that I set, I had already gave out some false information to trick those spies of the righteous path." Meng Chu Zhen retracted his gaze. Evidently, the first 2 GU worms could not be chosen, but the third one might not be correct either. Meng Chu Zhen wanted to continue checking but Sly-hard old man rushed him. "Quickly choose, what are you waiting for?" Meng Chu Zhen knew that this painted face organization was dark and cruel, they had no regard for human lives, if he waited anymore, Sly-hard old man would activate the GU worm in his body and he would be punished, he might suffer heavy injuries or even die on the spot. Thus, Meng Chu Zhen did not use Dream Butterfly Immortal GU again, he quickly spoke and chose the third GU worm. For just a moment, a complex expression flashed on Sly-hard old man's face. After being silent for some time, Sly-hard old man nodded. "You chose the most appropriate GU for you, it seems your luck is not bad. Maybe you can gain some benefits there, you might even be able to return alive." Saying so, Sly-hard old man took a few steps and exposed the door behind him. "After opening this door, you will enter a tunnel, you need to walk quickly, do not stop, otherwise the tunnel will digest you. After passing it, you will reach a place, over there, do your best to survive. If you can find a way back and meet me once again, you will gain our organization's #1 position." "Yes, Lord." Meng Chu Zhen immediately got up, pushing open the door and entering the tunnel. This tunnel was quite unique, it was round in shape but the inner walls were made of flesh and blood, there was slight vibrations in them as gastric acid flowed out constantly. Meng Chu Zhen activated the defensive method of this person but still felt deep pressure. Like what Sly-hard old man said, if he stayed for too long, he might really get digested. He quickly got past the creepy and wet flesh tunnel as he arrived in a huge world. Within the primitive forest, fierce beasts roared as strange birds growled. Far away, 2 beastman groups were fighting. Meng Chu Zhen turned around and looked back, the tunnel had already vanished, he only saw an ordinary mountain wall. Meng Chu Zhen was shook internally, to ensure that he could efficiently explore dream realms, the main body had given him many details of history. That tunnel really is the intestine of the gluttonous demon frog, this is the place where reckless savage demon Venerable left behind his true inheritance, myriad beast fusion color heaven. Days later, the dream realm dissipated. Meng Chu Zhen had a tired expression as he started to inspect his gains. Transformation path and wisdom path attainment levels went up. Not bad, Meng Chu Zhen was rather satisfied. Forget about transformation path, but his wisdom path attainment level really needed a boost. Especially when Fang Yuan knew his own luck, and the fact that star constellation Immortal Venerable had very likely already revived. The true myriad beast fusion color heaven was naturally vast and boundless, but Meng Chu Zhen was only in a dream realm. Meng Chu Zhen had Dream Armor Immortal Goose Protection, and also Dream Creation Immortal GU and Dream Butterfly Immortal GU as methods. Especially Dream Butterfly Immortal GU, even though it was an investigative GU worm, its use in exploring dream realms surpassed Dream Armor and Dream Creation. Dream Path Master attainment level gave him instincts. When instincts worked, Meng Chu Zhen would use them to find the correct answers rapidly. When instincts did not work, Then Meng Chu Zhen would use Dream Butterfly Immortal GU to foresee the future possibilities of the dream realm and avoid danger. He would quickly find the most appropriate methods. Like how Meng Chu Zhen used Dream Butterfly Immortal GU in front of Sly Hard Old Man earlier to find out the correct choice, in the past, Feng Yuan would have to test it one by one. If he chose wrongly, his soul would be injured, he would waste time healing himself and restart the dream realm all over again. Even though Meng Chu Zhen only had rank 6 cultivation level, his efficiency at exploring dream realms was many times that of Feng Yuan's main body. Southern border. Central continent's 4 great obscenities and Wang Xiao'er were forced into desperation by Qin Wan. There was a sinkhole behind them. Don't come here, otherwise, we will jump off. Wang Xiao'er shouted in anxiety. Qin Wan smiled coldly as she walked closer. Then jump, you will die if you do that. Behind you is southern border's sun-moon sinkhole. The pit is unfathomably deep, not just GU masters, even GU immortals cannot explore it easily. If you jump, you will surely die. The 4 great obscenities were currently injured, they gritted their teeth. Qin Wan, we'll remember you, you lunatic. We already escaped to southern border but you actually pursued us all the way here, what are you after? Even though we captured Spirit Affinity House's female GU master, no matter what relationship she has with you, we did not touch her at all. Qin Wan, you received a sect mission to kill us. But if we die like this, you won't be able to report your mission easily too, right? Chen Yindao suddenly said with a deep gaze. Qin Wan's movement froze for a moment. But in just a moment, she realized that the enemy was trying to probe her. And she fell for it. Some information was leaked from this action. Qin Wan concealed the shame in her heart as she placed her arms behind her back. Looking at these defeated individuals, she said arrogantly on purpose, I can't report it. Killing you is the best evidence I need. But it is not that I cannot let you live. Hand over all your GU worms and surrender. If I bring you back to Central Continent, you will still have a chance to live. Chen Yindao sneered. We know about the crimes we've committed. After Miss Qin Wan said that, it confirmed my guesses. Qin Wan also sneered. So what if you guessed it? Can you turn this around? Do you still have a chance? A strange expression appeared on Chen Yindao's face. Actually, we still have hope. Brother Wang Xiao'er, we'll depend on you now. Saying so, he pushed Wang Xiao'er, who was hiding at the back, to the front. Wang Xiao'er was shocked. Brothers, I am not a GU master. Qin Wan also felt confused. She had fought with the 4 great obscenities for this long, she knew that Wang Xiao'er was immortal. HMPH, trying to bluster and act mysterious. Qin Wan was about to attack. But at the next moment, there was a loud explosion. A huge air current surged as wind blew strongly. Wang Xiao'er, Qin Wan and the others who were near the sinkhole were caught off guard. They were sent into the air by the currents before crashing down heavily. What happened? Everyone was shocked. Next, the figure of a southern border GU master moved along this current as he flew into the sky. Kong Ri-Tien, don't think of leaving. The GU master who landed on the ground first was the demonic path Kong Ri-Tien. He escaped without even turning around as he shouted, Wu Ji, you are the leader of Wu clan, yet you are not keeping your promise. Wu Ji chased after him as she shouted, what's the use of keeping my word to a demonic path scoundrel like you? Leave behind the GU worms of Sheng Tian true inheritance. Next, Shang Xinxi, Xiao Yan, counterfeit master, Tai Ruo Nan, Yi Chong, and others also descended from the sky. Chase him, don't let him escape. That is a GU immortal true inheritance. As the group chased, a dust cloud was created along the way. Qin Wan, Wang Xiao'er, and the rest were all stunned. Seeing that he was about to be caught, Kong Ri-Tien shouted at Qin Wan and the rest, the people in front, whoever can help me escape will share this GU immortal true inheritance with me. Qin Wan and the rest heard this, their eyes shined brightly. You cannot escape, everything belongs to my Wu clan. Wu Ji was enraged, she jumped into the air. Both her fists were clenched, she raised them above her head as she activated Immortal Killer move. Boom! As she landed on the ground, she slammed down, the ground shook, rocks were sent flying. A huge vibration force spread to the surroundings rapidly, no one could avoid it in time, they quickly put up their defenses in a panic. Qin Wan and the rest were also implicated, their expressions changed. Wu Ji was the #1 expert of the current southern border GU master world. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2096 Wu Ji chooses her true inheritance. Chapter 2096 Wu Ji chooses her true inheritance. Southern border, Wu clan headquarters. Quick, quick, bring me the White King Head Flower Herb. Wu Clan's rank 6 GU Immortal Wu Zhenzu called out with an anxious tone. She was controlling the formation, her thoughts were focused on it at the crucial moment, she could not distract herself. Thankfully, there were a few rank 5 GU masters assisting her. Hearing these words, they quickly got to work. White King Head Flower Herb was a rank 6 immortal material, it was tossed into the immortal formation. This immortal formation of Wu Clan was famous in history, it was called Dead Sea Life Retrieval Formation. It originally belonged to an Eastern Sea rank 8 GU Immortal, but after this GU Immortal came to southern border and provoked Wu Clan, they got killed instead. Dead Sea Life Retrieval Formation was a healing immortal formation, but the core immortal GU was only rank 7. That Eastern Sea rank 8 GU Immortal was indeed a rank 8 GU Immortal, but before dying, all of their immortal GU were destroyed. Wu Clan spent 100 years to finally refine the relevant immortal GU, managing to set up this Dead Sea Life Retrieval Formation again. Wu Ji and the rest had died on Yitian Mountain. The reason why they were able to revive was mostly because of Fate Gu's destruction, and also due to the effect of this Dead Sea Life Retrieval Formation. As the formation slowly stopped, light faded as Wu Ji woke up in the formation with a pale expression. It seems that I revived again. Wu Ji smiled lightly, she wanted to get up but her body was too weak, she only succeeded after 3 tries. You should relax a little, Wu Ji. This is the 5th time this month. Wu Zhenzu came to Wu Ji as she frowned deeply. Wu Ji smiled indifferently. Don't we have this formation? Even if I die, I can revive. Wu Zhenzu scoffed. Don't think so highly of GU immortal methods. Wu Ji, do you know that you almost died earlier? You managed to revive because of the Dead Sea Life Retrieval Formation. But this method has less and less effect as a person uses it continuously. You are playing with your life. You have a good future, why don't you care a bit more about yourself? At this rate, you will die for real. Wu Ji raised her brows as her eyes shined brightly. I'm someone who has died before, what is there to fear about death? Precisely because I had died before, I treasure life even more now. Wu Zhenzu rolled her eyes in anger. This is considered treasuring your life. Since you already obtained Shengtian true inheritance from Kong Shengtian, you can give it to the clan already, why did you still go after him relentlessly? Why did you not retreat even against the attacks of everyone? Wu Ji laughed loudly. This is how I treasure my life. After dying once, I reassessed my own life. How should people live? Everyone has their own answer. This is my answer. The duration of life does not matter as much as the value of the life that is being lived. Even though I am not a GU immortal, I know about your circumstances. Lady Zhenzu, why do you think GU masters want to become an immortal so badly? After becoming an immortal, there will be countless calamities and tribulations, wouldn't they be courting death? How many GU immortals have died from tribulations? Don't they know the danger? Aren't they continuing to face danger head-on because they want to obtain the true meaning of life? In this great era, if I do not advance bravely, I will be letting down heaven for giving me this life, I will be wasting my second chance. I, Wu Ji, want to become immortal, I want to see things at a greater height, I want to gain more strength. This is the meaning of my life. After hearing Wu Ji's words, a complex expression appeared on Wu Zhenju's face. She actually had high expectations of this junior Wu Ji, therefore she came to talk to her. But after talking, she found that she failed to convince Wu Ji, instead, she became the one who was convinced. Since you have decided this, I have nothing else to say. Wu Zhenzu sighed. Wu Ji had a sincere expression as she bowed. Lady Zhenzu, Junior will remember the concern that you have shown to me. Saying so, another GU immortal appeared. Ha ha ha, Wu Ji, I heard your words earlier. As expected of the number 1 GU immortal seed of Wu Clan, you did not shame our reputation. Wu Zonping, you came here for, Wu Zhenzu asked, but she had a guess in her heart, she was quite happy for Wu Ji. Wu Zonping nodded at Wu Zhenzu as he looked at Wu Ji. I am Wu Clan's supreme elder in charge of guidance. Wu Ji, you have sufficient cultivation level and merit, I am tasked to guide you along the road of becoming an immortal. Wu Ji took in a deep breath, she clenched her fists unconsciously. This moment had finally arrived, she had been looking forward to it for a long time. Wu Zonping said solemnly, Wu Ji, you are a senior of the mortal Wu clan, after being the clan leader for many years, you know of many GU immortal secrets. Our Wu clan cultivates many paths, we are most proficient in wind path, it is the reason why we are at the top of southern borders GU immortal world, our status is immovable. You can choose other paths too, we have almost all paths in our inventory, but I have a suggestion for you. Wu Zonping had heard Wu Ji's words earlier, he liked this junior and was willing to say more things. Wu Ji quickly replied, "Please teach me senior, I will listen." Wu Zonping continued, "Rather than choosing a path, it is more like you are choosing a true inheritance. Our Wu clan has the strongest wind path true inheritance. Our first supreme elder Lord Wu Yong also cultivates wind path. He uses the strongest wind path true inheritance in Wu clan as well. However, there are many wind path cultivators, competition is very steep, I would not recommend you to choose it. Right now, Wu clan has two true inheritances that even as GU immortals feel desire towards, it is only that our paths have been set, changing it has too high of a cost. During normal times, we might have the opportunity to do that, but with the turbulent era now, chaos is everywhere, it is the best opportunity for you juniors." Wu Zhenzu heard this, she agreed and said with happiness, "This means that First Supreme Elder is really taking out these three true inheritances to nurture our Wu clan's descendants. Indeed, Lord Wu Yong has incredible foresight and magnanimity, everyone in Wu clan holds him in high regard." Wu Zonping praised from the bottom of his heart, he told Wu Ji, "There are three true inheritances of high value that even as GU immortals want, I will list them for you, choose wisely." The first true inheritance is called Corpse Emperor True Inheritance. He was a southern border rank 8 GU immortal who turned himself into a zombie when his lifespan was near its end, hence the title. Corpse Emperor was in the demonic path, he was ruthless and vicious, causing super forces to join up and attack him. He died during the battle and his immortal zombie body turned into a corpse mountain upon his death. This mountain is hundreds of meters tall, zombies roam all over the mountain, it produces transformation path zombie GU and chi path corpse chi GU. Back then, Southern Borders Zombie Alliance wanted ownership of this mountain and offered a high price to buy it from us to use as their headquarters, but we rejected them. Right now, it seems like our decision was right. Zombie Alliance was a front of Shadow Sect, but that's not our issue now. The point is that with the shift of the era, a true inheritance appeared on Corpse Emperor Yu Ding Tian, which is this Corpse Emperor True Inheritance. This is a rank 8 enslavement path true inheritance, Wu Ji, if you choose it, Wu clan will definitely nurture you well. An enslavement path GU immortal can fight a group on their own, the problem with enslavement path is the huge amount of resources needed, but Wu clan can help you with it. The only downside is that this true inheritance lacks immortal GU. Wu Ji considered it for a while before shaking her head. Enslavement path is not my style, immortal GU are also hard to refine, I am not skilled in GU refinement. It is too hard to cultivate this true inheritance well, even with the clan's help, I will not choose it. Alright, then on to the next one. Wu Zonping continued to speak. This true inheritance is a soul path true inheritance, it has a greater origin, it concerns spectral soul demon Venerable. This true inheritance is called 7-7 Profound Soul True Inheritance. The most amazing method is to raise soul beasts and nurture them into 7-7 Profound Soul Birds. Once a 7-7 Profound Soul Bird is created, it is almost impossible to kill. Even if they were gravely injured, as long as one of them is still alive, they will reappear in a short time. Even though this true inheritance also lacks immortal GU, it is able to bypass that and nurture soul beasts instead, the cultivation journey will be easier. Wu Ji shook her head. Even though soul beasts are strong, I dislike it. I cultivate my own body, raising soul beasts is like becoming a nanny, it does not suit me. Wu Zonping frowned slightly. Choosing a true inheritance is not child's play, Wu Ji, consider it well before making a decision. Indeed, Wu Zhenzu also nodded. Be it Corpse Emperor True Inheritance or the 7-7 Profound Soul True Inheritance, they are extremely rare, Wu Ji, you need to treasure this opportunity. Wu Ji was unmoved. Immortals, thank you for the advice, may I know what the third true inheritance is? Wu Zonping, the third true inheritance is the Shengtian true inheritance you retrieved. The person who left this true inheritance behind is famous in GU master history, he is called Kong Shengtian. Kong Shengtian had Chi escape immortal GU, this GU is incredible, it was once 4th place on the list of mystical GU. But in recently years, because of the number 1 demon in the world, GU Fang Yuan, Spring Autumn Cicada received public recognition and got elevated to the 3rd mystical GU, causing Chi escape GU to fall in ranking. Speaking of GU Fang Yuan, Wu Zonping and Wu Zhenzu showed complex expressions. Wu Ji could acutely sense that these two GU immortals' breathing became slightly disoriented. Fang Yuan had once disguised as Wu Yihai and made his way into Wu clan, even someone as intelligent and perceptive as Wu Yong fell prey to his acting. But Wu clan was no longer qualified to take revenge on him, over the course of the Fate War and the pursuit over Fang Yuan afterwards, even the variant human battle that happened in Eastern Sea recently cemented Fang Yuan's throne of the #1 demon in the world. Nobody could topple his status. Not wanting to continue talking about Fang Yuan, Wu Zhanping got back to the topic. Kong Shengtian was a Chi Path Gu Immortal. He was most skilled at movement methods. The Chi Path movement killer move that he created back then was named Kong Shengtian. It is incredibly powerful. If you obtain this true inheritance, you will move unhindered in the world. You will always have the initiative. This true inheritance was retrieved by you after all. It could be said you are fated for it. But the immortal Gu and the true inheritance are likely in the hands of that Kong Ritian now. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2097 #1 Person in Dream Path. Chapter 2097. #1 Person in Dream Path. Wu Ji's expression sank. If that Kong Ritian did not have Kong Shengtian's bloodline, I would not have lost that contest. Wu Zhanping shook his head. You did not lose. That Kong Ritian has immortal Gu, but he is just immortal, even though he escaped luckily. So what? He cannot run for long. Many righteous path Gu immortals are already targeting him. If my Wu clan's Gu immortals succeed, this true inheritance's value will rise greatly. It will suit you more. But Wu Ji still shook her head. These three true inheritances are enslavement path, soul path, and chi path. They are all wonderful. It is a pity they do not suit me. I should continue cultivating my strength path. Wu Zhanping frowned. Wu Zhenzu urged her. Wu Ji, I know you have a strength path true inheritance, but the true inheritance has a low quality. Its original owner was only a rank 6 Gu immortal. It cannot compare to these three true inheritances at all. Seeing that Wu Ji was unmoved, Wu Zhenzu continued to speak. And most importantly, strength path is declining. It cannot compare to enslavement path or soul path. Even though Chi path was declining, with the merging of the 5 regions, Chi tides appeared and Chi path started to experience a rise again. Choosing Chi path is definitely wiser than staying with strength path. But Wu Ji shook her head. I'll choose strength path. Even though other true inheritances will allow me to have an easier time, if there is a strength path true inheritance, I'll still choose it. I will walk on strength path in my life. If I cannot use someone else's foundation, I will create my own. Wu Zhanping was unhappy. Wu Ji, you are not a Gu immortal yet. You do not know the difficulties that we face. The benefits of these three true inheritances are simply indescribable, but you cannot feel them yet. Listen to me and choose one of the three. In the future, when you cultivate on this long journey, you will be glad about the decision you made today. Wu Ji's expression had never been so solemn. She bowed deeply at the two immortals. Great immortals, I, Wu Ji, will never forget the care and concern that you have shown me. But if I do not choose strength path, I will regret it at the next moment. I have already decided on this. I will not change it further. Even if I fail in the future, I am willing to bear the consequences. Sigh. Wu Zhenzu and Wu Zhanping shook their heads. They felt pity for Wu Ji, who had given up such a great opportunity. Meng Zhen Immortal Aperture. The sky here was filled with a pink aurora that constantly moved and changed. At the center of the immortal aperture, there was a field of pink grassland. It was the Earth Dream fetus hair that Fang Yuan had spent a lot of effort to dig from southern borders underground. There was also a small sea of flowers situated at the northmost part of the immortal aperture. The flowers were all 9-tune dream flowers. This type of flower only had 1 petal each, but it spiraled upwards from the roots and showed a spiral form with 9 layers. It was quite peculiar. At the southeast of the immortal aperture, Meng Chu Zhen specially created a lake. The lake had little water. It was hundreds of feet lower than the water level of the nearby shore. The entire lake was like a bowl that had a bit of water left inside it at the bottom. This lake water was called Dream River water. In the lake, there was a type of monstrous fish that looked like a tongue. It was bright red and moved agilely. It was called tongue-tip small dream fish. Finally, at the northmost part of the immortal aperture was a field of desolate bones. Hundreds of huge bones were buried on the ground. A portion of them was still exposed externally. These bones were also Dream Path Gu materials. They were obtained from the corpses of a few Dream Path ancient desolate beasts. Meng Chu Zhen placed them here and set up the Gu formation, creating this bone dream sand farm. The sand farm was nourished using the bone marrow, gradually turning the soil into dream sand. Earth Dream fetus hair, 9-tune dream flower, Dream River water, tongue-tip small dream fish, and dream sand. These were all the Dream Path Gu materials that Fang Yuan obtained during this period of time. Currently speaking, Dream Path Gu materials were still very rare. Fang Yuan had almost ransacked the entire underground area of southern border, but he only collected this much. But inside Meng Zhen Immortal Aperture, these GU materials will be nurtured well. Soon, a stream of immortal materials will be produced. Meng Chu Zhen was quite confident about this. Even though there were Dream Path Dao marks at these Dream Path GU materials' original locations, the surrounding Dao marks were still mostly Earth Path. They were suppressed and could not develop well, they were simply living between the cracks. But now, they were moved into Meng Zhen Immortal Aperture. They were like flood dragons released into the ocean, or tigers entering a mountain. They could grow freely without restraint. In this relaxed environment that was predominantly made of Dream Path Dao marks, these Dream Path GU materials would have great growth. In addition, Fang Yuan had memories of the future. He had outstanding methods to nurture them. Meng Zhen Immortal Aperture's time difference with the outside world was also quite good. This way, my dream path development has finally gotten on track. As long as I work hard, I will have ample gains in the future. Fang Yuan assessed himself. His investment into Dream Path would stop here. In terms of Dream Path Mortal GU recipes and experience in exploring dream realms, Fang Yuan had 500 years of memories. He still had the upper hand. In terms of Dream Path Immortal GU, Fang Yuan had 4 of them. He was definitely the top person in the current world. In terms of attainment level, Fang Yuan was a Dream Path master. There might be others who were at this level as well, but he was without doubt still among the fastest group of people. Furthermore, in terms of Dream Path Immortal GU recipes and immortal materials, Fang Yuan was certainly the person with the #1 results. He had 2 Dream Path Immortal GU recipes that were undoubtedly accurate and exceptional. In terms of immortal materials, Fang Yuan also had an absolute advantage. Feng Jinhuang was just immortal. Even if Lady Poison Scorpion was a GU immortal, she was not an immortal ascended from the pure dream reality seeker physique. She could not compare to Fang Yuan. Comprehensively, Fang Yuan was definitely the #1 person in the world in terms of dream path. Such results already exceeded Fang Yuan's expectations. In his plan, he only had to maintain a certain lead in dream path. And now was still not the time for the true rise of Dream Path. Taking Meng Zhen Immortal Aperture for example, it was definitely the #1 Dream Path GU material production ground in the world, but it could only produce rank 6 Dream Path Immortal materials. The quantity was also pitifully small. Without sufficient Dream Path Immortal materials, Fang Yuan could not raise the ranks of his Dream Path Immortal GU. The truth was, even though he had rank 8 Immortal GU like Dream Token and could use killer moves like Dreamy Light Smoke, he could not gain an advantage against Duke Long or Spectral Soul in combat. In battles of the highest level, Dream Path was only a special method that could intimidate and make the foes wary. Fang Yuan wanted to explore Crazed Demon Cave. He would need to face the likely revived Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and Spectral Soul Demon Venerable, who was inside the door of life and death. Facing such existences, his Dream Path methods that were still at the early stages of development were unreliable as his main methods. The truth is, by combining the perfect pure dream reality seeker physique and Spectral Soul's split soul method, I can create Dream Path GU immortals in bulk. But the extra Dream Path Immortal Apertures are useless. The greatest gain will still be natural inspiration. I will obtain new Dream Path Immortal GU recipes. Even if I try to use the Ascension Tribulation to refine Immortal GU, it will not be easy. Tribulations were controlled by Heaven's will. They could be strong or weak. When strong, there would be more Heaven and Earth Chi. After succeeding the tribulation, there would be a lot of Heaven and Earth Chi left behind to use for refining Immortal GU. But if Heavens will reduce the strength of the tribulation, there would not be extra Heaven and Earth Chi. He could not refine Dream Path Immortal GU in that case. If Heavens will did that, Fang Yuan's gains would be very small. Firstly, the cost of creating pure dream reality seeker physique bodies was high. He had to use a large number of dream realms. If Heavens will tried something new and altered the tribulation contents, Fang Yuan would be in danger as well. After all, Fang Yuan's Dream Path Foundation was already exposed to Heavens will last time. Thus, recuperating for some time and using Meng Zhen Immortal Aperture to hide from Heavens will and develop rapidly, while refining new Dream Path Immortal GU before undergoing tribulation was the best method now. Continuing to invest in Dream Path would not have much relative returns. If Fang Yuan continued his investment, he would face Heaven's will's suppression and also the pressure of being a frontrunner. It would be difficult and troublesome. He might as well wait until Dream Path flourished and dream realms were everywhere. After the trend grew to that extent, he could use the opportunity to develop, saving time and energy. Thus, Fang Yuan did not want to keep the dream realms that he had. In the hands of others, these dream realms would give them an opportunity to stay ahead of the era. Be it Western Desert's Tang Clan, Central Continent's Feng Jin Huang, or Northern Plains' Lady Poison Scorpion, they would be the same. But for Fang Yuan, the true value of these dream realms was that they could raise his attainment levels and allow him to annex more grotto heavens. Meng Chu Zhen was truly the dream path clone that Fang Yuan took effort to create. His dream realm exploration efficiency was many times higher than the main body. As Fang Yuan's attainment levels rose, he made great gains. At the same time, he also continued to annex the grotto heavens in the two heavens. Each grotto heaven had at least 1,000,000 Dao marks, 1,000 heaven path Dao marks, as well as a vast amount of cultivation resources. These grotto heavens had long histories behind them. Fang Yuan annexed everything. It was the same as instantly taking the accumulations of others for countless years. Fang Yuan's strength grew time and again. Each time, his improvement was huge. This speed was simply unheard of. The specialty of the sovereign immortal body and the power of unrestrained heavenly mark, they surpassed the logic of the cultivation world. Either one would allow a person to rise to the top, leaving their name in history. The most terrifying thing was when they were used together, the effect would be even greater. The actual result created would far surpass a simple addition of the two. But be it a rise in foundation or strength, Fang Yuan still remained as a pseudo-venerable. He might be the #1 pseudo-venerable in history, but that was pointless. Without becoming a venerable, there would be no qualitative change. Fang Yuan cultivated secretly while annexing immortal apertures. He also inspected his own luck very often. The silver-white pillar of light was getting thicker, but the clouds above him were also growing in size. Be it the black cloud representing spectral soul demon Venerable or the golden cloud representing giant sun immortal Venerable, they were growing. As for the star cloud representing star constellation immortal Venerable, it had expanded by several times, far surpassing the other two. The situation had not reached the worst scenario yet. Fang Yuan still had time to continue his cultivation and recuperation. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2098 Huland. Chapter 2098 Huland. Rotten Mud Mountain was one of the famous mountains of southern border. If it were in Western Desert, Eastern Sea, or Northern Plains, it might be more famous, but southern border had too many mountains. It had the most number of famous mountains in the 5 regions. Rotten Mud Mountain became quite inconspicuous. It gave people a feeling of being ordinary. This place produced rotten mud. It was a common GU material that had poison path and earth path Dao marks. It had very little value in the market due to abundance. During rainy seasons, Rotten Mud Mountain would turn into a temporary swamp. The rotten mud would turn into rotten swamp mud, which was a widely used GU refinement material. During winter, the rotten mud would combine with the ice and snow path Dao marks and turn into rotten frozen mud. It was also a common resource. Because it was very fertile, when mixed in soil to nurture crops, the effect would be outstanding. Many southern border villages made use of it. Furthermore, rotten frozen mud was the food of the smelly fart fat worm. Thus, this rotten mud mountain also produced the smelly fart fat worm as well. The smelly fart fat worm was a rank 1 poison path GU worm. It looked like black boar GU, often sold by unscrupulous merchants as fake black boar GU. Similar to the smelly fart fat worm in name was smelly fart GU, it was also a rank 1 poison path GU worm. Similar to the smelly fart fat worm, smelly fart GU was also living in Rotten Mud Mountain. Living on what grew around them, there were several villages that survived using the resources of the Rotten Mud Mountain. These villages were all scattered around the periphery of Rotten Mud Mountain. Even though they competed with each other, they were more likely to work together. Because Rotten Mud Mountain was a famous mountain, it could obviously produce immortal materials. The mountain even had poison path desolate beasts or ancient desolate beasts. These villages did not have GU immortals. They were at most rank 5 GU masters. They would not dare to live on the mountain. Rumble. On this day, the people in the few villages heard thunderous sounds. They became shocked and uncertain. What is happening on the mountain? Why is there thunder for no reason? The mountain is dangerous. We GU masters cannot understand what is happening. Next, people heard the shouting of people. Kong Ri Tien, you cannot escape. I know that you are hiding here, but can you hide here forever? Come out now and hand over your GU worms. I can still spare your life. If you miss this chance, after I search the mountain and find you, you will wish you were dead instead. Wu Clan's GU Immortal shouted, his voices creating sound waves that spread around the area. The people in the villages at the periphery of the mountain were instantly shook. An immortal appeared. Oh heavens! I know about this demon Kong Ri Tien. he specially targets pure and innocent girls, to think an immortal would go after him, he's dead meat. Did Kong Ritian get an immortal GU, so an immortal is coming to snatch it? HMPH. This is not snatching, the immortal is just upholding justice and righteousness. Do you guys think we will meet an immortal if we go there? Will we obtain a way to become immortal? After the Fate War, everyone in the world learned of the existence of immortals. Before that, because most people lived in isolation, many people thought that immortals were just legends. Damn it, Kong Ritian was covered in injuries, he hid in a rotten mud cave with a face full of despair. Sigh, Wu Clan's immortal is too domineering. I have implicated you all. Kong Ritian looked at Wang Xiao'er and the 4 great obscenities, feeling guilt. On that day, after leaving the sinkhole, the situation turned chaotic. The 4 great obscenities were originally after Kong Ritian's immortal inheritance, but they ended up getting chased together. Kong Ritian also knew about the 4 great obscenities, desire, he used the inheritance to lure them, they ended up working together and escaping for their lives. After all, Shengtian true inheritance had only showed itself slightly, GU immortals did not pay attention to it yet. Kong Ritian only had to face rank 5 experts like Wu Ji or Shang Xinxi. The 4 great obscenities had great strength themselves, together with Kong Ritian, who was a famous demon in southern border, they managed to escape by working together. However, good times did not last, because Shengtian true inheritance was exposed, all the super clans started to go after it, they sent GU immortals out. Kong Ritian and the rest got into huge danger, they hid everywhere they could, eventually ending up in Rotten Mud Mountain, but now, Wu Clan's GU immortal was here to send them into despair. So be it if we die, so what? Brother Kong, say no more, this is our fate. Speaking of which, dying in the hands of an immortal is quite glorious too. The Central Continent 4 great obscenities chuckled, they were all demonic path members, at this desperate moment, they displayed their grand attitude towards life. Alright, enough of such talk. Who said you would die? Suddenly, from Kong Ritian's body, a will floated out. Seeing this will, Central Continent's 4 great obscenities showed a complex expression. This was Kong Shengtian's will, other than the will in Shengtian true inheritance, there were also immortal GU and immortal essence. This way, Kong Ritian had GU immortal methods to use. This was also the reason why the 4 great obscenities did not attack Kong Ritian to snatch the inheritance. These people were able to struggle until now from the pursuit of GU immortals, it was all thanks to Kong Shengtian's will. Lord Ancestor, you are finally awake. Are your injuries healed already? Do you mean we can still survive? Kong Ritian's eyes shined with bright light, he asked in succession. Kong Shengtian's will sighed. I am not injured, using GU immortal methods just takes a huge toll on me. Thus, I had to sleep and use GU worms to replenish my will. As for whether you can be saved, of course you can. Why did I ask you to come here before I fell asleep? It was because this place allows us to escape from these people. After saying this, Kong Shengtian took action and activated his GU immortal method. Everyone was shocked to find out that a long tunnel secretly appeared in this rotten mud cave without any commotion. They all entered the tunnel as they went deeper underground, arriving in a hall. Kong Shengtian's will sighed deeply after returning here. Back then, my main body spent 100 years and used all sorts of clues to investigate and track down this place. After much effort, I finally found this Hu land. It was a pity that my body was too old then, I did not have long to live, I could only make arrangements and leave. Hu land, is it the secluded domain of heaven and earth recorded in less than the legends of Ren Zhu greater than? Everyone was surprised, they had heard of it before. Less than the legends of Ren Zhu greater than was simply too widely known in the world. Kong Shengtian's will smiled arrogantly, of course. Hu land shares the same reputation as Shi land, it is a supreme secluded domain of Qi path. Little Ritian, you know that my main body's most signature method was to shoot out currents from my body's pores and move rapidly. Hu land and Shi land are complementary. It is a perfect pair with my killer move, using it, we can definitely escape from these pursuers. That is great, everyone was surprised and joyful. Even though they did not fear death, the best situation was obviously to survive. Kong Shengtian's will sighed as he added, it is a pity that you are not a GU immortal, little Ritian, you cannot bring this secluded domain of heaven and earth with you. Once I use this killer move, you will scatter and fly out like meteors, the speed is incredible and nobody can catch you, but this Hu land will be left for those GU immortals outside. Kong Ritian did not mind it. Ancestor, keeping our lives is already good enough. Since we cannot bring the secluded domain of heaven and earth away, Wu clan can keep it safe for us now. One day, I will take it back, that Wu Ji or Shang Shenxi will moan under my legs, they will suffer for this. Kong Ritian said this, his gaze turned ruthless, he emitted the aura of a demonic path member who had no fear for anything, he was filled with evil intentions. Kong Shengtian's will laughed loudly. Good, this is how my descendants should act like. Kong Shengtian was also a demonic path member back then, he liked descendants like Kong Ritian. Speaking of which, even though Kong Ritian had committed countless sins, he did not lack talent or a proper nature. Otherwise, he would survive in southern border for so long and even gain the reputation of a strong demon. Chen Yindao spoke. Lord Gu Immortal, these people are my brothers, we would like to travel together. I heard from Lord's words that we will be separated. Kong Shengtian's will nodded. Indeed, if my main body was still here, I can use Hulan to let you guys escape together. But I am only a will now, I can barely use Hulan, be it direction or destination, I cannot control either. Maybe you can stay here and hide elsewhere, after I leave with little Ritian, that southern border Gu Immortal might go after us instead. Chen Yindao and the rest were troubled. Since they could leave, they definitely should leave. Staying here was too risky. Central Continent's 4 obscenities were experienced with living like fugitives, they knew that staying behind was the same as courting death. But if they escaped, they would not be together with Wang Xiao'er. And if they were separated and the curse activated. Brother Kong, I would like to speak to you. Thinking of this, Chen Yindao sighed deeply, he decided to speak the truth. Kong Ritian was a little surprised, even though he cooperated with the Central Continent 4 great obscenities, he kept his guard up. But now that his ancestor was awake, he was not afraid of the 4 great obscenities, sneak attack. Kong Ritian went to a corner with Chen Yindao as they conversed quietly. So that's it, Kong Ritian gasped. Why else would we be like this? Chen Yindao spoke very helplessly. Kong Ritian blinked wildly. I thought that Central Continent people had such interests, speaking of which, when I first saw that, I was shocked to think that you brothers would have such interests. Their conversation could be heard as muffled voices in the air. Brothers, what do you think boss is telling Brother Kong? Wang Xiao'er was confused, he asked in curiosity. One Qi land sucks in Qi, Hu land expels Qi. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2099 Wu Yong's Excitement. Chapter 2099, Wu Yong's Excitement. The other 3 obscenities had ugly expressions too. Kong Ritian was not just in the demonic path, he had the same hobbies as them, they could be considered the same kind of people. To think that they would have to expose the truth to him now, it was truly shameful and humiliating. Hearing Wang Xiao'er's words, they even felt their anus tightening up. The 4 great obscenities were already in deep anguish while Wang Xiao'er was starting to enjoy himself. Because he was a mysterious immortal, the 4 great obscenities did not dare to say anything. Thus, the 3 of them gave vague replies. Boss has his own good reasons for not telling us. Xiao'er, we need to believe in him. Boss is definitely thinking for our sake, he just does not want us to worry. This is not a problem. Wang Xiao'er felt a little embarrassed from their words. I was wrong, I was wrong. Brothers, don't blame me, I was just curious. After Kong Shengtian understood the situation, he returned to his ancestor Kong Shengtian's will and explained everything to him. Hearing this, Kong Shengtian's will showed a peculiar expression. Let me try first. Kong Shengtian's will did not say that confidently. Immortal, please go ahead. Chen Yindao and the rest quickly shouted with expressions of endless gratitude. Kong Shengtian's will was in no rush to treat them, he first used investigative methods to inspect their fortune. After taking a look, Kong Shengtian's will had an idea. The size of these people's fortune chi is much larger than normal, it is not weak at all. Especially that Wang Xiao'er, is he really an amnesiac immortal? Kong Shengtian's will decided to save them. The Central Continent 4 great obscenities were mere mortals, whether it was worthwhile to help them would depend on their fortune. Kong Shengtian was a demonic path Gu immortal, he naturally did things with a focus on benefits. Just using Hulan to let them escape would not consume much immortal essence, he would only have to use a method. But to treat the 4 great obscenities, problem would incur a huge cost. Especially when the immortal essence that Kong Shengtian left behind were limited in quantity. Next, Kong Shengtian started his true investigation. A moment later, Kong Shengtian's will showed a serious expression, he shook his head, I cannot treat your problem. Kong Ritian was surprised. Ancestor, even your methods cannot work. Kong Shengtian's will sighed. I can heal most injuries in this world, but the immortal method on you guys is quite extraordinary. It is caused by the legendary love GU. This GU belongs to Spirit Affinity House. It seems that the person who used it on you is the current generation fairy. You are quite lucky to have even met Spirit Affinity House's fairy. The four great obscenities, expressions turned pale. Wang Xiao'er was confused. Do my brothers have a huge hidden problem in their bodies? He became anxious. All of you hid this from me. Didn't we say that we would share good times and bad times together? What problem do you have? Even though I can't help, I can at least try to share your burden. Wang Xiao'er said this. He got anxious. There was even slight rage in his tone. The four great obscenities looked at Wang Xiao'er, feeling pain internally. Or more accurately speaking, their butts were starting to hurt again. Was it their good luck or bad luck to have met such a person? They were lucky because they could survive until now because of him. But why was it that they would rather have never met him? This is our fate. Chen Yindao sighed bitterly. Immortal, since you cannot save us, we might as well stay here and wait for death. Kong Shengtian's will chuckled as he waved his hand. Even though I cannot save you, I have a method that can alleviate your problem. I can temporarily suppress this problem within you. It will not bother you for some time. You can do that. The four great obscenities became excited. They quickly thanked him profusely. Wang Xiao'er was also quite excited. Kong Shengtian's will pondered again. According to my deductions, your fortune does not exist in southern border, it is still in central continent. What? The four great obscenities looked at each other. They were chased out of central continent after all, but hearing Kong Shengtian's words, they still had to return to central continent. Kong Shengtian's will snorted coldly. This is all I'll say, whether you believe it is up to you. Go. The reason he spoke to these mortals for so long was because of his inheritor Kong Ritian. As for Wang Xiao'er, Kong Shengtian's will did not want to involve himself. If his main body was around, he might intervene. But now, who knew what background Wang Xiao'er had? Was he really having amnesia or was he pretending? Even if he did lose his memories, looking at him, he still had defensive methods. Kong Ritian had not become a GU immortal yet. He was even pursued by Southern Border's righteous path GU immortals. Kong Shengtian decided to act ignorant. He wanted nothing to do with Wang Xiao'er. Go. Kong Shengtian spoke as he activated a killer move, utilizing Huland. Normally speaking, when GU immortals used killer moves, a strong aura would leak out and cause others to be wary. But Kong Shengtian's method could conceal the aura to a relatively perfect degree. This method was really rare. In the current 5 regions, only Wu Yang could do it. This meant that when Kong Shengtian was alive, he was definitely a huge headache for his enemies. They could not easily defend against him. Thus, when Wu Clan's GU immortal found something amiss, it was all too late. He watched as these people flew away in all directions, unable to stop them. Wu Clan's GU immortal was upset but also filled with shock and uncertainty. Because he found Huland. This is a chi path secluded domain of heaven and earth. I am going to make a huge contribution. After Wu Clan's GU immortal confirmed it, he became intensely happy. He started to contact Wu Clan's first supreme elder Wu Yang. When Wu Yang received the news, he was settling the clan affairs in his room. Huland. He immediately stood up from his seat, his eyes shining with bright light. Next, he opened his mouth. He blew out a mouthful of green wind. After the green wind moved around and grew into the size of a fist, it entered Wu Yang's mind. Thoughts collided in Wu Yang's mind as they were constantly produced. The green wind would absorb them and assist in the collision speed, allowing him to think faster. Even though Wu Yang was a wind path expert, his attainment level was beyond the level of mimicry. He could easily copy the trait of wisdom path. Huland is a secluded domain of heaven and earth. If Wu Clan can obtain it, this might be the chance for me to start my domination. Wu Yang was extremely happy. It was as if a fire burned in his heart, blazing intensely. There were many secluded domains of heaven and earth recorded in less than the legends of Ren Zhu greater than. For time path, there was the river of time. For space path, there was space cave, also known as space door. For chi path, there was Shiland and Huland. For rule path, there was reverse flow river, Chengbai mountain, and minuscule mountain. For information path, there was Qian Kun crystal wall, whisper forest, and for soul path, there was Danghun mountain and Luopo valley. There were also some secluded domains of heaven and earth that comprised several paths, for example City Well, the Blue Sea of Life, and Ordinary Abyss. GU were the essence of heaven and earth. fragments of the great Tao. Even though secluded domains of heaven and earth had scattered Tao marks, the total number usually surpassed rank 9 immortal GU. These secluded domains of heaven and earth were not just recorded in less than the legends of Ren Zhu greater than, very rarely, they had been obtained by GU immortals or super forces, leaving behind their own legends. If a secluded domain of heaven and earth was used well, it could give a huge benefit to the super force. Even pseudo-venerables and venerables would benefit greatly from them. Ignoring anyone else, just the pseudo-venerable demon immortal Qi Ju, he had used Shilan to participate in a top-level fight of the GU immortal world immediately after reviving. Wu Yang knew, for a super force, if they could develop a secluded domain of heaven and earth well, they would gain immense profits from a monopoly in the market, for example, like Danghun Mountain. For a GU immortal, a secluded domain of heaven and earth was the replacement of a rank 9 immortal GU. It could shake the entire era, causing a new trend to emerge in the immortal world. Rank 9 immortal GU were too hard to get. There were not many rank 9 immortal GU even in history. For example, Fate GU, Heavenly Court spent millions of years trying to protect and restore it. Or Wisdom GU for example, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable spent a lot of effort to keep it within 88 Truyong building. There was also Hatred GU, Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable plotted for hundreds of thousands of years before succeeding. The Venerables in history were the group that had the most number of rank 9 immortal GU, all of their vital GU were rank 9. Other than them, the number didn't even reach 5. Thus, the value of a secluded domain of heaven and earth was apparent. Using a secluded domain of heaven and earth as the core to activate an immortal killer move would often have great effects. Like Fang Yuan's reverse flow protection seal. I need to do my best and obtain this secluded domain of heaven and earth. I need to get it secretly and prevent information from leaking. Wu Yang made up his mind. The secluded domain of heaven and earth had huge implications if it was exposed. The whole of southern border would get involved, the other 4 regions might even come to snatch it. But now, this secret had not been exposed yet. Wu Yang saw a great chance for himself. Other forces only knew about Shengtian true inheritance, they did not know about this Hu land. Earlier, Wu clan's GU immortal had already fought against the other clans, GU immortals, they left on their own accord. Right now on Rotten Mud Mountain, there were no other lone and demonic cultivators. In the past, if a rank 8 inheritance like Shengtian true inheritance appeared, the entire southern border GU immortal world would be moved, many people would be sent out to fight for it. But it was different now. All 5 regions had inheritances appear, they were all exposed due to the Qi tides. Wu clan's GU immortal was able to defeat the competitors mostly due to this reason. The other super forces were busy dealing with their own territories, they were trying to get the inheritances of the highest value. Shengtian true inheritance was just one of them. Compared to southern border's righteous path, Wu Yang was more worried about the pseudo-venerables. Demon immortal Qi Ju and Qi Si ancestor are both Qi path GU immortals, this Hu land has huge significance to them. But luckily, Demon Immortal Qi Ju is currently suppressed by Divine Emperor City, while Qi Si Ancestor is fighting against the variant human alliance led by Fang Yuan, he has no time to spare. As for Fang Yuan, Wu Yang was still most worried about GUU Fang Yuan. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2100 Fire Thunder True Inheritance. Chapter 2100, Fire Thunder True Inheritance. In the past, Wu Yang chased after Fang Yuan and forced him to go from southern border to western desert. Now, Wu Yang was afraid that Fang Yuan would approach his clan and snatch Hu land away. Wu Yang knew that if Fang Yuan came for it, he would not be able to block him. Immortal GU were easily destroyed. Fang Yuan might act carefully, but these kinds of secluded domains were hard to destroy. He was almost certainly going to succeed in snatching it. Fang Yuan has the sovereign immortal body, he can cultivate any path, that is quite terrifying. Hu land is definitely useful to him. If this Hu land is exposed, my Wu clan will not be able to keep it, it will be taken away. By then, not only will we waste our time and resources, we may also incur deaths. Wu clan's prestige may also fall, it will be better if we leave it alone. Wu Yang thought about the situation. He decided to send people and secretly take Hu land away. If it got exposed during this process, he would immediately abandon it. Even though Wu clan was big, it was not the match of someone like Fang Yuan. In this world, the number of people did not matter, only individual strength was of importance. Those villages around Rotten Mud Mountain have no GU immortals, but we need to prevent the mortals and GU masters from exposing the news. Maybe we can make use of the beast tide to settle this problem. There is no rush to find Kong Ritian, we can just investigate it secretly. Hopefully, he does not expose his location before I get Huland. If he still kept up the commotion, he would cause suspicions. Wu Clan's GU Immortal was actually unable to capture Kong Ritian, wasn't that too strange? What method did Kong Ritian use to escape from Wu Clan's rank 7 GU Immortal? By then, they would cast their suspicions on Rotten Mud Mountain. Thus, Wu Yong would rather have Kong Ritian hide himself these few days without exposing his location. To lure the attention of Southern Border's GU Immortal world, I might need to activate my arrangement in Ba Clan in advance to create a smokescreen for me to take Huland. Of course, there is the one biggest flaw in this plan, that is Kong Ritian. Kong Ritian has Kong Shengtian's will, he can connect to Treasure Yellow Heaven. At the crucial moment, if he exposes the secret of Huland, it would cause our Wu clan to suffer a huge amount of conflict. But this possibility is quite unlikely. Wu Yong analyzed to himself. Firstly, Kong Shengtian cultivated Chi Path, Kong Ritian would definitely cultivate Chi Path too. If Wu clan obtains Huland, from their perspective, they would want to compete with Wu clan in the dark and retrieve Huland without a commotion. They would not want a large number of competitors to emerge. Secondly, if Kong Ritian exposed the secret of Huland, he would be the mortal enemy of Wu clan. It was not a wise thing to do since it would cause them to take revenge. At the same time, Kong Ritian would expose the secret that he was still escaping, other GU Immortals would go and capture him. Even though the possibility was unlikely, the chance was still there. The risk of secretly taking away Huland was very huge to Wu clan. But the benefit it involved was also massive. Wu Yong was willing to take the risk. Some days later, above Red Dragon River, Wu clans, Sha clans, and Ba clans GU Immortals were nervously anticipating a contest. River water surged as ripples spread with explosive sounds. This was the Fire Thunder River segment of Red Dragon River. It produced Fire Path and Lightning Path GU worms. A newly discovered rank 8 true inheritance was hidden at the bottom of this river segment. The person who set up this true inheritance was called Fire Thunder Divine Lord. He cultivated Fire Path primarily with Lightning Path secondarily. Even though he was a lone cultivator, he had above average luck and experienced many fortuitous encounters. He was not a Southern Border GU Immortal, he came from Western Desert. He had once caused chaos in Western Desert's GU Immortal world. Several Western Desert super forces chased after him. Even though he managed to survive, by the time he got to the Fire Thunder River segment of Red Dragon River, his injuries could not be healed. Before dying, he made his arrangements. Precisely because of his arrangements, this river segment turned into the Fire Thunder River segment gradually over time. Fire Thunder Divine Lord's methods were not eye-catching, they were very close to that of nature. Even though this was the intersection of Ba clan and Sha clan, the two super forces did not notice anything strange, they thought it was a natural development. Even though Fire Thunder River segment produced Fire Path and Lightning Path GU worms, no immortal GU had ever been produced. Thus, Ba clan and Sha clan did not pay attention to it. For mortals, even though the Fire Path and Lightning Path mortal GU were alluring, the environment was too dangerous, few rank 5 GU masters would take the risk. Thus, Fire Thunder Divine Lord's true inheritance remained hidden for so long, until now when the Chi Tide swept through the world, it was unveiled. Fire Thunder Divine Lord was a rank 8 GU Immortal. The rank 8 true inheritance he left behind was quite high quality, it caused almost all of Southern Border's super clans to compete for it. After some probing and fighting, only 3 competitors were left. One was Wu clan, the other 2 were Ba clan and Sha clan. Ba clan's current first supreme elder was Bada. He was tall and had a plain look, he had a strong body with broad shoulders and chest, his skin that was not covered looked like 1,000-year-old tree bark, there was even green moss growing on it. He had a large mouth and broad nose, his eyes were covered by a black cloth, covering them completely. His dark green beard hung down to his waist, while his jade green hair extended to the back of his waist. Bada floated in the air as he called to Wu Yong. Wu clan, you are overstepping your boundaries, this is the territory of my Ba clan. Regardless of what true inheritance it is, this belongs to Ba clan. Wu clan, as the leader of the Southern Alliance, the leader of Southern Border's GU Immortals, why are you not being a role model, are you ignoring the rules of the righteous path? Wu Yong smiled as he said gentlemanly, since when has this Fire Thunder River segment become yours? The territorial boundary between Sha clan and Ba clan is a sensitive area. Bada, you need to speak more carefully, at least, you need to ask about the opinion of our comrades from Sha clan. Before he finished, Sha clan's GU Immortal Sha Zhao spoke. Lord Wuyong, regardless of whether this is Sha clan's or Ba clan's territory, it is still our matter. Wu clan is far away at the southernmost area, even Chao clan is nowhere close to the Fire Thunder River segment. Even though Sha Jiao only had rank 7 cultivation level, Sha clan's original first supreme elder Sha Cha had already been turned into Immortal GU master by Fang Yuan. Sha Jiao was now the current first supreme elder, on the same status as Bada. Thus, it was not strange that he spoke. Sha clan and Wu clan had conflict between them even from before now, their relationship was not good. Ignoring anything else, just merely in recent years. Sha clan and Wu clan conflicted over Frosty Peak. Fang Yuan had disguised as Wu Yihai and forced Sha Fei Kuei away, winning the contest. After that, Sha clan still made an attack and took over Chao clan's empty origin pit. Chao clan was Wu clan's subsidiary force, invading Chao clan's territory was offending Wu clan. After that, Wu Yong used clear jade dripping wind tiny bamboo building to turn the situation around. Sha clan was forced to return empty origin pit. Sha clan's external supreme elder Immortal Yan Huang had once owned Moon Bowl, but Wu clan had already taken possession of this territory. Thus, even though Sha clan and Ba clan were not harmonious, because Wu clan was the strongest among them, these two clans were actually standing on the same side now. Chao Silu's expression changed slightly. She was one of southern border's 3 great fairies, her beauty was on par with fairy Miao Yin. Her cultivation level was also rank 7. This time, with Wu clan's action, Chao clan had to show some effort as their subsidiary force, thus they sent Chao Silu to accompany Wu Yong. Chao Silu knew about the rules of the righteous path, seeing Ba clan and Sha clan joining up against Wu clan, she became anxious internally. Righteous path GU immortals had a set of rules to follow, they were not as free as the demonic path or carefree as the lone cultivators. Even though Wu Yong was strong, seemingly the number 1 person in southern border, without a good righteous reason, he could not take Fire Thunder true inheritance by force. At this moment, Wu Yong's reputation and his status as the Southern Alliance leader became the chains that bound him. If Wu Yong took it by force, he would lose everyone's support, Southern Border's righteous path would lose faith in his impartiality as the Alliance leader. Wu clan was a powerful force but they did not cultivate Fire Path or Lightning Path, a rank 8 Fire Thunder true inheritance was really not significant to Wu clan. If Wu Yong tried to take it now, Wu clan's losses would be even larger instead. Against Sha clan and Ba clan's resistance, the smile on Wu Yong's face became even more evident. Go, bring the person here. He instructed. The Wu clan GU immortal behind him opened his immortal aperture's entrance, Immortal GU master came out. Wu Yong introduced. This Western Desert GU master is the bloodline inheritor of Fire Thunder Divine Lord. Whether Fire Thunder River segment belongs to Ba clan or Sha clan does not matter, what is clear is that the Fire Thunder true inheritance in the river belongs to this little friend. The expressions of Ba clan's and Sha clan's GU immortals changed. Wu Yong smiled again with calm composure. As righteous path members, how can we snatch other people's inheritances? This true inheritance has its owner, it belongs to this friend from Western Desert. As the Southern Alliance leader, I need to be impartial in my actions. If anyone suspects his identity, you can extract his blood and test it. As expected of Lord Wu Yong. So he came prepared. Chao Silu's eyes shined as she calmed down. With this excuse, Wu clan had the right of reason, they could block any accusations that came at them, Wu Yong could use his full strength. In contrast, Ba clan and Sha clan fell into an awkward spot. Bada and Sha Jiao looked at each other, their expressions were ugly. Wu Yong made such ample preparation, they were quite surprised. Even though Wu Yong had just risen to power recently, his political skill was a huge lesson to the entire southern border GU immortal world. Bada and Sha Jiao knew that since Wu Yong brought out this bloodline descendant, his identity had to be authentic. Even if Wu Yong was faking it, he would have done it with a superb method that could not be seen through for now. Bada and Sha Jiao discussed among themselves and took a few steps forward. Bada had a solemn expression. How can we return an inheritance of southern border to Western Desert? Sha Jiao added. Since Fire Thunder Divine Lord died here and left his true inheritance in southern border, this is simply the will of heaven. Ba clan and Sha clan could not back out, the true inheritance was in between their territories, if they backed off now, would they still keep their reputation? Wu Yong was not surprised by their words, he waved his sleeves, then let the 3 of us compete for it. The situation had reached this stage, they could only fight to determine the outcome. Let me exchange blows with you. Bada shouted as he acted first. Sha Jiao only had rank 7 cultivation level, he quickly flew away and attacked from afar, helping Bada to restrain Wu Yong. Wu Yong laughed heartily, intense winds blew as the sky turned dark. Bada cultivated wood path, he activated his killer move, countless ancient trees and flying leaves appeared in the sky. But against Wu Yong's killer moves, the trees were sliced apart and the leaves wilted away. After 3 rounds, Bada and Sha Zhao got defeated by Wu Yong, the superior side was very obvious. Anything else to say? Wu Yong smiled. Sha Zhao had a livid expression, he remained silent. He could not help but recall the time when Sha Cha was still rank 8, at least back then, Wu Yong was not so arrogant. He actually became this strong. Bada was internally shaken as he clenched his fists, but I still have another trump card killer move unused. If I try, can I defeat Wu Yong? Bada thought about it, he relaxed his clenched fists. Just this fire thunder true inheritance was not important enough for him to expose the killer move that he had kept a secret for years. Ba clan and Sha clan left in the end. Wu Yong brought the Western Desert GU Master to the bottom of the river as he retrieved the Fire Thunder True Inheritance. The Western Desert GU Master knelt down on the spot, requesting to join Wu clan. Wu Yong agreed immediately. This Western Desert GU Master was called Zhang Yi, he had ample talent and a good character, he could become a GU Immortal seed with some nurturing, Wu clan had no losses in taking him in. Because of Fang Yuan, a number of Wu clan's GU Immortals had died. Wu Yong needed more Wu clan GU Immortals to emerge now, thus he took in the surrounding GU Masters of other regions as their clan's future external elders. Congratulations to Lord Wu Yong, you easily defeated Ba clan and Sha clan, obtaining Fire Thunder True Inheritance. Chao Silu said with deep politeness. In the current southern border, who dares to contend with our lord? Wu clan's GU Immortals gained a surge in morale, they spoke excitedly. Wu Yong acknowledged their words, he said calmly. Spread news of today's battle, I want the entire southern border GU Immortal world to hear of it. Yes, Wu clan's GU Immortals answered. Lord Wu Yong, I, Mushroom GU Immortal Ke Shin Hong, seek your audience. At this time, a Mushroom GU Immortal approached from the southeast direction, riding waves along the way. What, a Mushroom GU Immortal? Does he come from Mushroom Paradise? Such guts. The GU Immortals around Wu Yong had changes of expressions. Ke Shin Hong wore a white shirt, he had a plain face, he did not conceal his appearance, there was a large mushroom above his head, looking like a hat. Wu Yong's heart jolted. At the next moment, Ke Shin Hong transmitted to Wu Yong. Lord Wu Yong, I come from Mushroom Paradise, I carry the orders of Lord Gu Fang Yuan. Wu Yong's expression did not change, he replied, for what matter have you come? Ke Shin Hong smiled. Shengtian True Inheritance. Wu Yong's pupils shrunk immediately. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible.